things that they feel like maybe went wrong. What that is very like I think different from team to team. Like maybe we think one thing after we play a game, and then Tundra's gonna think something completely opposite, because it's like it depends on their goals. So, I mean, in terms of drafts, they're probably gonna look to do something quite similar. I think most people know what their MO is. Look to get Neta really or 3-3 very strong, Skeeter as well, and then have top center and two supports try to wreak some havoc on the map. And yeah, they're probably just gonna look at it and be like, this or that specific thing didn't go the way we planned, and then try to work around it.
I mean, do you think that the last game was more about they didn't really understand what Nouns is doing?
Hey,
Like this
Quinn.
game, they're gonna have a better idea.
Who
of
are
what
you
they're
rooting
facing,
for?
and they
Tundra
just
or
need,
Nouns?
a little bit of adjustments and try to play on their own terms, because the last game I felt like a lot of it was played on Nouns terms,
Yeah.
They didn't really understand their timing, so they were taking fights that they feel like maybe they're stronger, so they got into a couple of bad fights, they lost control of the game, and this game is
Weren't
probably
you
not gonna
supposed to play
be
in
so
this
easy for
one
them.
if you guys qualified? Nouns
I
and
mean,
A?
you said it, I think so
Yeah.
too. And like, I feel like whenever let's say you're like a top team going up against an underdog, I think you should just stick to what you know best. Because like, there's a reason that you're considered a top dog. Your way of playing is going to work out most times. And maybe this was like one of those times where, they caught you off guard, but like you just keep doing what you're doing and you're going to figure it out. And I even see now they've banned the Naga Siren. So that's probably what they identified as like being part of.
Yeah. Do you feel like in a best of three, the adjustments are more?
What do you
Like
mean?
when you like,
Don't know why gaming in
it's more
lower
about changing your
bracket.
bans, or do you think it's more about changing your picks?
It really depends. It's quite hard to like generalize, I think. But usually the easiest way is to look at your opener and your opening bans and kind of mix things up there. Because I think the rest is like usually a lot of like building upon what you already have. So the way you're going to build on what you already have is going to be the same, I think, no matter what, pretty much.
Well, we have a build to figure out here because we have the foundations of our draft beginning here. as
Oh, you mean
game two starts
GG?
between
Oh.
Tundra Esports and Nouns.
They like
And what I
Team
find
OG
intriguing
choke up
about this is
TI.
that despite them
You
batting
know
out the
why?
Naga
It's
Siren,
because of the
Tundra
pressure.
still leave.
There's
they
a
ban
lot
ban
of
me ban,
pressure
okay.
in these pro
AAA,
games.
every single game that Nouns has won at this tournament has involved Ancient Apparition in some fashion. So very wise, I think, from the side of Tundra to say, you know what, AA, get the hell out of here. Obviously, we see the Naga being taken away. But it's going to be up to Nouns. What opener are we expecting here? If it's not AA, which what they normally do to open up the draft with, I guess Phoenix. I mean, it still makes sense, right? Percent-based damage against all these strength tanky cores. We can definitely see this. And it gives them some of that team fight that we know Nouns always wants to have at least something in the bag for.
Yeah, at least part of Tundra's identity has really been picking a lot of these super tanky strength cores. Like we saw it last game where it was just 3 tanky strength cores, and having a hero like AA to actually help bring them down and make it so they were burstable, can't just abuse, stuff like the Heart and the Octarine cores, is a big part of answering them. So right off the bat, they're first picking a support that at least has some answer to the tankiness of heroes Tundra likes to pick.
I think Phoenix can do it, but it's very different from how AA does it. And I think if you think about
NA
like,
pride.
execution and how easy it is to execute,
I was gonna say,
like,
I saw the
AA, you just
I saw the draft.
click your ulti,
And I
on
was
the
like,
enemy
oh,
guy,
Gun
and
is
then
in
he's
there.
dead. Phoenix, it's like you gotta manage your own health pool. You gotta sunray this guy,
Keep
and like
them in that
you're
place.
burning as much as he is.
Yeah.
And like there's a lot more room for error, I think, and it's trickier to execute it, especially on a hero like Earth Spirit, where like Earth Spirit will just roll in, you ice blast him because for like 3 seconds he's not moving. That's where he's gonna be. So I think while Nouns are going for the same idea, it's trickier to pull it off.
But don't you feel like Phoenix has higher potential? You can do a lot more as a Phoenix in the game.
There are definitely more things you can do, but I think like in terms of how these two heroes interact with each other, I feel like if I'm AA, my job of killing Earth Spirit is a lot easier than my job of killing Earth Spirit as Phoenix.
Of course, they open up with these Earth Spirit for the side of Tundra. We know that this can be deployed in multiple roles. Nine can play it, Thompson can play it. They can flex this later on. I guess it's fine. Earth Spirit just feels a bit too good. There's these strength cores, man. Earth Spirit, Primal Beast, Spirit Breaker. So please, we're in the same room as Valve. Guys, please nerf them after this tournament. Come on. Make
I mean,
Dota fun
Nouns
again.
know what to do. Buy diffuser.
Right,
He's
just
man.
Mercer.
Yeah.
Who's the diffusal hero though? If Naga gets banned though, you gotta find a new pick. Got to bring back the PL or
I
something.
mean, there's Lone Druid. They picked Lone Druid before.
Lone Druid with Diffusal Blade. Does that feel like a viable thing to be playing that here with Disperser?
I think people do. I think it's quite common actually. At
Oh my
least
god,
Defu
Luigi
is,
was the
like,
most
I think-
annoying
But I'm
hero.
saying like the full disperser, because we saw in the last game, K1
Yeah.
eventually made the full upgrade. Is it like, do you just stop at diffuser if you're playing the lone druid, or do you go the whole hog like he did last game?
I mean, Lone Druid has the benefit of having the Aghanim shard that purges the bear,
Yeah.
so you don't need the purge from the item. Maybe. I think it would have to be a game where like either the stats from Disperser are very desired,
Or you have nothing else to buy.
Or
you already
yeah.
bought everything.
yeah, or like you really need to purge yourself. You know, like there's a lot of stuff that's happening. So I think most of the time you'll see him buy probably Diffu into something else, and then maybe later on look to come back for the Disperser.
Okay. Second phase of batting here, we have the removal of Doom and Grimstroke away from the side of Nouns. There's no Sven, no Slok, according to the side
Dude,
of Tundra.
yeah,
So let's
okay.
see. This
So
is
for
no
post
meta spot where we
threes,
see at least one other support we can
the
highlight
thing
what
that I
First
hate
Druid is doing.
seeing is
Anything
either
stand out to you guys that you would want
Punka
to see in lieu to deal with this Brewmaster
and
that Nouns have
King.
already gone for?
Yeah, I mean, with Brewmaster, you're thinking
or
maybe some
Spirit
follow-up,
Breaker.
either
And
burst
like
or
I don't know
disables
why
just to
when
try and,
Spirit
have
Breaker
that
gets
opportunity to
chosen,
roll into
no
the
one
Spirit, stop him getting
no
that
one
ulti
buys
off.
a break for him.
Sky.
Sky, I like the idea of that.
It legit
that's a
stops
different
the
direction. I think it's
bashes.
just solid support, kind of secure your lane, and also, get some team fight of your own.
It's also a pretty easy way to kill the Brewlings, because you can like Fatal Bonds all of them together, and then like Earth Spirit's just dealing damage to the entire screen. So like a lot of the Brewlings just end up dying in the early game. So I think what you might end up seeing in this game is like as soon as Brew splits, it's just going to be like Fatal Bonds, Warlock Golem, and then you can just kill the Brewlings. So it's
We
quite a
did see
nice
this-
matchup in that way.
We did see this for a while initially, right? This Earth Spirit
It
Warlock
did what?
combination, like Fatal Bonds Magnetize, does go back to when the hero was released, so that definitely makes sense. They follow this up with the Faceless Void, so we know what Skeeter is going to be playing. We have a little bit of damage into the bubble with the Magnetize, but it's just Faceless Void, It's a carry patch, obviously Faceless Void's going to be involved.
I think it's one of Skeeter's like favorite heroes too. I feel like he always plays Faceless.
Yeah,
Void
he
no matter-
doesn't bash.
I mean, do you feel
'Cause
like
it's a-
you're
it's
going,
a
like,
passive.
into too much team fight? Like I feel like sometimes teams, when they overemphasize on something in a draft, and you get abused because you are so reliant on cooldowns, and the enemy can take advantage of it.
There's usually like a balance, right? So you see, right now Nouns also has like pretty much exclusively long cooldowns, and I think
What
in
do you
Dota
mean you
most of the time,
see?
if the other team, if you don't have cooldowns, you don't want to fight,
Mhm.
and if the other team doesn't have cooldowns, they don't want to fight either. And it's pretty rare to see that like, let's say two very slow drafts.
Mhm.
One team is like, okay, neither of us have cooldowns, we're stronger, let's go. I feel like that usually doesn't happen, so you can kind of like, as long as your tempo makes sense against the tempo of the
You
other
oh
team,
my god.
you can
You
usually be
forgot
like,
already?
quite greedy. If
Yeah, like
And the bigger map also,
what was
also
it?
kind of encourage
So-
the longer cooldown spells because it takes a long time to push the tower.
the distances are like much further to close, and like playing more of a map game is like trickier.
Because
Like,
it feels like every
um,
time you use a glyph, you're pushing, and then it takes so long for the next wave to come, and
Yeah.
it feels really bad for the team that's pushing the tower.
But Nouns end up picking two pretty fast heroes now, which like makes their entire draft just like tempo up a lot faster in CK and Willow. Again, William asked me not to talk too much about heroes.
That almost feels like a response because they see this Warlock Void and they're like, okay, there's these two big long ulti cooldowns that we're gonna have to address, and they're like, we want to play faster, we want to try and punish these cooldowns. So CK Willow makes kind of at least some sense in terms of playing around, being stronger when those cooldowns are off.
And I feel like right now Tundra needs heroes to slow things down, like and push out waves, like something like some Underlord hero that can deal with like defend the towers. I think whenever you have Faceless Void, Warlock, heroes that have a very very long cooldown, you need heroes that can shove out the wave, so you can play the game when your cooldowns is not there.
oh crap, you guys can't see the bands.
Anything stand out to you
Oops.
in that regard, Winter?
Oops.
Oh,
I mean, I mentioned the Underlord, but I mean it's not a very popular hero, right?
I don't think we've actually seen an Underlord pick, right? We've seen a ban.
Only one time SMG pick it one time. I mean, it's not very popular because he's not very good in the lane, and it's pretty difficult to pick the hero because whenever you have Underlord, the hero has to have a game, But then he doesn't snowball as hard like for say like some Necroforce off lane, You protect him, but he doesn't really give you a lot back.
I mean, Underlord was also very powerful throughout the year, and I think like Vanguard was an item that was like perfect for him. Like when Vanguard was really really powerful, and you could always buy it. I think it made Underlord very good. But as Winter mentioned, then like Underlord actually has a very good matchup against CK. I highly doubt we will see him here, but I think if there is a game for it, this looks pretty good. Like there's a lot of nice ways to utilize the hero with the ulti as well. Port your team around. You can really cut waves. You can always connect. Yeah, it's a cool hero, but Just I think the Vanguard nerf is like the main reason why it's not picked anymore.
Brother Gods, looking at this draft right now from the side of Tundra, they have added in some damage into the bubble in the form of this Invoker. I like the fact between Invoker, Warlock, and this Earth Spirit, there's a lot of damage that they have to bring to bear here. What do you want to see from Nouns? I mean, they have some. I guess you're going to buy Radiance at some point. That's a degree of damage mitigation. But when we're seeing heroes into the mid lane, who do you want to see that's going to be able to survive some of this burst from Tundra?
I think first and foremost, you're looking at maybe something that can like lane well against the Invoker. That's why Tundra's banning the obvious kind of lane counter in the Kunkka, who we've seen just
Morning,
give
pretty
Invokers this really
JJ.
rough time in the mid
Are you
lane.
working today?
Some of these, tanky.
I'm
straight
working
mid-heroes, I mean,
at
you're
the
looking
same
at
time
go
as
for
having
something like a Shaker, although
TI
they're
on the
not really
background.
punishing the Invoker matchup as
Nighttime?
Well, so, I think you are looking at some of those more harder to burst down kind of picks. There isn't really much flexibility. It does seem like they just need to pick something for the mid lane here that can survive a chrono, or at least, or alternatively you say we don't care about surviving. We're just gonna play fast tempo and just pair up with the Brewmaster ultis and the CK Dark Willow and the kind of pace that these heroes play at.
I mean, there's also something tricky here.
I haven't
Is
slept
that
yet, and
Ogre
I
Ogres
work
are
at
split
11 a.m. plus.
It's
Is
like a
Wait,
different
why
rounds.
haven't you slept?
And
What?
I think for Tundra,
Why are
they
you
kind of
doing
leave it
this
open
to
until the last
yourself?
pick. But I think generally speaking, okay, that kind of answers your question.
The wave clear.
Yeah, and the Earth Spirit probably going to be position 4 now, I would assume, when I see Darks here. It seems like a more...
I mean, do you think that's
And you did an
a
all-nighter
must?
like
I feel
Kelly.
it still can be open, right? If you feel like
Fluffum
Earth Spirit's good,
Africans
then
did an
there's maybe
all-nighter.
like Darks here with Invoker
I was
position, that would still be
I
okay.
was lurking
well,
last
I mean,
night
it can be.
watching
I'm
her
just
games.
thinking, like, you're playing against Phoenix and...
Oh,
CK,
you were playing
and
with
Phoenix
her.
kinda, like, kills himself when he's laning, just because of how the spells work. Like, you
Probably
use HP
Darkseer.
to
Wow, you
cast
did
spells,
predicted right,
and it
Quinn.
might like create opportunities for Earth Darkseer to get kills. Whereas, like, I feel like with Invo's just going to be like a trade on the sides, and then CK is just going to sustain with his passive against Darkseer in the lane. But again, like, I think it's kind of up to the teams and the players, like how they view things.
So now we're looking for a mid laner here to emerge for Gunner. His Kunkka has been banned, his Lone Druid has been banned out. There is still a Primal. Oh no, Primal's gone as well. Is Pango still in the game? Is it viable here, Gods? What do you think? What should Gunner be rolling with in the last game?
Yeah, I like Pango. I think that's a hero that can play pretty fast.
Hey, Ellie.
Outside of Pango, I mean, you could just go back.
I'm
for some of those
actually
kind of classic
working.
mids,
This is
heroes,
just in
you
the
know,
background.
I guess
Because I've got a
Mark
lot
Bear.
of
It
like
seems like a pretty
admin
rough
stuff to
matchup
do
for some of
today,
those,
so
heroes when you're playing into the Void Chrono as well as the Earth Spirit.
I
So
can have this
some
in
of
the
those more elusive heroes there's plenty
background.
of catch for. So
Hmm.
it does feel like the teamfight disruptors, the Pango-esque heroes, are just going to naturally function a lot better.
It's
There's
Ogre.
something- Oh, that's spicy. Nouns, I feel like they've done this before this tournament. I know
Yes.
TSM were running the mid ogre as well. This hero is
Interesting.
look really good as a mid laner.
Gunner did this in the first game against Game and Gladiators. That's the game where they absolutely demolished gaming. It was like 20-something minutes. It was absolutely insane. Winter, what do you make of mid Ogre Magi? What's the build? What do you like about it? What do you hate about it?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I've not played this hero. I have no idea, but I like
It's
it
very
because it's
fast-paced.
a bit
I'm
stronger
gonna-
this game, they are pulling out something of their own flavor, and
It's
I think
all
it's really, really
Ogre.
important that they are playing the game within their own strength, and they're making sure that their opponents doesn't know the timing of the game. And this is the kind of hero that will bring that to the table. I'm not sure how well Tundra is understanding this hero. So
The
overall, I
Brew's
like the
actually
pick a lot.
become a
I think
very
Thompson was
annoying
playing it quite
hero.
a bit, actually, before TI. And I
Oh
think
yeah, he played it
he
in
played
a lot of pubs,
Ogre,
right?
Yeah, and I think Ogre's mostly been seen against other melee heroes. So it's going to be interesting to see how he matches up against the universal hero with quite a lot of base damage.
Well, we've seen this mid Ogre Magi work out for Nouns beforehand. I'm curious if it's going to be replicated here again. Before we get into the game, do I need some predictions, boys? Aiden, I'll start with you. Give me a score. Is Nouns going to 2-0 this, or we're going to a third game?
I don't like the Ogre.
You don't like the Ogre?
I think the matchup is not the kind of matchup that Ogre enjoys.
Okay, Gods?
I gotta go Nouns. I spent the entire last game telling Winter that Nouns have a chance in this series. He was telling me this is gonna be a 2-0 stomp, so I'm gonna stick with my NA boys and
I
go
was
Nouns.
wrong the last game,
Yeah,
so
so
I'm gonna be
I'm
on
gonna
the
assume he's
Nouns
wrong
wagon
again.
now.
Now you're on the Nouns wagon.
I've recruited him.
All of a sudden. Really? Winter, you on the Nouns wagon.
I admit that I was wrong.
Okay, tell me why in this particular game you're on the Nouns wagon, not just in reference to why you were wrong in the first time.
I feel like whenever I don't understand their drafts, they win. So if I understand their drafts,
Shut
they will
him
lose.
down.
If you understand the draft,
Yeah.
okay, what is it here that you don't necessarily understand that's giving you a bit of pause?
I mean the ogre mostly.
So it literally just comes down to the ogre for all of you.
I mean, I like Nouns' tempo. I think they have a really cool chance of like being able to tempo up the game and play really fast, and then I think they might like absolutely smash Tundra. There is that world, absolutely. But I just feel like I'm not sure about the ogre, and that leans me to like Tundra's more safe, kind of comfortable.
Actually, wait,
route.
let's expand on that point a bit, right?
Yeah.
Because Tundra's more safe, normally they're the ones more composed. Normally we expect them to get the W. We're going to find out, though, if they're able to make that happen against the mid-ogre Magi as we have Game 2 of Nouns versus Tundra Esports. We have MLP and John. So, gentlemen, take it away to decide who goes into the upper bracket.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We are going into game number 2 here between Nouns and, of course, Tundra. And as I say that, Skidder already being scouted out here by Nouns. It is MLP Dota and John X5. John, welcome back. So obviously 2 brand new drafts coming out from these 2 sides. I know you're very happy to see the mid-ogre coming out again here from Gunner. What are you thinking, John? What are you thinking about these two teams here in game 2?
You know, I don't know what Nouns are cooking up, but I like it. I don't understand it. I don't know if this is going to cook really well.
You've always wished I had more than one team. Look, it's more than one team of Australia, okay? Or Oceania.
Stage early on, and it worked out, and he's doing it again. The matchup is, on paper, pretty bad. Like,
We claim Anna, but he's not a team. He's a player. We need a team. Why can't our billionaires invest into a freaking esports team, guys?
You've got this wombo combo with Faces Void, but if you do play tempo on Nouns and catch them while those cooldowns are down, you can feel pretty good. I'm just keen to see what Gunner does. Really, that's the big question mark. I was listening to the panel. There were a lot of question marks about the ogre. Winter said if he doesn't understand it, it's gonna win. It's so interesting take from Winter as always, looking like a rock star.
That's why we paint the big bucks.
Yeah, exactly it. So I don't know. I'm just excited to see this one break out. No expectations. I have no clue if we'll get game 3 at all.
Oh, for now, Gunner's at least getting very aggressive here against Thompson, and that's
You guys got EG.
Just chase down the Invoker. You see, Thompson may have an advantage later on. We'll have to wait and see. See how Gunner does deal with this. Obviously, picking it up, he must have felt somewhat confident in his ability to still have a lot of impact from this mid.
Why don't you apply for Talon, Quinn?
Side lanes as well, while we still have a chance. Of course, bottom lane, you've got 33 and 9 against K1 and Yamsun. This bottom lane could be quite difficult for Tundra up until they get those couple levels up in Iron Shell. But once you hit level 3 on 33, chances are you're probably just going to start skipping creep waves or even getting aggressive with the double Iron Shells and the roll in from 9.
Yeah, there's a lot of good aggressive potential here from Tundra. I like this change up for them in the lanes. It just feels like they have a lot more play in comparison to the last game where it felt a lot slower. They were just aiming for farm. This one can aim for some aggression once the levels are up, as you mentioned. I think committing too hard onto a CK can be a little bit dicey if the dice roll works in their favor. By the time you get a level 2 Chaos Strike, CK can just kind of turn around, especially at even a level 2 Iron Shell. Might be something that K1 can sit through if his positioning and his crits are just right. So we'll see. Up top, of course, we've got Snaking on the Warlock, along with Skipper on Faces Void up against Mule, and Lullis on the Brewmaster and the Dark Warlock.
I said, why don't you apply for Talon?
Is also a little bit, it's a bit more passive for Tundra. There is a way to play aggressive, but normally when you have a Warlock plus Void, you're just aim to shove out wave, farm, and just kind of apply some harassment. The Fatal Bonds is fairly annoying for Mule. And that is one thing that holds you back. Like, just constant wave shoving from Snaking does make it pretty hard for you to sustain through. On the Brewmaster here, there's only so much Lullis can get done by himself. They can connect at some point.
Yeah, do it.
Have a decent way of trying to play around Cinder Brew and a clap, and you have some decent area of control. But trying to gap close into the Warlock is a rather big chore early on with a Fatal Bond spam.
Certainly is. Never easy going up against this Warlock support, that's for sure.
Denied.
This bottom lane, a bit of trading happening here between K1 and 9. K1 will be okay to walk away to the 33, almost at that stage now where he hits level 3, and that's when they can start to be a little bit more aggressive here against the bottom lane of Nouns. Yeah, so trying his best to harass 33 as much as humanly possible before you hit that stage. You have the level 2 Iron Shell, but it is going to come eventually, and of course 33, he's played this Dark Scene many times.
You happy being a pharmacist? I thought you were in the army.
He was trying to go towards the Lotus pool, so Still gets the courier, but misses out on getting rid of the item from the courier for a couple minutes.
Yeah, not the biggest loss. Anything that helps Hector, of course, feels good, but I don't think the dynamic of the lane changes to the belt. Although, again, that does give him a little bit of leeway to try to play for the crits, try to survive that double Iron Shell. That is kind of ready to go at level 2 now for 2T3. I think it's interesting to take a look back at that mid, because you are seeing Gunner dominate that lane in terms of CS. 15-9 compared to Thompson at 13-4. It's not all doom and gloom for Thompson. He is winning out and trading for regen, trading for HP. But Gunner's not falling behind here. So at the least in the lane that we expected to be pretty rough for Ogre, he is still finding some form here for Gunner.
Yeah, I mean, as long as he gets the bottle refills, he should be just fine to remain within this lane, and that he will with the water runes, and we'll see with the power runes. So bottom lane, a bit of a chase here onto Darkseer at 33. He does have Surge available. They are still chasing him down, though, and 33 just goes down.
Oh.
Never mind, K1. He'll move in on to 9 as well. 9, a bit of a sitting duck without any roll available. Does get Yamsun, but he does get his own life away to K1, and that'll be a very strong start for the CK. Double kill to get K1's game started.
And that's what we were talking about, right? Like, even if you hit that double Iron Shell level 2 timing, CK, if he gets a couple of crits, he's going to survive through, he's going to get a lot of damage out. You're not the most durable in that duel in terms of, like, armor. So you can't just rip you apart once he gets the reality ripped off as well. And that's an excellent start for the CK. The K1's going to have a good timing into his armlet, and he's just, with a respawn on Yamsun, he just instantly gets aggressive as well.
K1 again trying to get aggressive here with Yamsun, doing fantastic work onto 33, just doing so much damage. Not allowing him to just abuse the Iron Shells like as he wants to. So it seems like 33 is already just going to rotate into his own triangle and just farm that up instead. You know, why the hell not? Like, you're just not at a stage where you can just dominate this lane or skip the lane. K1 just having too good of a time now on the CK. Almost level 5, in fact. So definitely kind of a bit too challenging to lane now as the Darkseer.
Yeah, and this is also something that will play along as the game goes on, but if you think about the draft of Nouns, like, you can try to play a farming game with Tundra. The issue is, as this game goes on, Nouns will get tanky. Like, you've got Brewmaster, you've got Ogre, you've got a CK, you've got Phoenix that can try to kill you from the back line. All of these heroes, well, maybe not the Brewmaster rushing hard, but most of these heroes will go for some durability item that expands your HP, which plays into that Sunray heal. And there's just no burst on Tundra, at least not until you get, like, Cataclysm, Fatal Bonds, and Chrono. That could be the burst in play, but that takes so much farm. And we've seen the timings on these heroes rushing hard. It doesn't take too long in the game if you get a little bit of space out, if you get a little bit of dead time to get a couple of parts going. I think for Tundra, that puts a little bit of pressure to try to play early. You know, while these heroes aren't that tanky yet, you've got to play with your damage.
Top lane dropping low, will be alright though. We'll be able to walk away and still have a Lotus available to use up. Bottom lane in the meantime, K1. A little bit aggressive, does have to back himself out as he was getting a little bit low to the Iron Shell on 9. Meanwhile, mid lane, by the way, Thompson, he has overtaken quite easily here against the Ogre now. He forced Gunner out of the lane earlier and forced him all the way back to the fountain, and now you're at that level 6 mark for the Invoker. Now you're farming very effectively. And, I believe this is the stage where Gunner's not going to have the greatest time, just having his mana constantly drained by Thompson. Top lane, Skinner actually going to try and fight for the Wisdom Rune himself. Lella's going to try and fight for it, but Skinner, he does manage to pick it up. In comes Moo, though. They're going to try and punish Skinner. He does not have time walk for about 13 seconds, so he's going to go for the TP attempt away, and they will not have the damage. Very nice TP from Skinner.
You changed your name. What?
Even finding the Wisdom Rune he desperately wanted.
What am I working on?
Yeah, it does keep them equal here. And the Wisdom
I've got this project to finish off, and it's just matching our old data to the new data fields. But I got to do that with every entry.
Doesn't have shadow roots, so it's going to be manual feeds with a tango. That should shove him away from the lane. Some pressure coming out from Nouns with a rotation up from Yamsun as well.
It
so
is, but no one else can do it because the data is sensitive.
You can't leave your CK alone. Hecker is just farming botany jungle with a Phantasm already being popped earlier. So you've got some room to play around the map, and they're just wanting to try to keep Skitter down. This is the one thing with the Faceless Void. It's not going to farm as fast as the CK. It's trying to go for the Midas, so every single delay you can pull out from Nouns, every single point of pressure does help.
It's just trying to be so mid lane rather. He's in good danger. now. The Ogre gonna go down off the back of the rotation from 9. Thompson able to get the kills. 9 now, may give his own life away for this, but he is still alive. Able to roll away. Yamson's now the one in danger. He cops the cold snap with the urn charges, and he is down. A double kill for Thompson. More urn charges to come for the Invoker, and well, this is really just the perfect start here for Thompson.
Yeah, and this is how the draft has to play. They've got to connect to this Invoker. You've got a Faceless Void and the Darkseer who are just going to sit back and try to farm up. So the action has to come from this trio of the 2 supports in the mid. Making their way up top already onto Mu. Already popped the split here.
Oh, Golem dropped. But Thompson, he was backing off. They're still going to move in. Skinner, he was
Sensitive, yes, sensitive. So that means people aren't allowed to look at this starter.
Only I am. He will just chase Mu around. And this is also kind of impactful because Mu, he just can't hit creeps now. Till the column disappears, he can't really get back to the creep wave, though Lelis is going to show up. Snakey, maybe going a bit too far himself, is going to beat a kill away, and Gunnar will be the one.
Are you watching it live? I'm watching it being casted and live at the same time because I've heard that the casters were pretty bad this season.
Yeah, it's a nice kill. They also find pretty big courier that was Snaking's boots trying to come in, so yeah, a little bit of an annoyance for the Warlock, not the biggest loss in the world. Still a nice kill coming out from Gunnar, something he desperately needed.
There's a lot of less experienced ones. Yeah, that was a common feedback that I think a lot of people picked it up on Twitch chat as well, that they didn't really know what they were talking about. At the same time, I guess it's good for like newbies.
Hector is playing his own game. Like, this is very classic
I mean, that's 99% of cars.
He's playing with an illusion hero. He's clearing out all the camps very efficiently. Skitter is nowhere near that kind of farm. Again, the Faceless Void is not a fast farmer at all. Still working towards that Midas. He's willing to stay in the game for a while later, making use of it again.
Yeah, they certainly are. Gunnar, he may get chronoed by Skitter. Just secure the kill. They will. There's the brambles out there. They can't get the right mix off yet, but the Sunstrike's going to fly in. No, Gunnar. Oh, he will avoid it. 9. He's going to try and jump on the blood grenade. He didn't have Boulder Smash, but now he does. And he will be able to secure the kill to Gunnar eventually. It does cost him his life, but they desperately needed to secure the Ogre kill after committing all those spells, and well, that they will.
Yeah, they're slowing Gunnar's game down, but the cost from Tundra is massive. Thompson's having to walk back home. He forced some movement out from Skitter, so that's time when he's not farming. He didn't even really soak up the AoE gold as well. I believe he was already back off very far to try to soak anything in. And for Nouns, sure, you're making sacrifices onto Gunnar, but the Ogre Magic doesn't need that much farm. Gunner's already just working onto the Blade Nail.
Man, I'm waiting for the Arcano drop. Holy moly.
To rush that part. Whereas you have all the space in the world right now for K1, for Hector. He has Armlet, Echo Saber not too far off, BKB disassembly is going to be in line for that as well. And for Tundra, I mean, this is still some good activity, but again, like, it feels like the target needs to be changed. Like, if you can hunt down the CK before the BKB, he's still going to be a very manageable target, and they are smoking up to that bot lane now.
They certainly are. I'm looking for a roll in. Does even have the Veil of Discord up as well to amp up all the damage from this Invoker. Yamsun, K1 hanging around. Yamsun actually going through the twin gates. This is not the perfect timing. This is in fact the exact opposite, because K1 now going to be chased down. They'll get the cold snap off. He'll drop the egg. K1, he needs some help, but he's quite a tanky boy. He'll survive for now. The only thing doing damage to him is his own illusion. Down the golden drop. Still snaking, continuing to try and get the kill down the K1. He heals up through it. Oh, you're joking. They just got to kill him. Skinner, he's going to move in and try to salvage the situation, but no chrono available. Means he's a sitting duck. They'll continue chasing him down. But he will be able to time walk away. His Moon now turning up to 33, but decides better on, but does try to back off, and in comes 9. We'll go to Yamsun. Tornado will land on the Phoenix.
Oh, he just got the Phoenix.
He will burn out. In goes Moon, still being chased down by Tundra. They should eventually be able to get this guy, but Moon is still running, still buying time for Gunnar to move back in. He's on the Invoker now. The Skinner, he'll have chrono in 10 seconds. They've got to be very careful. Skinner, no, they won't have chrono because Skinner's
Oh my god. I don't know if I like the Dark Willow change on her bed, is it bedlam thing?
33 will get stunned. He is down. That was a full team wipe, in fact. Snaking TP back. Lelis, he's got the hand up, but he doesn't.
See, why couldn't my freaking Dark Willow last night play like this?
But Nouns, I don't know how they keep doing it, John. They keep getting away with all these good exchanges.
There are a couple of factors there for Tundra that doesn't work in their favor. As oh my god,
he just created the god. My goodness.
It's CK, man. Casino night, you can never count out that chaos strike. But Tundra, they forced that fight while the tier 1 is standing. There's a very fast TP point.
Why you don't have a Willow? Yeah! My Willow was so bad last night.
The Sunray healing, we talked about this in draft. These are very big tanky heroes. And Tanya pointed it out as well.
I did, and like CK's either hit or miss with me.
No one was here to focus in on Yamsen. So all of that healing comes through.
I either do really well or I do really shit.
Healing onto K1 as well. It's just too much. You don't have burst.
Yeah.
This is the issue for Tundra. There's no burst play unless you start to really focus in on Chrono. Really try to play with like big Chronos and Fatal Bonds into something like Cataclysm or Magnetizing. That didn't come out there. They'll try again though.
They sure will. K1, he's the closest target. That's the one they really want. Yamson's right behind him. He has it available again. They'll go for the Sunray first. Make sure K1 does get pulled up just a little bit. In goes the Phantasm. In goes the Tornado. K1, can he go through this? Even with the Spirit Vessel, K1 with the Chaos Meteor should go down. He cannot armor toggle through it. He will drop. There's 9. May have to give his own life away. Although he is still running a nice surge from 33, giving time for 9 to get his way out. Meanwhile, towards the left gunner, also getting caught out as Tundra, completely smothering Nouns now. We'll find 2 for nothing. As 9, he barely was able to roll away throughout all of that.
That was much better isolation coming out from Tundra. Managed to catch out the CK without as much backup. Mu couldn't instantly pop the primal split to try to commit.
You'll be my Amelia.
Show up at all. Like,
so games are so easy when you support.
I'm keen to see if he's gonna go all in for something like the Axe Rush here as maybe a way to scale as your Ogre Magi. It can scale, but it's not scaling linearly with damage. Whereas
It's too full microing. It's kind of hard. I get confused like with CK because I don't know the hero too well. I get confused with items. Like which items I should be buying.
A lot easier to manage at this moment. Although Hector again is going into BKB hard anyway. And if you catch these fights without that split, the control of Nouns does fall down. You didn't even have to drag Skipper in with say the Chronosphere this time around, so he's able to just sit back and farm while that rotation comes in. Very nice win for Tundra, and that's what we need to see more of. Just these kind of isolation plays while Nouns are trying to play a little bit greedier, especially on their supports. It is an Ags Rush for Lelis, so he is trying to scale up his damage and, you know, just use Gunner as more of control and utility here, rather than straight out burst on the Ogre Magi.
Bottom lane, things were coming out towards Mu. And they could just stick around and secure the tier 1 bottom tower, because we saw what happened last time they wanted to fight this in this area. They are going to wrap around though. Thompson in the Ghost Walk. They have the vision with the Observer Ward, so Mu is going to try.
After a game, you keep that tempo play, you win a lot. Oh, it's hard to with pubs though. Yeah, no, I'm doing work. This is why I'm not on cam. But the work I'm doing is very ad hoc-y, so not ad hoc-y, sorry, admin-y. So I can watch while I do my work.
Really good timing there. 0.6 seconds left for me to get through that gate. Catch him in the nick of time, get some good punishment. Again, I don't know if this is going to matter because Lelis is actually going to stick in. So you're ganking up these high tanky utility heroes that will still stay tanky as the game goes on. They will eventually find space for at least the Vit booster into the heart. At some points, you're going to get the Phoenix backing you up. I am actually concerned for Lelis getting all of this space. And as insane as that sounds, I mean, he's got the Midas. He's sat up top.
You can play on your lunch break too, yeah. Because I ended up working from home today.
This is going to take quite some time to take off, but once you have Dark Willow Ags with, say, a Witchblade and a Moon Shard, and there's some funny stuff that can happen with him. And this is why I'm really digging Nouns, this Road to the Internationals group stage. Because every draft they pull off somehow is very turbo drafty. This is a different game they're playing like. I don't know if this will pay off, because it'll take a long time for Wells to get the Ags, but this is a turbo game for them, and I love it.
Yeah. And the thing is, you don't want to drag out the game too long, I don't think, a skid on the Void. Obviously, every time we see a Void, we kind of talk about how impactful it's always going to be with the Chrono once it is up.
No way. What article is
He's
this?
a real threat, but he's getting there. He's not too far off now. Fourth of net worth. Climbing up very quickly with the Midas and the Maelstrom builder.
They will not get rid of work from home.
You can never count him out. It's a very scary spell.
I feel like so many people would try and find jobs that do work from home.
Even Moo's going for his own Radiance build up as well, and he'll have that up very, very soon. So they are somewhat getting the answers here towards this Void issue they might have very, very soon, but for now they're more than just happy to just keep this farm going.
Everyone's got a Midas.
Yeah.
You know, everyone's just going for the Midas. You've got a Midas coming out for Gunner, which is probably the most efficient Midas with your multicast, so that's always funny. This is...
I heck and love this.
I know. It's an arm to raise. Good smoke break by Lullis. So no ganks to come out here from Tundra. Very nice position for him to get that done. And again,
Okay, let me read this article.
Like you said, we're just building up on Nouns. Tundra probably just feeling confident about scaling, as you mentioned, because of the Faces Void. My one concern is it does put pressure on Skitter to actually start to land some bigger chronos, right? Like, yes, Faces Void is a very hard hero to beat in the late game, arguably one of the best heroes in late game because of Chronosphere. But you have a lot of heroes in the back that you have to take out.
Son. He's desperately trying to survive.
Another victim.
He's all right. He's all right. So K1's sitting there secretly praying for a crit to come, just to finish off the...
Yeah, work from home. Wow. They said 3/4 of Australian CEOs said they will reward employees who make an extra effort to come into the office with raises, promotions. Nah, man.
Friendly reminder when it's paused, you ping that for your teammates.
Yeah.
No,
This is when you will see an era of newer companies blooming.
Midas for 9 is up. Midas for Thompson. It's Midas gameplay right here.
I think it's only the old school companies, to be honest.
1, 2, 3, 6 Midases, man. I don't know how often we've seen that, but I feel like it's been a long time since we've seen 6 Midases in a game.
Can we get 7? Can we make it 7? That's the real question.
I'd want to.
You get a raise to pay for transport? Dude, it should work out the same because you're paying for your own electricity, internet,
From Tundra now, looks like
amenities.
There is going to be a smoke though. Nouns, they're actually down at the bottom lane. Seems like they want to
Like,
focus
it's...
the T1 tower. Tundra,
There's really no difference.
Because they have just gotten very, very low off their own Tormentor. It's a T1 bottom tower anyway. It's not the most important. In fact, Nouns, they're the ones to retreat. It seems like they just do not want to risk getting caught with their pants down. Instead, K1 rushing right towards the Roshan pit. So they might just force a fight here instead, or maybe they'll just get a free Roshan for themselves. Either way, I think Nouns are happy.
Yeah. And no contest coming out. They're on the opposite side of the map for Tundra. They don't have vision down here. Well, they did have gate vision, but no one really walked by. And they did see the movement through the ramp. They'll just go for the tier 1 tower trade, which is a fair trade.
I think it just depends. Like, it depends. Like, if we go into, let's say we go into a recession, then pretty much the companies have more power. And, like, more people... Oh my god, look at that. CK.
Nice to know you, sir.
Captain Starboy, TY for resubbing.
Chaos Knight just runs at you.
Yeah, it's one of those things. You're a support in a Chaos Knight game. You get caught out, you're just dead. Yeah, the snaking accepts his fate.
Yeah, it just depends on the market. If employees have more...
Easier necessarily for Tundra. I think
if employees have more power...
WTF early stream PogChamp Pride Pog.
Then they can't get rid of work from home. It's only when the companies have more power than employees they can. So, example, recession. Like people are desperate for work, they'll do, you know, they'll pick any job.
Looking for a way to roll out, but he's just completely blocked off. will go down as K1 now. He saw Thompson. Ghostwalk is out. K1, of course, does not have detection himself. Because that's a support's job, Jonathan. K1,
Well, that's the thing, right, with companies, is that anyone will do anything for money. But like I would go 5 days a week if they paid me enough, but no. I don't think what they're paying me is enough to go to the office for 5 days a week.
The Midases are paying off quite nicely, I'd say, for now. And so, it's funny, Lullas has the Midas, he's bottom net worth, but again, he is trying to rush Ags, and he's been relatively inactive in this game.
$20 is $20.
So again, to ramp up to this hyper carry, super carry, Willow is pretty long. Smoke out from Tundra as 3 here.
That's the one they want. They want that mid ogre. Oh, never mind. The K1's there as well. Instead, they are going to move on to Gunner. That's the one they see. Skidder, he'll hold on to the chrono for now. Gunner, he just cannot sustain himself through that damage output. In comes K1. He's got that Aegis up. There goes the egg. Skidder, he's actually going to chrono the egg and try to go for it in his own, but he can't do it. The chrono does not help against the egg, Skidder.
No!
Sometimes you just got to mash your buttons, John. You know? Sometimes you just press all the buttons, see what happens. No.
Oh shit, yeah.
Seeing the opportunity, he'll chase down Thompson, but they don't have the detection.
Oh my god, wrong button.
Yeah, that's a bit dicey for Tundra. And finding that kill in Gunner is all well and good, but losing your Void in exchange I don't think is that worthwhile. And the Ogre Magi is not the big issue here. And Gunner doesn't even care.
So Nouns is up 1. This is the second game.
His heart is not too far off. He has the full Reaver, so he has that strength added onto him. They see 9.
Yeah, they certainly do. 9 gonna do the old Joel away, but 9 certainly in danger now as K1 will just chase him down. Still rolling. Yamson, he'll keep up the vision. 9 is, I mean, at least he's buying plenty of time for his team. Eventually we'll get you stuff mid-roll. It does get cancelled, and K1 will secure himself his 7th kill of the game as the Chaos Smoke. Top.
Lullas.
I mean, Lullas playing with fire. He's the only guy with a dust right now, so he's got to be near the Invoker. you know these core players, John, they don't buy dust. Not their job.
When you see a put on chrono and egg, oh my god.
Well, who's responsible when he has dust?
Oh, good on.
There you go.
God bless it.
Knew the base Chad, of course. Playing, still rocking that offlane Witch Doctor, rocking out in his Brewmaster, going for that Manta next, just have a Dispel on hand. And again, Tundra, I don't think this lineup is finding its mid-game timing the way that we want to, right? Because now you've got one initial heart in K1. So Hector has all this HP in the world. You've got Gunner's heart again, he's just lacking the recipe now. You've got this durability and Widow Radiance up for Newell. Like, how do you play the burst game in Chrono? Because you are nowhere near something like the Ags and Thompson. It's not even pretty at all. We haven't seen big fatal bonds coming out in these Chronos. Nouns have been very disciplined to stay as split apart as they could possibly be to force Skipper to look for these really awkward Chronos. And they're just playing this game. Like, even though these fights end up being 1-for-1s, Nouns wins out. They're farming, they're building up this arms race. Some commitment down bot, but not too hard. And I know, like, I'm just really
Why is he a SA player?
He's ready to go. He's not queuing it up anymore. He's flying out. I think that is the Willow Ags.
Do you guys think this is a drafting issue, or do you think this is actually like team coordination issue?
Yeah, just a little bit more. And he even has the Philostone. So we're gonna have Dark Willow Ags with the Shadow Realm. This is a turbo game, dude. Mid Ogre Magi. Let's support Willow that goes Midas. Now it's have they done their scrims on turbo?
I agree as well.
It's working.
Be very careful up there, sir. So Nouns are not going to have too much of an idea the Void is well, they do, because there is an observer watching Skidder right now, but do they have a smoke? Do they have a way of getting there? Yamsun does have a smoke available if they want to make the rotation up. So they're going to walk the old-fashioned way, see if they can sneak up behind Skidder, but it seems like Skidder will back his way to the base, so he's going to be just fine. Rest of Tundra currently down at the bottom lane, trying to apply that pressure. Mu is around to D-push here, as they are going to try and make the jump in. Mu is still a very, very tanky target. He will be forced to pop the Primal Split. So they do at least get a big spell used up here from the side of Nouns. And it seems as though Mu is not really going to be able to capitalize, though he might still
Because of
find
CK.
Nine. Chasing him with the Storm Panda, but no. 9 is okay.
Tundra also playing with a stand-in. Also, it's oh really? Who's the stand-in in Tundra?
Kind of just farming. You don't mind that usage of the skill, honestly, because you're not really looking to fight into Tundra anyway. You don't want to give them that opportunity to get that chrono, to get that wombo combo they're looking for with chrono vac wall. They will smoke.
Oh
the
shit!
pressure's on them. They've got this timing that can still deal with some of the durability on the side of Nouns. They do pop that smoke with Skitter clearing out illusions. So that's information for Nouns to back off, and they've gone to the sides of the map. They get the scan off on the triangle. They're going to be safe. They might even set up here for stragglers.
Snaking's trying to get some deep vision down, and he will get some vision down around the jungle of that Radiant, the Radiant triangle that is. K1 could run right into Tundra. Mu, he's even deeper. Snaking's going to scout him out. Mu, going to go for the TP play out, but Snaking, he'll drop the golem. Does want the TP cancel. Obviously worth it if he can get the kill onto the broom.
Thanks for following to No Sense.
Surely no way out of this one as he does get caught
It's
back to
33 no impact. Tundra is 50-50. That's kind of sad if you're relying on one hero or one player.
One big tool taken away from Nouns for this follow-up fight. They are smoked up behind. Looks like they might be willing to actually take that follow-up fight. I mean, they've got all their spells ready, but they'll play it safe. Heart done on Hector, as mentioned. Heart done on Gunner. 3.6k HP.
Oh my god. This is just like team tankiness.
You do at least have a full Mjolnir on Skitter, so it's a little bit more magic damage coming through here. But again, Nouns don't seem to care. They just want to farm. That's the Ags money for Lilith. So it's fun times are about to begin. It's not quite insanity yet with the Dark Lord.
It's useful, I reckon.
Attack speed acceleration, but we're getting there.
They found K1. K1, he's on the cliff. Rift
Oh,
is back
he ended
on
up
9. He will be able to
rifting
get
it.
K1 back down thanks to the reality rift. He's 9. Does
That's
roll
BKB
back
down.
into K1?
Oh, BKB on ES2.
An opportunity for Skitter to get a nice chrono off, but it never comes. You get a BKB forced out from K1, but that's really about it.
Ooh, not a good courier to lose there
Uh-oh.
for Lilith.
That's unfortunate. That is very unfortunate. He does not have the Axe for 2 minutes 20 seconds now.
Same. I'm with you, Ellie. I always forget about Mage Slayer.
Just play farming again for 2.5 more minutes. That will give Lilith some time to try to work onto his next item, I suppose. So it's not all too shabby here for the Dark Willow. But it is more breeding room for Tundra to also play this farm game. They're not winning the farming game, though. You're still 5k up and downs. You're at parity with every other core but Hector, but parity is not really the point you'd want to be here, I don't think, for Tundra. So it's an awkward game where you're just waiting for the the tension to release. And I still haven't we still don't have the tools on Tundra to really look for a burst play. So in these prolonged fights, the important target to go for is actually going to be Yamsen. You have to take care of that Phoenix, you have to take care of the Sunray of the Egg.
Slayer of Mages.
They are rushing down bot onto Roche. They've got an idea
They've
here.
got a bit of time. They have got time to move in.
Oh, here we go. The big ass fight's coming in. Who's gonna take the Aegis? Nice, just picked it up. Oh my god, look how tanky that shit is. Wow.
Moving back in, he's got a secondary life and a cheese as well that he just eats immediately. His 33 is forced to BKB and just TP away, but they left Skitter.
Wow. To be honest, where is the damage? Where is the damage on Team Tundra?
It cost them so much and they don't even get it.
There's just no damage. Like Skitter gets a
Yeah, see, exactly.
But as we just said, Yamsen's in the back. Sunray's going off on these high HP heroes. You can't out-damage too much. Where's the burst? Where's the out?
It's alright, it's alright. Like, no one's getting knocked out yet. This is just lower and upper bracket.
He's going for the Ocarine for spell spam. There's no follow-up, no clear follow-up in that chrono yet. It's just not there.
It certainly is not, and now the Tormentor will be taken from the dire end, so Lilith will be able to get a free chance for himself. Yeah, you got no Ags, but at least you get a free chance. Ags is back up in 10 seconds as well for Lilith, as His courier will respawn in 5 seconds from now, and I mean, Tundra 13k behind. They're the ones that need to find a way back into this game. What is it, John? What are you laughing about now?
No, I'm just laughing because Lullas has enough money to just buy one Hyperstone. Lovely. You know, it's like, yeah, we're getting to that point. This is where the fun truly begins here. For good old Lullas, if you wanted to.
Wait a minute, wait.
He's a little bit bigger brain, not as he knows he's not in the turbo match.
Yeah.
And we shall see. There's that Ags. Man, it's so funny with Dark Willow. You look at her talents, Mike. It's like they want you to build her as a carry.
You know the frog,
right?
You know the frog. He definitely wants it to happen.
Oh, goodness.
I was going to say as well, I was looking at Dota Plus. The game is still relatively close between these two teams. Nouns currently is 60% their way. It was actually 59% in Tundra's way just a minute ago before that last Roshan fight. But now Nouns, at least 60% chance of them winning according to Dota Plus.
I think that's fair. Yeah. I think there's this big play potential from Tundra. They just need to execute. Ideally, your initiation has to be back wall into Chrono with Fatal Bonds.
Oh my god, look at that tower just dropping from freaking Brew little minions. The fuck? Holy shit. What the fuck?
Yeah, just like that.
I'll be back in 80 seconds.
Yeah, it's you don't have anything to clear the Brewlings. You have Fatal Bonds, but you don't really have big AoE damage. You know, nothing like Medusa, nothing like a Luna on hand to kind of just help you clear that out, or a Gyro. You've got to face his Void, so you just kind of have to accept it. I do like that 9 is trying to go for the Ags. I think that is one way to try to break up these fights from Nouns. Just try to reposition, pull someone back, or try to save your cores if the initiation comes from Nouns first. But it doesn't even feel like Nouns are trying to initiate, right? Like, all of these fights are Tundra fighting into Nouns. Nouns aren't making any big moves themselves. They haven't made any big moves outside of a couple of smoke ganks. Like, it's mainly been responses to Tundra. That's what most of these big 5v5s have been all about.
Oh my god, gotta learn Brewmaster. Holy shit.
So I don't know if the offensive potential of the Ags is going to be that big on 9 once he finds the gold. And I don't know if the defensive potential is going to be that amazing either. I think the Shivas coming out from 33 is big, but hasn't really done much.
Skitter's very deep. Do they know? Oh, they know. He ran on the vision. They know exactly where he's gone. Skitter, be very careful.
Boy.
He'll time walk BKB. Oh, goodness. That was a little bit frightening. Nice observer ward to try and scout that out as well. Not sure who placed it. I imagine Yamson did, but very, very nice.
Like, it's fine. Ogre mid was a thing before. Like, it's not nothing new.
They know that Tundra's going to try to do a couple of flank moves. And now
it was the same as when, like, Ogre was getting picked off lane.
It's not going to be comfy in those Chronos. They can try to get something done here. Lellis is queuing up a new chart. Let's go. Let's go.
Oh, why not? It's the way to play it. It's the way the Frog would want, John. Here you go, Tundra. They've got Primal Split back up. They've got an Octarine core on Moo. Do they want to do the old split and just take racks? I think they may.
Oh my god.
Moo will just pop preemptively. K1 moves into boot. There are not too many buybacks available right now. It's only 9 that has one available on Tundra. Now Thompson has his own buyback gold, so he'll be able to buy back if necessary, but it doesn't seem like Nouns are looking to commit too hard anyway. They're just letting
they just don't have right-click damage. Or cleave.
And Tundra, well, they're just not able to deal with it so far. They'll kick back Gunner into the tier 4s, but he just casually walks out.
There's no damage.
He's got 4.5k HP. So what are you going to do? The Ogre just walks out casually.
There's no damage. There's no output. Skitter's going for more stats.
No, but the thing is, Void can't last in this draft after Chrono.
It has to come out. I really feel like it has to come out from Thompson somehow. As cheesy as Cataclysm Reliance sounds, it does feel like that probably is your safest route in terms of straightforward combinations. Otherwise, you're talking about dancing around, trying to play with Fatal Bonds, trying to reposition heroes with the Earth Spirit, and they're just way too
Void Plus, yeah. You know what? I reckon that would have been a better
Nouns
pick
getting
than
this
the
higher durability
Warlock.
lineup. You know, we were seeing Primal Beast, we were seeing Spirit Breaker, and just really tanky cores. That was the Gunner's Ogre Magi game. Like, they just don't die. And again, there's no burst in this lineup at all. There's no big steroid skill on their cores. You know, you don't have an innate crit.
Man, I would, if I was this Earthshaker,
There's
I meant
no source of
Earth Spirit, I would
high
just go
damage. There's a lot of
Radiance.
control. There's a lot of BKB piercing control with Chrono and a Golem, but there's no follow-up for it yet.
Thompson showing down at bottom lane. Moo is right around the corner. He's got split up available again. So he will not make the jump in, but the rest of Nouns, they are moving down towards Thompson. Thing is, Thompson, realizing he's shown himself, just TP's back towards his team. Cannot really afford to give any free kills away to Nouns right now, because obviously it just feels like it means a free racks.
There's no item to counter Heart? What do you mean? You just pick Skadi, and you just need to do a lot of damage output.
Looking to start moving on to the bottom T3 tower once again. Moo, he's got the primal split, and here we go. Nice and safe.
Wow, look at this. Too many illusions. Not enough cleave.
Start at the main event. And this is Nouns, and nobody's expecting Nouns to win this against Tundra 2-0. But
I feel this is so, like, ratty. Do you guys remember the last TI?
Yeah.
How it was just, like, legit.
That's a very far kickback. But Gunner is so tanky. Where's the damage? Here comes the Sunray. They gotta run. They know they don't have the damage through that. Meanwhile, K1, he's dealing with the T3 top tower. He already got it. He got the melee barracks. It's only the range barracks left for Megas. Nouns one step closer as 9 does go down on the Earth Spirit. I think they can go. There's only 4 up on Tundra. Sight the Vice on Gunner. They're so close. They are so close now.
Yeah.
PA counters.
Multicast, Sight of Vice. That's where you really start to feel it. And the side of now, it's they've just danced around Tundra. You know, looking back at that interview Mew gave, he's like, you know,
I feel like this is just outplayed through drafting.
Very humane gameplay. Because it's not a draft that you'd expect at TI. It's not, you know, 3 Midases on Nouns side is not what you'd expect. It's paying off. I don't know if we've even seen Lellis use Shadow Realm with Yags.
It is. It's actually so annoying. Blade Mail Heart.
What does matter though is whether the Tundra can fight back here in this game.
Like, I think Blade Mail is my most hated hero right now. I meant hero item. Look at this. They don't have anything for illusions. Oh, they're finally getting the kill on the ZK. Oh, wow. Human Chrono. Phoenix down. Look how tanky this freaking ogre is. Where's the bashes, Gaben?
And they will punish successfully, but they are now up against Mega Creeps.
Oh, it sucks because I like my ranged heroes, and Blade Mail just freaking kills a lot of my. Oh, they go for the Dark Reload?
Here.
They want everything they can get
Blinks
here.
up.
He's still going, but
I don't know if you can find him.
he's got no boulders. He's only got 1, so it's probably not worth trying.
We've got a Midas for snaking now as well.
There you go, number 7.
So, yeah, we're I just want everyone to have Midas.
Yeah, Spectre's
I
pretty.
just want this to be a turbo game.
I actually.
Pretty much is.
I like playing Spec, but I can't play as good as other people play Spectre.
And then we're gonna have a very fun time here. Roshan is ready to be taken by either side. Roshan number 3 with a free Ags. So a big one for either side to find. The Tundra needs this Rosh. They want to be able to come in. Like a free Ags up for Thompson fixes a lot of those damage issues. You can start to confidently take team fights with a Chrono. Even without the Fatal Bonds, just Cataclysm alone will provide you some good damage to play with to soften up these high-strength heroes. We'll see if they'll get the room to get that done. The side of Nouns are starting to clump up as well. We've got the full AC up on Moo. They're smoked up here.
Dude, if Tundra comes back from this, like, holy shit.
They don't have the vision. They will miss out just barely. They are just focused on 9 at the moment, just tunnel vision on the Earth Spirit. We'll see him eventually, but 9 will be able to roll away. Instead, K1, he wants the Roshan. Screw the heroes, take the Aegis.
Oh my god, that's just so much damage.
Even a cheese available. I wonder who takes what. who wants the Ags? I think it might be Gunner. And it will be. So you've got the unrefined Fire Blast now. This is a lot of fun.
Oh my god. This is silly. This is truly silly. It'll smoke up again. So much output coming from now. It's gonna take the gate. A hell lot of damage. I'm just waiting for Lullis, man. This Moonshard gets me excited.
Yeah, we might just not see it though. That's the thing. Like the 21k ahead, they've got megas. Funniest thing is though, Tundra, they still are being given a 21% chance of winning, which I don't necessarily disagree. It is still Tundra. It is a refresher orb skitter. You know, a couple good chronos could change the game entirely.
Yeah, Nouns have to close it out, right? The pressure is on Nouns for this advantage. They can't afford to get too cocky. They'll get the split off onto Moo.
They just bloodlust all the
this is the gameplay.
Rush a bit. I mean,
Wow.
They can play this super safely.
How cheesy is this? Dude, after this game, there's gonna be so many Brewmasters getting played. Look at this. You can legit just split push with Brewmaster. Split.
K1, he is in clear vision. Reality of thought the 33 will force the BKB up, but they'll drop the wall on K1. Skidder trying to move in. Chrono, it's committed. They found Yamsun this time. There'll be no Phoenix already coming. No Aeon Disc. A double Chrono just for the Phoenix to go down. Now he's on a K1. Yamsun though, he has brought back. He'll come back into the fight. Darksea, the 33 Darksea dropping very low as Gunner chasing him down along with K1. Gets the Fire Blast off. It's not enough.
Oh, there's a cheese.
So darn low to Skidder.
There's no mana on the void.
Are they defending? Moo dropping very low himself on the Brewmaster. Needs a way out. K1 is still going though.
Oh my god, this CK just not dying.
Dropping low to Snaking's golems. He'll go down the first time.
Okay, everyone's running from the egg. Nah, they gotta get the tower.
They're fighting without Gunner. They don't have their mid-ogre, they want to retreat, but Thompson's on the chase. So is Skidder, and they love K1, but K1 will run instead. They'll find Moo on that Brewmaster. The Tornado will land.
Wow, Tornado landed on both of them. The fuck?
Keep in mind, Yamsun did just buy back, so they could try for a dieback immediately. But it seems like everyone else is out. Still very nice punishment from Tundra. The Nouns, they are trying their absolute
Monkeys
best,
forever
but
spams Brewmaster.
maybe they do have to rely on this primal split, just rat gameplay.
It does feel that way. Hector played really confidently with the Aegis up, but that did drag the rest of his team. It's also a little unfortunate that all
I
that
still
breaks up
you,
because
Jax.
Yamsun was caught in Chrono twice. He was very close to Hector, maybe a little bit too close for comfort to that CK and trying to sustain him. And the punishment is severe. That is double Chrono. Refresh is going to be a minute 20 down, so you have an opening here for Nouns and respawn. You do have room to start, again, going into these other items now for your supports.
Oh, there's a DD rune.
Almost have something like the Wind Waker
Void's
coming out
found
for
it.
Yamsun. You've almost got the... Again, you've got...
But no Chrono. Sadger.
It's starting to feel ridiculous with Shadow Realm, with the way it is right now with his level 20 talent, so... The game is still tough for Tundra. They have to rely on Skidder. Like, again, if he keeps finding Chronos like that, if you find Yamsun, really, that's the big hero. If you find this Phoenix in the back line, you take away a lot of the sustain that's keeping these high tanky heroes alive.
Oh,
on Nouns.
Absolutely. It really is all about the Phoenix, isn't it?
Oh no, they found Thompson.
They have got themselves a big fish here, John. Thompson is down, but he does have buyback available. 33 actually around the corner. Yamsun.
Oh, the Spies versus Just Miss.
Still, they might just be able to force a buyback from this Invoker immediately.
Yeah, I mean, it's only 1 tier 4 left. The high ground's
Hydra
starting to get
now.
really empty for Tundra. And Nouns, they've got everything to play with. Lullis, is he gonna buy out? Nah. He's playing it safe, wants to keep that buyback, which is fair. 500 gold to have the surplus to buy out that full Moonshard. But think about it. Once you have Moonshard, Dark Willow with Shadow Realm, she's just going to hit those objectives. She's not going to care. That's another way to rat this out.
Keep in mind, 33, he's got the Ags up now. So you've got the normal punch, so you've got multiple illusions you can take.
Oh my god, just look how much damage this CK does. Oh, the Chrono! He's going for the egg.
He'll drop the egg. He'll keep going with the Sunray. The Chrono.
Nice. Oh, there's a double Chrono. Oh my gosh, with the base.
It's his own team. 9 kick K1 away. K1. He's going to get 33, but K1's too deep now. K1's
Okay, Sag Chrono.
Meanwhile, the Ancient completely exposed Gunner. He was trying to go for it. Lelis will do it too. Moo still trying with the Brewmaster, but he's out of the primal split. He needs to run. This
Oh
is
my god.
Meanwhile, K1, he does find 9 on the Earth Spirit, but do they keep going? It's 3v2. It is 3v2 Nouns. They have an Ancient exposed. They could do it. Skidder cannot afford to get caught. He'll time walk forward. K1, he'll jump in with the stun, but no rift yet. There it
Oh,
is.
there's the
They've got
rift.
Skidder.
Oh my god,
Silence
that just
down,
hurts.
but he's got buyback available. He can come back into this fight. Nouns, half HP on the Ancient for an upper bracket position for the main event. There's your buyback from Skidder. It's Thompson and Skidder versus the 3 of Nouns.
Oh no, you got silenced without BKB. This is the thing. Oh no, the dieback. The instant dieback.
Surrounded, completely exposed. It's up to Thompson, but the GG's called.
GG.
The GG is called. Nouns have
Nouns
done
did it.
Nouns have done it. A 2-0 up against Tundra. Where are the NA haters at, John? Where are they? It's quiet over here.
Oh, now it's of all the teams to even find that
I
2-0
cannot
on.
believe it.
It's Tundra. Tundra, the team that looked revitalized going through the group stage of the road to the international. Nouns comes out, they play this ogre mid. They, it was a big question mark for us. It was a big question mark for the panel, but it works out. It's this durability play. It's the fact that they've got all of these strong heroes.
I'm sorry,
Man,
John.
it's too much.
I've got to interrupt you. We've got the players and Slacks for an interview, so let's throw over to Slacks, see what he has to say.
Hello, everybody. We are here.
Oh my god, the mic quality is shit. The fuck TI.
That was an explosion of energy after you guys.
Is this?
Unbelievable. They said you guys were making it out of groups. They said the best thing you could do was possibly survive groups.
Come on, NA. What the fuck?
Good. That was a fun game. I had a lot of fun. I feel good.
Feeling good? Okay, fantastic, guys. I mean, no, come on. That was some hype shit right there, right?
Yeah.
This is NATI, guys. NATI. What the fuck?
Back to the panel. Thank you so much for an incredible showing.
Thank you very much, Slacks, and of course, thank you very much, Nouns, for delivering some incredible entertainment.
Are they in Portugal? No, they're in fucking Seattle. Are they not?
Champions. Now, of course, Nouns will begin the upper
Or
bracket.
does everyone go to
Main event,
Seattle
that's where they
after
will
the
start
up and
off.
lower brackets
Aiden,
are found
talk
out?
to me about Ogre. How do you feel about this, Hero? What's happening from the mid lane? Does it make more sense now with the game in retrospect, now that you've seen how it plays out?
I mean, I feel like, if I'm honest, it kind of played out like I expected. The early game looked very good for him, and then as the laning phase progressed, they got more.
Wait,
and
you
more
actually
in vocal
got tickets for
favor.
TI?
But I think, to me at least, the biggest piece was the Chaos Knight. The Chaos Knight seems to be, I mean, I know it has one of the highest win rates at this event, and it looks really, really tricky to stop it. And I think that was probably more of the reason why they were able to win this game than maybe the Ogre.
Not just does the Chaos Knight have an extremely high win rate, gods, but it's in the hands of K1 Hector, one of the better Chaos Knight players. He's always had an extremely high win rate with it, played it quite a lot. This must feel like a very good time for him to be alive now that this hero is so good.
Yeah, and it felt very reminiscent of like when he first kind of made a name for himself back in the old Beast Coast days, where he came. I mean, he wasn't playing Chaos Knights much back then; it was more the Wraith King. But it was these like this ultra farming, hyper efficient. Like if you give me a free farm game, I will carry the game. And Darkseid was in the jungle like minute 5, like because of how tough that lane is. It's not because Darkseid necessarily played anything too poorly. It's just Chaos Knight's such a lane dominator. Then he got completely free farmed. He was like 3 or 4k net worth ahead of everyone throughout the mid game. Giving K1 Hector free farm is just a recipe for disaster if you're playing against him, it feels like.
And where do you think things went wrong here, Winter, for the side of Tundra? Because some of the early game portions, like Insania mentioned, were kind of decent for them.
I feel like I'm not really sure when they are supposed to be stronger than Nouns lineup, Their lineup feels like it's very cooldown dependent, but whenever I see the bubble in the early mid game, they just don't have enough damage, to throw into the chrono. It takes too much to kill one single hero, and the Chaos Knight is just running around.
Just to
He's killing
see
people on
rain?
his own.
What?
He doesn't really need anyone else
Is
to
it
help
not
him.
rain in your
I think
area?
if you think about the draft path also, like, the Darkseer was the last pick of Tundra's draft.
Yes.
And you see both the Phoenix and the Chaos Knight when you pick up the Darkseer. So I think the expected idea is that that lane is going to go fine or win. It's like 50%, like 50-50 or better. And it ended up not doing that. And I think that usually ends up
I
becoming a pretty
realize
big issue.
what I like in
When you leave this hero
teams
for last, you see everything,
is
you have all the information given
I
to
actually
you,
like
and then
teams
the
that
choice
don't
isn't
change
able
their
to
draft.
accomplish what you
every
needed to. And then
bloody
the
tournament.
consequence becomes like.
So I
what you
feel
said,
like that's why I'm
the
a.
opponent just has no damage. Like there's nothing to.
Oh,
dump in
Night
there. Like,
Queen.
you
Have a good
upheaval.
rest. So I feel like that's why I like Team
And to make matters
Spirit
worse,
now,
not
is
only do you
because
just have the
they've.
lack of damage, but you have a degree of sustain from their side. Obviously, K1 Hector
Like,
can
I
keep
like
himself
teams
alive,
that are
he has
willing
this
to
heart, he
work
can just- it's CK, super
on
tanky.
each
But
other.
there's a hero who was speaking about in the
There
draft
rather
this
than
weekend,
like
Phoenix,
keep
right? And
kicking,
normally it was gonna be a
swapping
very
out
hard
players.
Phoenix game, but the way he played it,
Yeah.
this was actually so good from Yamsen. Not only was he so good with his Sunray heals outside of the bubble, but eventually Skeeter was forced to chrono him.
Like, I
And
find
only
it
him,
so
he was committing
annoying
double
every time I
chronospheres
see
to
a
him.
roster
Talk to
change.
us as a 5 position about how good it feels to have that degree of impact on a hero like Phoenix.
I mean, there's like.
Yeah,
especially
exactly,
when
and
the
I
game
think
is
that's
going
why I
poorly for
liked
you, like,
OG,
see it from
not
Tundra's
just
perspective,
because
the
of
game isn't really going
Anna
that well.
and
then, like, they
Thompson,
have this
but
one fight
because
around
like.
the mid lane area where he chronos and the Phoenix gets egg off, and he tries to hit the egg down, but he.
But
can't
because
kill it.
like they were like
It's like you almost feel like you won the game.
willing
Like
to
the
kind
egg
of work
before the
with
chrono goes
each
off.
other.
And I think
Like
that's
they
like
did
a
have
very
some,
defining moment
like a
where,
couple of
this very key cooldown got
draft
wasted.
changes, but it wasn't
Thanks
like
to
the
him
whole
being, like,
team
so fast,
change.
reacting.
Something is wrong if that's happening because the Phoenix was the overall first pick.
And I
Yeah.
kind of get the
And you
same
shouldn't have
feeling
this
with
much
like
of
Team
impact.
Spirit.
I'm underestimating how strong Phoenix is.
Mm.
Like I feel like the first couple of picks, it was what Earth Spirit, Faceless
Earth
Void,
Spirit into
and
Phoenix,
Warlock, right?
yeah.
Yeah, and Warlock. So all those picks didn't really address. Like after watching the game, obviously, didn't really address the egg. Yeah.
Well, with that
Azure
not
Ray will
hero
get
being,
top 3.
the hero not being
Are you
addressed,
working,
rather,
Icy?
Phoenix gets the W for the side here of Nouns. That puts them in the upper bracket to begin the main event. Now, God,
The
so
best
far, let's be honest, there
player?
haven't been that many
Oh, I
upsets.
don't
The
watch enough
TSM
pro
VP
players to
one,
know
a
who's the
little bit of an
best.
upset, but the teams were in a sort of a relatively similar category. If I had given you money and say bet between Nouns and Tundra before
I
today,
can't
you would have
comment on
definitely
that.
told me Tundra. So if you're
I'm an NA believer, Snick. Come on.
More
now,
of a
put words
bludge
in my
day.
mouth.
Well, mine's
Entire
work
game
from
one, I
home
was
too,
Winter
but
Nouns
like
got this, and then he
it was because my nose was bleeding this morning,
I'm telling him that he must be smoking.
and it was too late for me to catch the
So do you
train.
honestly expect Nouns to be the one to be carrying the standard of NA into the upper bracket rather than TSM or Rebellion?
Yeah, truthfully,
Yeah.
not really. I think if one of those teams had to
I
bet on
just,
one,
like,
maybe would have
messaged my
been
boss and I
probably
was like,
TSM.
"Oh."
Obviously, Shopify have had moments throughout the year where they've looked good.
I'm
but,
gonna work from home today
you know,
'cause
particularly when it comes to
I need to go
TI,
doctors and
right
get
now, the road
like
to
a
the international.
referral.
Often, the pressures where some of these teams who don't have that experience can maybe.
It's
struggle.
me. I'm
But
the best
I think
player.
just
Source reliable.
Playing those LCQs last year, obviously.
So
not,
I just said I
fully
wasn't
the same
coming.
roster, but I think that
Oh,
was
I
just some
see, I
great
see.
experience. Moo's obviously a veteran, so something has really clicked for Nouns. And I think the key thing in this
Yeah,
series
that's
is
the worst
they've
when you
just,
can't sleep,
kind of stuck to their
actually.
hero. Something Aiden pointed out. Moo's a bit of a hero like specialist, and you had the Witch Doctor. This came with the Ogre mid. I think if they can keep finding a few of these heroes that put opposing teams outside of what they feel is their comfort zone, that could be a really key thing going forward.
Well, going forward, we're also having more Dota action planned for you because we still have one more series to fully populate our bracket for the main event. And of course, the two teams taking on
It was. I think it is. I'm checking Dota to see if there's, because usually it tells you when the next match is. I was hoping for a third match.
So let's hear about his journey towards Seattle.
One of the biggest, like, not less favorite.
Why, Draenor? Who's your favorite? You're the best player.
Together of many cultures on a LAN event. So I think it's one of the greatest things ever.
I'm the
When you go
best
to any
yeller,
LAN, like any
okay?
major, you get people from all around the world. Now, especially also South American Dota.
You want to get yelled at? Come play with me.
Chinese players, of course, and you have all these cultures coming together. And this.
Oh, there's one more
getting to know these
series?
cultures a
Okay.
bit
I was
better
gonna
and
say, I'm
everybody
checking
being
Dota right
united
now.
And like playing a video game is something, in my opinion, really beautiful.
Oh, okay.
Like, in the
Entity
beginning, I
versus
remember when I was in my
Azure.
first major, it was Arlington Major last year. I was so scared of Chinese teams. Like, we played against Team Aster, and it was the first Chinese team we ever played in a professional match online.
Is
and
that actually
offline.
starting
And I was
right
really,
now?
like, respecting that team because, like, it was in my head, oh, this is a Chinese team. They play different Dota, they're different. It's a different region, right? That you didn't play for a longer time. But then, like, honestly, like, simple things, like seeing them at breakfast and everything, and
Oh,
talking
it's
to them a little bit,
actually
having a little
starting
funny
right
chat,
now.
and everything's so much more connected, I think. There's not that many difference between the different cultures that many people maybe even think in the beginning. And I think, to me, something that I find very, very precious, and I really appreciate to have the opportunity to get this experience.
With your cousins. I can't play C yet. I thought they fixed. I thought they fixed C service, but they didn't.
Entity genuinely has leveled up and looked like a team not to be taken lightly. I'm very excited about this matchup between themselves and Azure Ray, though, because last year, gods, very funny RNG, right? In the groups, day 1 and 2, incredible. Dominant squad, right? Looked like a team that could make a very deep push into TI. Unfortunately, many of the players get sick.
Yeah, they're
They have
starting
to
now.
play in the lower
But
bracket.
like
That's where they
the
start the main
casters are
event.
too busy
You know which team knocked them out in one of the longest games in
interviewing the
TI
winning
history?
team.
It was this entity squad. Obviously, one or
So
two
I'm
people are
watching
different in the
live
team,
on
so if Azure have
on
Formless and chat
Dota.
here, probably looking for some revenge against Entity.
Yeah, that's a great point because I think for Entity, their team
Am I watching the wrong
who
thing?
did make at least a bit of a splash at that last TI, and it looked like one of those teams that throughout last year was really like on the up and up. But then this year they've kind of been quiet. They're playing in such a stacked Western Europe region that they haven't really had the opportunity to play on the big stage as much. But making out of the qualifier, they're back, and as you said, Azure would love maybe some revenge against them here.
Well, we're going to be witnessing if they can make that revenge happen as we have.
So what the heck am I watching? Am I watching an old thing? But it says it's live.
Also going to be very intrigued to watch is going to be the contrast between Lou and Watson. Both of them young, up-and-coming carry players. It is a carry patch.
Oh, Fishman, that
where do you want to see? Which heroes do you want to see?
That go
prioritized by both of these teams?
Oh my god, how can they stuff this shit up, man? Who the heck did the timetable? This is so bad.
Against like counters like Terrorblade, he picks Punch specifically on that from his streams. And that's a hero that I really like to watch him play. And for
because we're in the future.
Probably a forgotten hero, anti-mage. The classic Chinese carry on the internet.
Boomer Winter.
Oh, they're casting it.
2013, 2014, you're like, let's bring back AM versus Morphling.
Look at this, Earth Spirit always getting picked.
We are seeing some things that we've been seeing quite a few times. Entity, of course, opening up with the Earth Spirit that can be deployed through various roles, whether it be mid, whether it be support. This Doom hero, though, Azure, one of the few teams that plays it both 4 and mid. In your opinion, Insania, where do you think the hero belongs right now, the Doombringer?
I think of it mostly as a 4, and like, I think you usually pick it for a specific purpose, but I guess mostly 4, sometimes somewhat 3. But I think ever since they changed how Doom works, I think the hero, like, you can get a lot
They're
of
gonna nerf
utilization out of
ES
the
again,
hero
aren't they?
from
I don't
playing
know, like, I don't think they will, because it's not
In
like
some
it's
ways, yeah.
fully
I mean, it's
stomping,
interesting. We had now 3
right?
drafts in a row where Earthspirit was
Other
picked and
teams are
AA was
still
banned.
able to win against an ES.
So maybe there's something to it. I don't know. Where like the AA is gone, so now you go for the Doom instead. To maybe make sure that you can like kill this one tanky guy. Like we talked about it in the last draft with the Phoenix, who absolutely popped off, but like it's
Oh my god, Cap told me it reminds me of the song.
And the Doom ulti in many ways has the same effect as the AA ult, where like it's a rather easy.
Oh, hang
spell
wait,
to
since
land
it's getting
on the
casted
hero,
again, let me put the
and
caster thing back on.
he's deleted from the game.
Makes sense. Before we go deep into the draft, something I quickly wanted to ask you. Before this, Entity had played 100% of their games on Radiant side, and Azure most of their games with first pick. Does any side personally feel stronger to you at the moment? Or is that embargo information?
I got rid of it. What the fuck?
my lawyer got it.
I need like a card, like I
This is
refuse
embargo
that.
This is a god.
What's your feeling about it, guys? Like when you see Radiant versus Dire, does it anything like feel it should be leaning one way towards the other in general?
I haven't felt too strongly either way. I think, obviously the Roshan swapping sides, but I think, with Dire, you've got the Roshan at nighttime, so it can kind of impact a bit how you play around Roshan when it's night versus day. But I would say Dire feels maybe slightly stronger to me, but it's really too hard to tell, at least from what I've seen.
And
maybe Winter has some
which
ideas.
feels better?
I don't know if I'll get in trouble just for
you really like the
streaming
drafting
TI
order, so
though.
which would you rather be?
Bigger.
Which side would you rather start on?
Depends on who I have on my team. If I
Isn't
have
this
a
bad?
superstar
Restreaming
carry that
another
wants to,
stream.
tell me what he wants to play. He's probably in this patch. Probably
They
he's
could
gonna.
cast.
he's
Oh,
gonna have
Merta's
first pick.
been
I'll put his on
picked.
18, but if I have
Beautiful,
a
beautiful,
then I have to be
beautiful.
second pick.
Okay.
Yeah,
some of the
come,
heroes
you
that we
can
have
cast
emerged right
it
now within
if
this
you
draft.
want.
Muerta
Are
will
you
be joining
streaming,
the
Ellie?
Doom on the side of Azure. With this Wraith King now being involved for Entity, so
I'm gonna be
two heroes
quiet
in and
though
we still
because
don't really have clarity on who's going where. Both of these heroes have become very flexible. I'm not sure. We have a lot of haters of Wraith King in the off lane here around our panel, but we still don't know exactly how they plan to run it on the side of Entity.
I'm a fan. There's double Radiance. That was hype to see, It's a bigger map. All the creeps to hit in this Wraith King's like, I can now my team. I'm getting Radiance anyways. Nine Pandas made that work. I actually think Wraith King's totally fine as an offlaner. I think the idea that, the further you get into tournaments, the more, I think, value goes into these heroes that can flex between different roles. It just really, it's so much easier to draft when you can first phase heroes that can go into 2, even 3 different lanes or roles. And that's what both teams with these first 4 heroes have basically picked 4 flex heroes.
And if you think about like what got
Oh,
buffed about Racing,
Venge.
it's, like,
I
his
hate
ability
Vengeful
to
Spirit.
push towers, right? If I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And everyone's
So-
getting the talent with the skeleton damage
Right.
now too.
So like, why wouldn't it? You know, I don't know if you guys call it this, but like we in Liquid call all these heroes that have minions and units. We call them zoo heroes. They just spawn the zoo and then you run at the
Yeah.
tower. You know, it makes sense. It's like very much similar to Beastmaster or these other heroes like Enigma. They
And
used to just like take your tower away from you.
Yeah, and it's so nice when you can kind of safely push. Like you can just send your skellies out. We saw it last game with Nouns, where it's like they don't have to commit to get racked. They just send Primal Split, CK Illusions. It makes the game so much easier to play.
Yeah. And I think that's another thing that like usually as tournaments progress, having oh my god.
Wow. Wow, all right. Azure giving us some
Never mind.
curveballs here. So at first I was about to ask, okay, Muerta's here. Normally Azure either play FY on Doom or the Muerta. Like no one else has played either of these heroes. But then it's like, well, even more curveballs. Like Alchemist, the only third Alchemist of the entire tournament after 9 Pandas played it twice. And the OD. What's happening with this hero, Winter? What do you make of him overall?
OD is the anti-tank hero, at least for me, you know. Like when I'm playing my pubs recently, a lot of the Chinese players that came to SEA, the mid players, they really like to play this hero. And from what I feel like, he's being picked because of all the strength, tanky, hard heroes, so he can kill them. And he can always give you the damage that allows your team to be able to deal with those heroes, and he's very strong in the lane against those melee heroes.
And the outcome paper makes a lot of sense against.
I
the Wraith
wonder
teams. We're talking
why-
about, you know, the zoo. Well,
Sorry.
Alchemist is just going to be like, well, there's a ton of free gold for me. So
Because she
I think
scales
this
so
may-
well
suddenly all of
late
a sudden this
game.
Wraith thing's like, well, you can't really maybe you can play him offlane, but you're going to be maybe.
I
having to
guess
be
I
very
guess he
careful
can
about
play
not
support
feeding
because she
the
does so
Alchemist
much
too much
damage
I mean, does
either
this
way.
mean the Muerta and Doom, they're both the supports?
I do not know. We could still have Chalice
could
be the one to
be-
play the Doom and inevitably, and then we pick up another support at the end of the draft. Who knows?
24 pick, position 5.
Why not? Y'all have done it before.
I remember,
I think
remember
I-
a game you guys bought CM overall last pick?
Yeah.
There's definitely one game that you had CM overall last
Big
pick.
Underlord's gonna
Okay,
get
I
picked.
mean, I remember one game at least when we were in Berlin that was disastrous.
I guess it wouldn't be
We played against OG.
too
And
bad.
I remember like we were playing against OG in upper bracket of Berlin Major, and like the draft is over and we're only picking my hero, and I look at the heroes and I'm like, nothing is good here. Like I have no idea what to pick here. And then like I decide, you know, like I want to make sure my team feels good going into this game. So I tell them like, pick me Witch Doctor, I'm gonna own. So we pick Witch Doctor. I have the worst game of my life. We end up getting knocked down in the lower bracket, and it's just really, really sad times. My coach is like, "Come on, man, you could pick anything, and you ask for Witch Doctor. I pick it for you, and you just feed." And I'm like, "William, what do you want from me? I don't know what would have been good, dude. There's no good heroes. Like, it's not my fault."
Yeah. Sometimes you are at the end of the draft and there's just no proper options left. What can you do? You know, all have these tough games.
I always say that when you get to the point in the draft, the last pick, and there's nothing good to pick, it's not the last person's fault. It's because of the first 4 heroes.
I mean, there probably was something better than the Witch Doctor that I suggested. If I'm gonna be really like, the Witch Doctor, it did
Not
not
your
work
finest
out.
work?
It was not. No. That was. I definitely had my. It was not a great pick, but
Well,
yeah, last
Structure has been
support.
owning today from the off lane. We're probably not going to be seeing him in this game here. We are going to be seeing a Terrorblade though for Entity. That's going to be the Watson hero. What do you think here, gods? Terrorblade versus Alchemist as carry-to-carry matchup.
I mean, TB, the timings are a little bit different, but I think overall, obviously, TB can just kind of kite the Alchemist around a bit. They're going to be, to me, almost like relying on some kind of jump or burst to address the TB. I think that's the big hero that if you're right now Azure, you're thinking like, what is our kind of TB answer? Because I don't really feel like their draft does well against TB at all.
Yeah, and Grimstroke is so good against OD.
You're right,
specifically,
Drano.
because you
It
don't
seems
really
like
get, BKB
this
early, so
whole
the silence is very, very annoying. For
meta
you to
right
deal with.
now is just like
And Grim also
minion
goes really
meta.
well with the Wraith King, the Earth Spirit. I mean, this last pick has to be something that deals with all these problems right now. It has to deal with the Terrorblade. It kind of has to work with their lineup.
What about a Shadow Demon?
Shadow Demon? So you can purge the Inksa, and then you can make copies of Terrorblade, and it kind of works in the lane with I presume the Elk.
Yeah. Or even better, what about Phoenix?
Azure is on board.
Yeah.
The question is, where is this Phoenix going to be going? It's an off-lane Phoenix for Chalice here. Obviously, we just saw Phoenix doing really, really well in the previous game. Does this one inspire the same degree of confidence in you when you see how it's going to play out in this game?
So it's Phoenix Doom against Venge TB. I mean, I think if the lane is very slow, it might be good for Phoenix. You get to like whittle them down. But if Fishman and Watson manage to get aggressive and like
What happened with Lena? Why is no one picking Lena anymore?
Very tricky for Phoenix because I think it becomes hard to deal with like the two ranged or semi-ranged dudes.
Like whatever
But yeah, it can go
happened
either
to
way.
that
I'm
whole
mostly curious about
phase?
this Muerta
5, right?
Muerta with Alk, because these are two heroes that both deal incredible
She's
amounts of damage.
did she?
And Viking is quite a passive laner, and Grimstroke isn't really like a very protective hero. It's usually a hero that wants to like
Kill
attack
people.
you. Yeah. So I think this could be a very interesting game with a lot of kills very early on.
God, what's your feeling about the scenario when you look at this? Alchemist
she's
gonna be,
too
the third on the
squishy.
tournament. It's 1-1 at this point. Is Azure going to be adding to the win tally or the loss tally?
Yeah, I have some confidence. I feel like they've really drafted for these lanes with the OD pick and the Phoenix playing in the 3 role, and it's obviously great against 2 of the cores. It really does feel like there's a lot of pressure on Watson on his TB. He's the one who's set for success, but leaning maybe Azure game 1, but I like both drafts.
Winter, what about you?
I kind of like the Grimstroke with all the small little spells they have, you know, the Venge, the Earth Spirit. I feel like maybe the lane won't go so well for them, but they have a lot of options after the laning phase as long as they don't really lose the lanes too much.
Losing the lanes obviously is generally speaking a recipe for losing Dota games. Very, very sucky. But if there's anybody on planet Earth that I trust to
Hey,
curate some
Saren.
very good lanes, it's a team that's going to have Somnus and Chalice involved in it. I know that these guys know what's up. They know what they're doing. Very excited to see how they're going to get on with this game. And of course, let us not forget, y'all, what the stakes are. A winner goes into the upper bracket of the main event on the road to the International. So let's see if it's going to be Azure or Entity in Game 1 making that happen as we head on over to Trent and Lyrical to bring us the action.
And welcome, Dota fans from the world over. Ready to get on into this one. Whether you're staying up late in Europe, you're waking up early in Southeast Asia or China, it's all going to be.
You guys have the same headphones.
Lyrical and Trent, how you doing? You excited about this? We got some weird ass heroes to end off the night.
Yeah, I gotta see the OD coming in. Not what I was anticipating. Happy to see this hero once more here, especially by Somnus, of course.
Oh yeah. No, that's the big change up. I'm going to try my very best to not say Devourer throughout the entire course of the game. Of course, the Destroyer hasn't really been in the meta, I feel like, since that first round of it. But I did like what Winter said at one point, which was that he feels like it's a hero to break through big tanky guys, right? And if there's one thing that we've seen in this meta, it's that you get big tanky strength heroes, put them up front and center, and then lay into them. And I mean, also into the Terrorblade, you love to play against that.
Yeah, we got a bit of a problem going on here. It's, heroes getting a little bit too big. We got some hearts coming out. We got blade mails. It's time to find some final answers here. And of course, the Phoenix is another great reason behind that too. We're losing out on a lot of the percent-based damage these days. Phoenix still having that is great. And of course, you got BB Heroes your own for the heal, as we look to battle it out here in the river.
Now looking for it already. Stormstormer up front and center, and they're just going to have to back away with everybody else. FY and Chalice running up towards the top side. But it is an interesting decision where we've seen a lot of Phoenix in the first phase, but they're running it now on Chalice here in this game. What do you think it is that they like about this Phoenix pick in this particular one?
+5 Murta.
Whisper as well, right? Also trying some core.
I don't think I've ever seen
and,
a 5
well, it's a
Murta.
little
Not gonna
popular.
lie.
I think a lot of it just comes down to how the Doom can
Ooh.
work. Like this whole idea of like
There's a
signing the
pause
draft over the
already.
flex and everything is very nice. And they see at the end like, okay, this is the time to go for it. Like Doom can, like Insane was mentioning, still offer a lot out of the support role with all the changes to his ultimate. So we're gonna be looking to try and like target that specific hero with the Doom. Usually we upgrade to 2.0. This is like Doom 0.8. You know,
Okay.
it's not quite there. You know, you can get back to Doom 1.0 with a couple levels.
Right.
But you have this nice Phoenix. It's all those things that we've talked about. This idea of like having the Sunray and how powerful it can be when you're getting levels. When you're a core hero, you're just going to get more and more benefits out of that. Plus, on top of that, this whole idea of tanky heroes. Phoenix, great Spirit Vessel hero. So able to do that in the core role. Plus, get the earlier levels onto the egg. Definitely still a bit risky, of course. There's a reason not a lot of people play this hero in the off lane, because if you mess up one of those supernovas, it's slightly out of position, you lose a core pretty fast in a team fight.
Totally. No, it's a very risky proposition, no doubt.
I have
about that
not
one.
been watching
We
the
are already
tournament.
seeing
This
a
is the
little
first
bit
day
of
of
the
watching
issues
TI.
that you run into playing against an OD in the mid lane. Could see Stormstormer getting a couple of denies here and there. You got to watch out for that one. But yeah, I want to see up top here how they're able to contend with just sort of the spam of harassment that's going to come out, because it's mass magic damage against the Terrorblade. Usually that feels pretty freaking good. As down bottom, getting some good damage out there. Gonna bring down Tianming,
Oh.
but not quite a kill.
The minions, the skelly babies are gonna get it.
It ends up being indeed a kill to the skeletons. Pretty nice. Oh, skelly boys.
Run them down. Okay. Get some hits on the tower after as well. And they go again immediately. Oh, this is getting some nice early damage here.
Is that enough? Wait. Had fairy fire
Oh
still
my
too.
god.
Perfectly fine.
Annoying hero versus
And
annoying
some
hero.
tower armor, you know?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's okay.
Oh, bit of a nice start down bottom for Entity. What you want to see if you are a fan of theirs indeed, and Gabby getting off to a good start. He has been like the difference maker for me in so many of these games. I feel like he has really been able to pull together the Entity lineup.
I mean, we were casting the qualifiers when they made their way here in Western Europe, and we just kept giving Gabby MVP because he just kept crushing games. And like, we wanted to give it to other people, we couldn't even do it.
Yeah, no, totally. Well, we'll see how this one ends up going. As down bottom, there's more action going on. Tianming further trouble, ends up dying again. Gabby, another kill. I feel like, I mean, he's not even controlling the little skeletons, right? They're doing their own thing and getting these kills.
Jeez, I mean, they were concerned about the aggression of this duo there on the panel of Wraith King and Grimstroke, wondering, you know, can they actually use it? Because, yeah, Alchemist and Ware to the right, they can get some high damage going, but this is just one of those classic situations in a lane where if you get those first kills, I mean, you got a Muerta running back from base. I mean, that's creating upsets here. That means you're getting control over the creeps. You don't have to battle over the camps nearly. It's like not nearly as hard, right? Muerta's just not contesting you.
Right.
So the whole lane just keeps going more and more in your favor as they do manage to pick up that Doom.
Yeah, that one is a nice little combination. You anticipate with these metamorphoses, you're going to be able to find a couple kills here and there, taking down the Doom. Want to see where he decides to go next if he just comes back to lane. As Stormstormer continues to be bullied back here, 21-5 on Somnus as he clips the wave, and he's going to throw a couple hits there, get his last hits all denied out. He's having a great laning stage.
I mean, he's got the heal amplification aura here. So FY's got to be up here helping out, right? You know,
that's fair.
I kind of miss the like non-stop spamming heal spell. Now having it to 60 mana and 10-second cooldown. No,
I mean,
how practical and not nearly as obnoxious.
No, it's true. I mean, it's still pretty nice if you get that big burst heal to turn a fight around or something. But yeah, one of those things to watch for there. They have somewhat been able to stop the bleeding at the bottom lane, but you can see the key point is that still a lot of control of this lane being held by Entity.
And despite all of that, though, the last hits on loose are looking fine.
Yes, some of those are going to be
all right for an alchemist, you know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yes, obviously some of them are indeed the skellies, thankfully. But nonetheless, I mean, he is top of the net worth. Of course, it's an alchemist, so we always get to take it with a bit of a grain of salt. But it is still the goal. He's probably going to get his Radiance before Gabby, one would hope.
Up top.
That is if Gabby goes more of that build.
Watson getting gone on here. Slowed down. They make a rotation over with Fishman. Katomi bringing the noise. And they will be able to force FY back. So keeping their Terror Blades safe for now. Want to make sure that Watson doesn't get pushed out too early here.
They're so non-threatening on these side lanes right now. Like, I'm not really worried about any rotations from these Radiant heroes.
No Icarus dive, so he accepts his fate. Yeah, no, totally. They really don't do that much.
Like, you saw FY, like, kind of, it's like, oh, I escaped, I'm by the Twin Gate. It's like, can he make any play going through that Twin Gate? Probably not. Ooh, but look, Timming up top waiting for this play. Can they do something about it?
They're close, wanting to get the finish. A little bit more damage is what they need, but they does manage to dodge the dead shot. It's enough. He gets the kill. All right, FY making it happen. Now, Tiame, he might be in a little bit of trouble himself as they move in and bring him down.
Oh, no.
So 6-1,
Murta
a very
just...
punchy back and forth game.
Wow, that was so clutch to get that kill into the tower there. That
Well, Ellie.
Disaster. I mean, it's not amazing, of course, for Azure, but at least you get something back. 6-1. Yeah. And I see in the mid lane we got some creep shenanigans happening here while Stormstormer's running all the way up top here with this level 6.
Let's make something happen. Chalice gonna be bullied.
Oh, hello.
Oh, wow.
All right, sees him
Oh my god.
Immediate dive. Chalice trying to escape. The stun will follow up. Stormstormer right on him, but able to back out. And in fact, FY gets the kill onto Fishman. And then he just runs away. The speed creep.
Man, I'm amazed at how tanky Doom is.
the fact that he just TP's in, there's 2 heroes there.
Yeah,
like,
poor
what a save for
Myrtle,
Chalice
man.
there to get that dive.
Yeah.
It's not going
No punish
good.
available there. And he is going to keep going, of course, for the Wisdom Rune, though. And Chalice not expecting it. FY might be there, though. Stormstormer looking for this steal.
Does have...
He should get this, as long as he does the timing.
The Infernal Blade. Looking for it.
El Toro!
Oh, he gets it!
He got it!
Get the little taunt heading out of there. Can he kick him away? Oh, no, he's trying to
Oh,
kick him back the other direction.
is he dying?
Did not
No.
want TP out. Does he have a way to break it?
Oh my
he did
god, he
try.
fucking missed Q!
Oh my god.
Dude, Murta could have hit the Q on a tree closer to her from so far away. That's
2 to 6. Still very back and
That's
forth
not
as it's an
good.
outfit that's getting very
Like,
fought
he
down
had
here
so
on the
many
bottom
trees.
side.
Like, he chose to hit a tree in front of the ES instead of behind the ES.
I'm scared that he's only 10 gold behind a Wraith King. Well, sorry, he was 10 gold ahead. Now he's just straight behind a Wraith King. I was trying to get it out there, and the Wraith King just jumped right over him. This is not looking good. I might not have been right about who gets the Radiance first at this rate.
Yeah, and in fact, if they find this kill too, another rotation in for the finish. Chalice, you do not want to be here, sir. The silence comes out, although he's still staying alive here for the moment. You have level 6 on Gabby. Fishman turns with the stun, but no, Chalice drops. Oh man, they just keep fighting Gabby. Gabby still has reincarnation, turns, stuns, FY wants to chase. I don't think that they have enough, although the dead shot's there. So they do manage to burn through the ulti. Gabby now says, I will fight a little more. But as Tianming moves in, that finally stops the aggression. But all this space made, Watson's free farming.
I guess in all of this, there is one
They
downside.
couldn't give an axe
and
to
that is
Murta.
Stormstormer's game.
You
On
think they're
this
gonna
first
do
year,
the
right?
troll builds with the... Oh no, there's no one to
Oh my
dispel.
God.
Is he dead again? Oh,
Oh.
wait, they gave up on the kill. Gabby turned over to the other angle. Oh, that was a mistake. Unfortunate. Thought he had the kill.
There's like 4 heroes on bottom. Oh, OD.
Stun, chase, look for more. FY there. Oh,
There's one kill on the
drop of
bench.
the hammer. And now
Oh.
Stormstormer starts to fall himself. As your Ray, they're fighting back, but with Watson moving in and having metamorphosis, 9 heroes in the bottom lane at 9 minutes. This is the type of Dota you want to see. They punch now onto Gabby. No, he doesn't have the ulti. They find the advantage, but the
Oh no, the Astros are freaking... Oh no, oh no. The stun, look, it worked out.
Tried some tread swapping, but it wasn't enough in the end there. Oh man, the initial retreat there too, respecting the possibility of the OD making the play down there, and they got a little greedy there. Maybe if they hit that initial stun, maybe Stormstormer makes that happen.
Are these guys like... Is this their first TIs?
Kind of a dream
These
situation.
2
4 heroes
teams?
just running into you while you're unstunned as an OD. You can just drop a Sandys and start swinging. Also, immediately going for the Witchblade build here too from Somnus, which I really like.
Okay. Yeah, it's interesting. Not deciding.
Azure
to go
have
the
some
route
really
that we've
experienced
seen OD
players.
for a very long time ago, which was the
Because I was
Meteor
gonna
Hammer
say,
building.
if they're
That's what most
new,
people would be familiar
like to
with.
TI, then the
Rage quit your
nerves,
pubs.
like, you know,
But
there's
this feels like
there's
it's
room
got
for
some other
nerves.
strength to it too. That's going to be terrifying to play against as Watson in particular later.
Yeah, it's certainly not completely gone. There's still people who are attempting it in pubs and going for that build, but it's played, you know.
Yeah.
That hammer's pretty sad these days.
Right. Well, 10 minutes and still only a slight gold lead with their Alchemist on Lul, as Gabby is still just denying creeps in his face. Drop down, the calling, nothing doing. Has not been able to hit these dead shots.
And that is another issue too here.
They played many times. Okay, so I don't understand why they're...
Those like power spike early levels.
Right.
I mean, I guess it's not necessarily incredible on the Dire side, but at least it's something. You know, maybe you can go for a Soulbind play somewhere. Venge has a swap and smoke. You know, yeah, actually it is pretty good. You swap into smoke. That's nice. You know, try and open up somebody on the map. I look at these 2 heroes between a Doom and a Muerta, and they are just mad chilling. They're just trying to like pick up the scraps, like the sweepings on this farming factory, and just hoping for something that their other cores aren't taking.
Oh yeah.
I feel
and
this
it's
dude's
gonna be
playing
really
pretty
tough.
well.
FY going for the old school build with this Doom, the Tranquils with drums. But
It's a
I don't know how much
motivation.
he's going to be able to get done. They drop the Doom down though, find it onto Stormstormer. does have help with Katomi.
Nah, so that sounds like look. You can't judge Deadshot skills until after like 15 minutes. He's warming up. He's warming up. See, look at that. Look at that. See, he's warming up.
Yeah, great dive ahead there from Chalice to stop the roll as well. Made sure they were going to get something out of that Doom. 8-9, a bit of a gold lead. And a quick old Dragon Lance there, as you can see on the stats. Thank you very much.
Damage. It's getting off to a good start. But so too is OD. Somnus is kind of enormous right now. Highest level in the game, highest net worth.
Can confirm Murta's Deadshot speed time, yeah. Especially if you haven't played Murta's Murta in a while. You need to warm up your Deadshots.
Don't know if it's gonna matter as the sun ray comes out.
It only goes up from here.
Well, further stuns coming in. Fishman finds him, but then
the save on the Astral. Wow.
From this ulti.
Oh, is he about to? Oh my god, he just survived.
Will not die.
Holy shit.
The DOT. And Somnus still on the hunt. Fishman dying maybe where Katomi just went down. As the stun tries to walk away.
Oh no, Murta.
They're thinking about going for
nice. Wraith Kings come up.
But it might be enough for the kill. Somnus so much stats on his hero that
the stun. He just needed vision. That's actually so sad. That's actually so sad. Man, if I was this Alchemist, I'll be like, nah, I'm just gonna rat.
He finally gets a dead shot off and he misses it. Like, he's showing some of the weaknesses of this support, frankly, you know? Yeah. It's expensive. I mean, look, he's got 190 on the calling, 140 on the dead shot, and it's a 12-second cooldown. It's gonna be 10 seconds soon, but he has no mana to support it. And it's cost them in several situations already where things could have been a lot better. And as I said, of course, the Arcanes come out. He picks up 2 Lotuses. He gets a Mango.
Yeah.
He just
I agree, Peeper Prawn.
I think he knows. I mean,
I kind of feel like the meta is kind of like the Sven ult.
Preparing for the Lanham talk afterwards.
You can either push tower or fight with it.
Wash your face with this mana.
Katomi is going down to steal away the Wisdom Rune and all the insanity that's been happening. This is going to be a nice pickup for Entity. As also should be noted, so many stacks being built up for the Entity team. The extent to which they're going to be able to take them is a little bit rough. Maybe even you think about like magnetizing them or something as Earth Spirit, but there's a lot of gold in the coffers.
As long as it goes to your team.
Oh yeah.
That is the main goal, of course.
Yeah, they're going to start taking it now. Watson already on it.
All right, here we go. Fishman with the big smoke. What's he got? Can Tianming break this up here? Lurking in the trees. They don't know this Muerta's here.
Swap immediately with the silence.
Oh no. Oh, Deadshot did hit.
That was good. Is it good enough?
Wow, look at that freaking one charge.
Supernova, it actually might be good to turn this. Gabby now in trouble, still has reincarnation.
Wraith King still has ulti.
Oh,
ES coming in. Here comes ult. Oh, they're gonna get denied. Wow, he swapped out.
Joshua, that you?
Yeah, right.
Throwing out the helpful thunders here. Oh, instant smoke though from the Radiant. They have this fresh Radiance.
Okay.
From Lou, they want to get in here. 25 seconds till an ulti. Catches somebody weak. Oh, you got Grady on the farm. And he just rolled too.
Yeah, he's gone. No way to get away from that one. And Azure, they won't check the Ancients, but playing together, they're starting to build up a little bit of a lead.
Oh, Fishman, perhaps again. Nope, not going to get seen there. Thank you, Nighttime.
Dude, they're just running it. Like, 9 heroes again down bottom. Well,
oh, look at that. See, look, I told you the dead shots are getting hit now.
But they will have a Terrorblade problem eventually.
And have to give
look at those stacks on the side.
Lurking in that tree line before all of this started, that dead shot was super clutch.
Oh, yeah.
Taking the save onto Lou, he then gets the Radiance after they smoke, they chase, they get Stormstormer again, who's still having a terrible time. That's a mid-Earth Spirit, folks, on the net worth chart, in case you're showing up a little bit late here.
That doesn't have much in the tank at all. Now, they did Reflection this one. They're going to get the deny on the tower, bringing in numbers. And it looks like Azure, as soon as they see that Terrorblade show up, everybody evacuates.
Yeah, there's some farm coming in on these other lanes. A double wave up top into the neutral camp here for Lou. Oh, he's skyrocketing. Remember when he was around this Wraith King? He's about to get out of control.
between all the farm up top here, having this Radiance, and all this attention being focused down bottom from Entity.
Oh, the dead shot. Nice.
To get out, Stormer hits onto both. Big connection. Forces out that Supernova, and a free kill on the Muerta. Roll in. Get him again. A chance. Oh, he's able to escape for the moment. Can Stormer chase him down? They actually threw the Inkswell onto the illusion, and a nice kickback by Stormer.
Yeah, cool play, the no risk chase there of the illusion. You know, just in case maybe there's a backup there. Of course, there's a lot of vision happening here. You know, they got a Doom showing in the mid there. Stormer might run into Lou here. He does not want to, I'll tell you that much.
I feel like he's gotten the most value out of an Earth Spirit trusty shovel that I've seen in a while. It just keeps like eating up those salves over and over again on Stormer.
He's making great use of them.
Exactly.
That is for sure. He's taking lots of damage.
Lou shows up top, throws the stun onto Gabby.
Roll into 5 people, do a little dance, and get out.
Feels like we might have found a little bit of a lull in the gameplay for a moment, as Azure just trying to get into these next items. Do have the BKB now done on Alk.
And same thing with Somnus too, right? So they're hitting a big timing here together. I feel like they can sort of take any fight on the map, honestly, because if you have this BKB on the Alk as well as the OD, there's no way you're dealing with Egg. Right. So if they choose the place to fight, like if they just want to go and park at Roche, camp it out there, maybe, you know, do some s'mores or something, some tinfoil dinners. You ever do tinfoil dinners?
Yeah, I love those things.
Yeah, see? Boom. Yeah, somebody else knows what I'm talking about here. Yeah, they're just gonna camp it out. You know, I'm not gonna go fight double BKB and Egg. That doesn't sound like a good idea. I don't think I'm ever killing that Egg.
Right. Well, I mean, there's a couple big items coming up for Entity soon too, right? You've got the Scotty that's going to be done on Terrorblade. That makes the fights against Alchemist so much better. And I mean, with that said, I do wonder if Azure are going to try and make a move collectively to put the pressure on, or if they're content just continuing to farm, because they, you know, do have Midas now on Phoenix. It does feel like there's going to be some scaling out of them.
Yeah, I mean, it is Phoenix too, one of the best Midas heroes in the game for sure. Just experience so incredibly important on this hero, and does suffer from some of those like Brewmaster effects of just like items aren't always the best because you can't use them in the clutch situations because sometimes you're just in an egg.
Right.
Thankfully, the shard solving so many of those problems these days.
But
in terms of just being so useful during egg,
this is the fight that I think Azure are really hoping for. A big timing for them with a couple of items. Will Entity sniff this out? Stormer, Illusion Room.
Oh,
that's not what they wanted. They thought it was the real. It wasn't the real. And now they're in a very strange spot. They just got
retreat.
Dude, what an illusion. And now the swap back, they find him. FY caught and killed. Are they gonna try and go for more jump?
Oh my god, what a what a brave ass Alchemist. Wraith King's coming back up.
From that OD. Gabby trying to back away. Lul gonna get chased. The stun is there. They don't have any way to chase the fight for more. I don't think that Entity want to keep.
Wow, that dude.
Although with the DD,
that's like clap for Alk. That was so brave.
Oh, that started out so poorly for Azure, but then
holy shit.
The attempt to try and get a little bit more there from Entity was punished rather swiftly. At least they only lose the ulti there from Gabby, not the Wraith King as well, as he goes back to farming. But once more, Stormer struggling to get anything really rolling in this game.
Has not been able to pull things together as much. Is getting closer to the Octarine core, and he has just been sort of that one that's starting the fights for them on decent terms, as Azure hoping to find somebody along the top side of the map. Gabby is over there. But
talk about a great use of an illusion rune, though. That could have been so much worse. Like, from their perspective, on the side of Azure, they just see an Earth Spirit in the middle of nowhere, and he immediately BKB, starts swinging. Like, of course you're going to.
Right.
So very well done there from Stormer. It seemed like they did suspect it, too, with the way they were positioning there. Chalice 800 HP.
Yeah, they got him. Easy connection for the kill.
Oh, this poor Phoenix is getting like owned. He's gonna need his blowing stick or something because he's not escaping.
Kind of looked like they were thinking about it. I saw a ping there. I mean, and once the Wizard Room is taken and it didn't happen, I feel like the carry player is just gone. They're, you know.
Yeah.
they punch out on the clock. They're just like, I did, Ancients.
Yeah.
I'll see you tomorrow. Have a good one.
Oh, and in the meantime, they do end up losing their tower as well. So, mid lane down. Tier 1 still remaining. It's just the Radiant up top. As Azure holding on and nursing that lead, which again, it could kind of go either way at this point. Like usually 4K gold lead at 20 minutes, you're feeling okay, but it's that Alk.
Yeah. Even these days, I feel like it's a pretty meager lead in the current patch of Dota at this point. And then with it being an Alchemist, like you said, it's we're just chilling. How are we looking in terms of like who can just burst somebody down in a fight? For me, it definitely feels like it's Azure Ray. Like I just see this OD and I'm kind of terrified. Seeing how those last fights have gone.
Yeah, and the build that he has here too, right? He took the level 10 attack speed talent. He's going into the Dragonlance next. He, like, on top of just being the crazy amount of damage coming from Arcane Orb, even just his right clicks are gonna hurt. He's dealing 170 damage just at base. As Gabby shows up top.
Look at all those monies, money. Look at that. The Skelly babies is just like money bags to this alchemist.
It's crazy because their mana pools are so low on the Dire that it's
people
like,
are still trying to master dead shots.
It is so much damage right now.
They know he's there though. Entity walking up the hill. They're gonna show up a second late. They might have an idea he's heading this way.
Oh, look at this smoke.
Oh man, they're calling it. If they can find the OD, he's gonna show on this wave right at the start.
Oh shit, he's coming to stun.
Can they bring him down in time? Is there any save at all? No.
Oh, there goes the Doom, but
a catastrophe.
oh, look at that fucking What? Those stuns, man! Where's the Radiance burn? Holy shit, this turnaround. The fuck? The fuck?
The follow-up stun. Alx is fine. I'll do it myself. Don't need a Doom.
Holy shit.
Just give me the blood.
Oh, well, I think someone knows what that voice line means. I think he's figured that one out. Thank you, Val, for the translations to make sure we're all clear on everything. I think that may have been a mistake.
Oh,
I'm gonna have to agree with that.
Dude, this Alchemist is getting like freaking black hole worthy stuns.
The damage there was insane. Even if you found the pick off.
I think it was a 3 or 4 man stun.
You know, like thanks, bud. Like solid work there. I mean, you are just the juiciest piece of bait we've ever put out there in the middle of the lane.
Like, here we go. Here's the replay.
I mean, it costs so much too. It's perfectly layered. Everything's easy. I'm thinking like, what's the save here? What is this damage?
Oh, and then
no, you. Yeah, it was a 4-man stun. 4-man stun.
Devastating. That's one of those moments where you just gotta love Dota, man.
But can you believe
and it just falls apart?
It was Doom sent stun?
Where I just think like, oh god, we all feel so stupid. It's like you're playing against a shaker and you just all get echoed and you're like, how? How do we let that happen?
Oh yeah. Hands off keyboard, hands off mouse. I'm dead for a while. Time to think about what I've done.
Gosh, just so much damage, and that concoction radius is also hilarious. That's a fantastic talent. That thing just 125 radius, radius big, you know. Yeah. Any little radius addition does a heck of a lot to your AOE.
Man, if that was from a Centaur.
Talent that you're seeing from Alk here.
Centaur stun's not that big though.
Grants armor to allies. I mean, that's going to be pretty important in these fights. You look at what the majority of the damage is. I mean, obviously you have some mix with the Radiance and the Earth Spirit, but Terrorblade in particular, getting bonus armor.
I'm gonna blow up the TV in 2 seconds.
Yeah, usually it's TB who historically has been seen as this good matchup versus the Alk because he has such high armor. And he's like, doesn't have to worry about the acid spray if they like laned against each other back in the day. And he's Alk's trying to flip it around a little bit here, helping out his friends between the Assault Crest as well as that acid to his allies. Life's just good. It's also amazing during a siege too, you know?
Oh, yeah.
You feel a little bit more comfortable.
Well, 17-17 with a 9K gold lead, and after that flurry of action, it does feel like Entity are on the back foot, just holding on, pushing these side lanes. They need to get into that next set of items before they think about a fight.
They gotta figure out how to take these fights as well. I mean, you just 100-0'd their mid.
Yeah.
and then it went that poorly. So you got to think like, how do we make a fight look good? Because like when you're coming up with that dream situation of just like, all right, we're behind, but like, how do we win? That was kind of it.
Yeah. No, it's
so. They got to reevaluate here. They got to get some vision, I guess, and be the main thing. Got to figure out where the key players are before these fights happen.
Well, and I guess the other thing too is, I mean, and it's so easy to say this in retrospect, but making sure that as those fights happen, you're not grouped for the big initiation, because the team fight and the AoE is pretty insane, particularly when they have like, you know, even this Doom with the War Stomp ready to go, you know?
Yeah, it's so hard though, because like, you know, look at how their damage is dealt. Like they kind of got to get in there.
Yeah.
Wow, this help things out. Though sells the Wraith Band on Watson to pick up the BKB. And still have another 2 minutes here left on that Aegis, so not going to rush into anything in terms of a fight here from Entity. Splitting the map, getting some farm up, trying to get a BKB finished on Gabby as well, so you can actually take some swings in these battles. And Stormstormer's probably going to
they're gonna contest the...
Yeah. Oh, wait, hold. Child Snap Wire coming.
And you get it. It's just trying to play a little bit more catch up here.
Yeah, I think he's out of here.
Dun, 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 dun,
they're going to lose both.
He's gonna
Oh.
get doomed, and I think he's dead. Oh,
Dude,
man.
that is fast fingers on the
Pickoffs.
Doom.
It hurts. Oh no, are they gonna send more? Fishman's coming over. Well, they show. He knows. Jump forward, stun. Oh, Entity feeling a little bit discombobulated at this 28-minute mark.
That is truly painful.
That is one of those moments now for Azure Ray where, I mean, you've sort of dealt with some of the most dangerous points of this game in a way. There still is a lot of room to grow too, it feels like. Like, OD still has double no talisman. He's eyeing up a sheep stick next.
I would really like to see the shard out from Chalice. I feel like it's kind of greedy to be saving up for it. Or like to be waiting for the Tormentor, I assume.
Yeah.
Like, it seems insane, this game. For like, we've already seen how close
Chalice,
they get.
BKB tries to dive away, gets the egg up on the high ground. Does a ton of damage to Gabby and just gets out. Now FY looking for the chase. Katomi TPs as soon as that Infernal Blade comes out. And they're able to dodge. So, well done getting away from that one.
He's almost down to the double digits of HP right there. That'll keep his farm going towards that Shivas that he wants instead. As Lonely Lou gets out of the mid lane there. Of course, still had a bit of time on the Aegis, so felt kind of brave. Didn't think they'd lock him down for too long. As he picks up the Skull Basher on his way to the Abyssal.
Wow.
And also has the Defiant Shell to work with here, too.
Big moment. They spot Lul on the Terrorblade Illusions, and they're already
They have a
smoked up
ward,
looking.
too.
Hunting.
Yeah.
Somnus, was he scouted? Entity.
Oh, they see the courier. They know Alk's still down there.
This could be good if they can find him. Oh, Watson breaks. Immediately rolls away. They know they get out. That ward on the far side of the river. It scouted them as they broke smoke. Vision.
That one's a bit tough.
It wins games.
I'm surprised they didn't try and play for that bottom ward. It ended up paying off, too. Like, the Alk courier went right through, and then Alk was there as well. But maybe just worried they wouldn't have the kill fast enough, pretty close to the tower, and saw that high value target immediately next to them too with that high ground ward they wanted to place down. They are going to lose it, of course. He's very common, just like smoke, plant the ward down, go for the immediate fight. And speaking of smokes into immediate fights, they're after it again here. FY is just doing his job, by the way. You know, getting this blink BKB, now back for the Boots of Barrack, like, he has one mission in this game.
Oh, yeah.
I just want to guarantee I get my ulti off onto somebody. Preferably, probably Stormstormer, because I feel like, you don't want to deal with this whole, like, nuisance thing. Like, I mean, for now, the BKBs are still pretty high, so maybe it's not too bad to let him go unchecked at the moment. But later on, specifically your OD, you're going to get pretty annoyed when there's no BKB, because then the hero feels really bad if you're just being silenced up and controlled.
Absolutely. Well, and I think that control is something that they're going to have to get, right? Like, in a way, the way these fights have gone, ever since that big kerfuffle bottom, it has just been pick-off after pick-off. And I don't know, with the exception of the smoke plays that have kind of messed up, it feels like Entity just have not been able to get anything going since that point. Constantly trying to dodge and get away from people. And it's reflected in the net worth. I don't know if they're going to be able to get another big movement going before the next Roche, which is a minute away from being able to respawn.
Chalice is almost into level 20 as well. This full Shiva's guard is insane versus this lineup. Like, I just feel like you're hitting everybody. Again, it's just more vision. The scouting is always super important. One of the best parts with the Shiva's guard.
The Lul answer of the Alk versus the Wraith King has been very good. He's gotten so much gold from these skeletons. Almost 500 last hits at 32 minutes.
Little downside, I guess, to this whole Skelly bro.
Yeah. Lul is completely alone over by the Roche pit. The rest of the team is cutting to him immediately, and
he's not acting like it.
Yeah.
He's just popping stun and, you know, come get me. His courier comes through with his abyssal.
He spots Gabby, and Gabby just has to run away. There's no way he could do that. Dude, he doesn't care at all. He's running after him again.
Oh, they're chasing.
Ooh, it's a pretty late spawn here, too.
Okay, never mind.
He's got his teammates following along. They're just hanging out. FY's got nothing better to do. Devours a creep every once in a while. Follows his alchemist. Life's pretty good. OD is a shield rune for 1500 HP, so no concerns there.
Entity grouping together again, looking like it might be time for another smoke play if they have one. I'm not sure. I guess that this is just how they have to group together. They don't feel confident because of the pickoff potential from FY.
Yeah, at least they're not super spread on Azure, so the XP gap isn't like immense, but every time I look at Entity, it does feel like they're kind of, you know, all balled up, but that's what you need. You know, you got to be ready for these opportunities if you manage to find one. Tianming, again, great job, just living in the trees. He's pretty much a Monkey King. Bit of a hopping around, staying out of vision the whole time, throwing out some dead shots.
Yeah. All right, well, they brought the smoke out now. It's time to go. Roche
Smoking into a scythe.
It's capable to spawn. This is the exact same place where that last fight went so terribly, and Azure is in position.
All right, what's the disaster here?
So, one thing to think
I
about,
guess that's
Roche
why
is
they
gonna move in a
picked
minute.
the Doom, right? Was Doom first pick and then ES?
Let them know.
See it? Marta goes by.
Courier comes back.
I mean, so they want to hold this position for another 50 seconds. If they leave, I wonder if there's any way that
they're gonna do the full rotate up top and prep and set up there. Oh, no, we've seen teams do this before. Yeah, they're pinging it. So what you do is in this exact situation, you just run top, because the odds of the Roche spawning are, you know, you just play for top Roche instead. And that's what they're gonna try
Oh
and do.
my
if
god.
they go in right now to the pit, they're gonna see that it's up and they're gonna check.
Yeah.
So wait, no, stick around, it's right there. No, go. Oh, but they're still gonna get the hit.
That's so unlucky.
At your base. Instead of running all the way up top, they're gonna go knock on the door. They're gonna force you to come back. All right. They're putting you in check a little bit here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Map is too big, guys. Map is too big.
Dude, that's so
the
crazy.
tier 1
Oh, they
soaking
can
up
get the
versus the
pick.
Wraith King. That's pain.
Oh yeah.
It's like the tower pusher Zoo Man wasn't able to take your top tier 1, so the rotation to still cover top Roche is still really easy.
What could have been?
I don't think. Well, I mean, yeah. I guess if they actually all 5 hero just YOLO'd onto that Roche, they probably could have killed it.
Right.
Yeah, they definitely could have. Solar Crest, Venge.
Devastating. Well, that is going to be the Roche for Azure. Aegis Cheese in hand, level 20 on the OD with Scythe. They are so strong.
Did you see that dead shot going through as the Roche was dying?
Yeah.
Tianming wants that attempted steal so bad.
He picked himself in fantasy.
Yeah, someone. Oh, well, I was thinking someone. I meant the steal like someone tries to jump in and take it.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
And he's making sure he's doing like the mad coverage. You know, Earth Spirit rolls in there, immediately feared. Ooh, he looks so good in that highlight. That's a shot you throw out there just in case.
But I'm worth so much more.
In the moment, it is continuing to be Mo Dodge. And They are accelerating somewhat in terms of items for the Terrorblade. You know, he's trying to get towards the Lincoln Sphere next.
Just said a great
still
chaos.
9-second BKB.
No, but it's true. Like ES could legit just take it. You can roll and grab it, right?
Fallen by the wayside in terms of farm, and Doom has become a core.
Honestly, I'm surprised that he hasn't caught all the way up to Stormstormer. I feel like his farm has actually gotten surprisingly good considering how poorly his game started.
Oh, trying to go for a solo kill on Stormstormer, ends up self-stunning. The rest of the team coming over. It's going to take a second, but Watson is here. A timely bash, but now in further trouble. The roll forward low. He's gonna fall, maybe? Okay, saved by OD. Somnus is off to the side. Everybody trying to retreat. He manages to get the blink out. Scabby backs away. The rest of them will too. Weird set of events.
No one died, but I guess no one really committed anything.
Let them know, you know. Stay on the high ground. We're gonna farm the rest of the map here. You guys wait it out. There wasn't eggs picked up there from Fishman, so might see a bit of a surprise play there after the death.
Oh,
we get additional stuns, spells off here. Always kind of helpful.
He wants to die now.
I feel like he's not going to get out of a fight, but maybe it'll happen. I feel like he's just going to die twice, but that's fine as long as he get off the spells.
Does he try and go for a swap play here? Yes, he will. Silence, didn't have ulti. Lou in trouble. Now this is going to be one death. Can they get any more? Watson is down to half HP, turns to fight. Somnus onto him. The Doom is there, and now he's got to run.
Oh, he just went in. Holy shit.
Katomi continuing to chase for more.
Ah, no one can hit the egg.
Blade starts to fall. Fishman down, is back alive yet again. Have a longer duration control. TB is back alive though, has Sunder ready. The dead shot hits him in the fountain. As Fishman is there, looking forward for more. Gabby onto him. BKB, it's already there. Do they have enough damage? Can they bring down Watson in time?
Oh, he didn't.
No, he gets the Sunder off. He's away.
No, he wasn't able to get the Sunder off. That's no good. He did it after he respawned.
And now on to Tianming. Gabby, the Aghanims was not enough, as everybody still is going to end up falling. 4 dead. Terrorblade buys back immediately. TP's onto FY. Gets stomped. Ooh, can they kill him? They've already killed off Gabby.
Oh, there's a stun.
They find it. So FY is going to go down, and Lul falling short.
Wow.
Quite enough to kill him. Swap stun.
Oh my god, the Radiance missed chances. What the fuck?
Oh
the Defiant Shell.
Not like that.
It's just stunning illusions trying to attack him. Oh, send him back. All right, what about Tianming? See, he's gonna go down. Snipe. Oh, looking like a
that's so
Tianming
close.
dead shot right there. It's like I feel you, bro. It's not that easy.
I mean, both teams end up gaining some gold, but I mean, the fact that they didn't get a tier 3
There's
tower
no
is
racks.
They were in quite close proximity to the fountain, considering that, I will say.
Oh man, I don't even know.
Is that a Radiant gem? Because they. Oh no, there's a Radiant ward. I see. Okay. Oh no, is he gonna steal it? Oh, Vengeance Courier got there first. Oh, there was no Radiant Courier. Oh, okay. I thought he was getting real sneaky.
We did see the value in that of the Wraith King Aghanims, though. You know, Terrorblade able to deal out so much more damage because, you know, even though he died, he was still able to just beat away at people.
Well, he gets a little bit more help there as well after his Aghanims Scepter. He'll get an Aghanim Shard. He was eyeing that up for quite a while in the stash, so this instead will probably be gold towards what I assume will be the Refresher. That has been a very common build on these Wraith Kings with the Aghanims. But it's a long road from here.
Yeah. It is.
Oh, that's true. He has to synth first. Yeah, that's a long, long road. He's got the synth queued up.
It's going to be a while. There's no way, nothing easy about it. Watson did have a Rapier queued up, but swaps that out now for a Daedalus. So not feeling that things are too terrible, I guess. And Luz, you know, going towards the Aghanim Scepter.
Yeah, speaking of Aghanims, Grant, he has gifted one to the OD here.
Right.
Yeah. So this is the weirdest thing about OD. So you have to, like, if you haven't played against OD in a while or played OD in a while, you kind of have this strange way you have to take the fights versus OD because of this Essence Flux thing. It's kind of like an Aeon Disc idea. You get a strong Dispel, and then you get this, like, barrier thing that happens. And so this works in combination with your ulti. So the idea is that if you're like super low and you get a chance to throw your ulti, maybe you astral imprison yourself, then the mana allergy, if people are casting spells in the team fight, are going to help regen you back up. Right? It's all, see, it all connects. It's kind of that idea here.
Most simple Dota hero ever.
Yeah. The text, man.
If you haven't played Dota in a while, OD is one of those ones that he's gone through the ringer. I want my simple little alchemist, you know? Hop on in, hit some creeps, gobble them up. But yeah, basically what you're saying is that, you know, it is significantly harder to kill Somnus now. That's the long and the short of it, yes?
It's just, yeah, it's just really annoying to fight this hero.
Well, 25-20. We'll see if Entity can come up with an answer. The plus side for them, at the very least, is that they have not lost the tier 3 tower yet.
Oh,
it's hard
did he
to go
run?
high ground against a Terrorblade. There is a ward in their base dropped down by Tianming in that last fight. Haven't been able to get that one taken away yet. But you got to imagine Azure, they're going to be waiting for that next Aegis, which is capable of respawning in another minute. And Watson continues to farm towards that Daedalus. Needs the
towards
expertise.
infinity,
right?
I feel like I've just been looking for items, trying to find an answer here. Yeah, I mean, you tune in, it's like, oh, 9-3-4. Like, you know, Watson's kind of owning.
Right.
And he has played well, but it's just no fight has ever felt like things were going their way. This game has not felt like it was really within their reach for quite a while. That said, you know, it was kind of chill for like 20 minutes, but once it flipped, it hasn't really felt like there was much chance of it heading back. It's mostly just an issue of like how difficult it is to win a team fight. Between the layers, like you have to be so pointed with your movements here from Entity and how you fight inside of these. And again, with that additional layer now of the Essence Flux passive being there, it's all these little things have to go right for you. But what a cool thing that you do have, though, of course, is this Wraith King Ags, which you got to see in the base fight.
Yeah.
But out here in the wild and with Avenge Ags, like they've definitely made
He
a
just
good
finished
way of
cooking
like
dinner.
messifying their own engagement style, because now people are just gonna die and like still cast their spells.
No way.
That's kinda
Wouldn't
funny.
that be a bit OP if there was a
I
charge
mean,
on
there's a lot of
Daedalus
things that are
though?
going to be really interesting about this next fight, because I think one
Or
of the
you
big
mean it
things
would
is
scale?
do Entity like respect how strong this Essence Flux ends up being, leaving OD for last, but they're going to walk right in.
The pillar?
FY, he's going to see him smoke breaks. They immediately spot stun.
Oh no, there's a double stun from the Venge swap. Ay 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 ay
He
ay.
get a chance to do anything, but Lul still in some trouble himself. No, he's not at all. Gabby turns, wants to run. They all need to get out, although Chalice is a little bit out of
Oh
position.
no,
With Fishman and
no
Watson on
egg.
to him, but Lul turns with the stun, and now just destroying this Terrorblade. These Arcane Orbs, he gets the Sunder off to the side. Good damage out. Watson's
Wow.
still in trouble, getting close to OD. He's gonna get the heal up in a moment. They have enough left in the tank. Watson is reigning supreme throughout all of this. They find the OD down to the south.
There's
He
the
gets the mana
barrier.
barrier, but he had no mana. Now the turn, a couple more hits. Somnus found.
If
Somnus
only Phoenix got the egg off.
on this Terrorblade carrying Entity.
Oh my goodness, stop about how hard it is to bring one person down. All the damage. They spent so much.
Yeah.
They tried so hard, and only a buyback there from Fishman as well. The multiple lives coming in huge.
That would have turned
There's so
around,
much
I think, if
attention to this
Phoenix
place as
ended
well,
up
so
getting
from the
his
start of that
ulti
fight.
off.
He actually was rolling out in his like reincarnated form. He managed to come back in at the exact moment that OD lost BKB2, which was huge.
Oh, and now FY, he's going to be found. Watson gets a little cleanup and now turns. Manta dodges the stun and off to the races. All gone. Yo, he's just a god. It's double gem on that courier.
Yeah, and I think that's no gem now for the Radiant side here as they move into the Refresher Shard Roche. Gabby not able to buy one. Times are tough. So Roche will hand them one. We'll see if he's the one who gets
Man, they should have just made Murta pause one. Murta would like kill all of them.
Great fight where Stormstormer goes down from the point of view of Azure, and just the carry comes in and kills everybody else.
No, you wouldn't be able to because they have no health bars.
This game while still an enormous gold lead, I feel like has turned significant.
So, like, what would your health
Part
be?
of it too is the fight should get harder for Azure. The greater the mobility is for the Dire, and part of the mobility comes from things like Fisherman's Aghanim Scepter, but like the double swap idea. If you die after, it just like the four staffs together from Kato.
7
like,
HP.
the more spread the fights are, the less like guaranteed moves you get with the Egg, with the Sandy's Eclipse.
Equi.
Try and make things very chaotic, as well as the fact that there's just like multiple lives too, which can make it a bit hard to use these
Hey, Andy.
big ultis where they're supposed to like win the whole fight, but right now there's like 1.5 fights because of these ghouls running around.
Yeah.
Plus then you got Muerta throwing down the calling, and I can't
What
even
would
tell
your
what's a hero
health
and
be
what's a
though? But it
ghost.
gives you basically,
That's just
yeah, I was
circling
gonna
and silencing
say, it's
people
like
'cause
there's
they're
no
all the same
HP
color.
on them.
Plus if you get hit by the dead shot, you also turn that color. It's kind of confusing, frankly.
Yeah, and Chalice now has Ags passed over from the Alchemist. I don't know, man. These fights are going to depend so much on the correct vision, but I think from the player's point of view too, it's got to be so complicated what you do. I guess the big thing is like finding Terrorblade in these fights for Watson. That's one of the most important things to do. If they can bring down Watson, that'd be huge. But now he has the Aegis.
It's going to be so hard to tell what the right move is for a save.
Yeah.
In all of this. Like, when am I supposed to astral somebody, or should I just wait? Like, are we gonna try and use the egg with the sun right here? We got 2 eggs happening.
Right.
When am I gonna dive and grab someone inside the supernova?
Oh, I see, I see.
I mean, Phoenix being a core in this game too, having the Timeless Relic, you also don't just want to be using the eggs for save. You want to be using that in the Sunray for damage. You really do need that deep out of the rest of them. I have another
There's
refresher.
so many spells.
I don't even know, man. This is gonna be insane.
Yeah, it's actually just total chaos at this point. Got to keep an eye on that mana allergy as well, with all these bigger spells coming out here to see if OD just is getting big heals and, of course, big damage as well.
Right. So again, for anybody that's been out of Dota for a little while, when you pop Sanity's Eclipse, it's not just the damage it does damage based off of the damage or the spells that the enemy team casts, and it heals up OSD for that too. FY, get a great vision down. They find Gabby right at the start. Will it be enough? Lul onto him already. The egg dealing out a ton, and they need to, well, maybe be careful on the side of
Egg's
Azure.
already been casted.
Slow down a bit. Doom connects onto Stormstormer, but Watson
Oh,
unimpeded.
no.
They're all over him. But Somnus, he finds them onto Watson. Sunder, is it going to be enough? They're just
Oh.
into him. Somnus is doing so much in this fight. Chalice, the
Refresher egg, holy shit. This is no good.
Somnus gets another banishment connection and will find more. Gabby to fall. They
Look at this. Easy game with Phoenix, man. Holy shit.
Somnus pops that refresher, tries to walk away, will survive. A great fight for Azure.
It refreshes immediately into the other Essence Flux as well there, I believe.
Wow, that was gnarly.
Yeah, double safety there, and yeah, that time the TB didn't have free reign. I mean, even in the last fight, he didn't actually do that much damage, right? Like, part of the thing is he can only output so much, but it's really the Scotty that's helping a ton versus that Alchemist to ensure that that damage will actually matter versus this hero. And so the lower damage the TB is doing, the worse the fight generally is, because, you know, maybe he's like applying less of the Scotty right there, the heals are coming through everywhere else. Same thing versus the OD too, with the natural healing that's happening there.
Yeah.
Well, this one core just can't do it all.
They also have the Ags on Earth Spirit, so this might be a time to try and grab somebody. Maybe a Venge swap into Earth Spirit, Enchant Remnant.
All right.
That might be the play. I think they're going for it right now.
Oh, the swap?
Turns him into it, kicks it back under. Do they have enough left in the tank?
Oh, shit.
No. They get him into the fountain for only a moment. Fishman now in trouble. Needs to get back in. They get the Abyssal Blade connection. Can't get away.
Oh, he wants to try and freaking kick him again?
And now no Venge for 70.
It was the only.
It was a
play.
good try. It was almost there. Just no follow up.
Again, it's a beautiful one, but it has been
BKB pressed
quite a bit
too
recently.
fast.
That is a big one for Azure as the bottom racks are claimed. 15 seconds until Terrorblade. I don't know if he can do it alone though. This is tough.
I think every fight is kind of him alone, so it's, you know.
Okay, fair.
They definitely can't do it without Terrorblade, that I will say.
Roll
you
in,
go back
good
to
blink,
that's
good
good
head.
snipe.
They're playing it. Enchant Remnant to get himself out. Now Supernova. Gabby has to run away. They can't
There are
fight
too
into
many
that.
pips. I mean, I don't have a hero that can kill that.
It's way too much. They roll in again with Stormstormer. Gonna try and kick them back, do what they can. BKB, but the Doom is already out. They start laying into him. Watson on high ground. What can he do? Pops BKB, tries to beat into FY, tries to take down Lou. Starts to fall. It is enough. Managed to get that kill. Can they find any more doomed up Stormstormer in ghost form? The dead shot connects now onto Terrorblade as they hunt down Chalice. Coming close to finding him. Buyback now onto Stormstormer. Can they get a couple more kills on the outside of this? Gabby there for the stun. Now looking for more. The roll, the swap.
Oh, I just got caught by the...
Trying to find him, but it doesn't look like Stormstormer's going to be able to connect. And that's Megas.
Yeah, that's the big thing, of course. They're not too worried about that. They throw Lou in. There's some buybacks here. They want to give themselves the Megas. Do you run it down?
Okay.
That's the question. I mean, you know, this meta, there's only a quarter of it left. TP without meta, not that scary. They give the Arcane Rune to Stormstormer. I think they're going for the big one. The big push. Yeah, there we go. Refresher. Okay, good. This is how you got to do it.
Yeah. What can they do, though?
I'm not too sure.
Fear, Fishman. They need to look
I think they doomed a dead guy.
They're trying to eat him. No, he kicked him the wrong way. Oh, no.
Oh.
Wait.
Look at that Alchemist go. He's an egg coming. Fuck my life.
Try and back out with the rest of the team.
Okay, TV refresh.
Ready to go. They don't know about the refresher though. Jump in, Somnus onto him. Can they blow him up in time? Stormstormer, he ends up healing up. He survived through it.
Oh my god, the stone thing he's got.
Onto him, burning through mana. The Glimmer Cape keeps him
Look.
alive.
Oh my god, he is legit one hit.
They lose Gabby. Buyback comes from Gabby, needs to defend the base. Throne, tier 4s exposed.
That was kind of sick though.
That was pretty close, not gonna lie.
After the refresher.
Dude, if they won that fight, they could have.
Team, but can't quite get it done.
Yeah, it's not looking like they got enough here. They have to do so much on the side of Entity to pull this one back.
Yeah. They
Watson
almost had a comeback.
could think about a rapier at this point. Does still have buyback though. Man.
Raid Shadow Legend sponsor where? What do you mean, Captain
Try and
Softboy?
solve these problems there. I mean, got level 25 Muerta now with the additional Revenants, and they have just been so annoying in these fights. Great positioning and placement. With a telescope too to help with the team. E-Blade finished up here now from FY. Okay. Got no buyback anyway, he says. Oh, Octarine Core. Okay, cool. We're just getting everything on these heroes now.
I mean, if you don't have buyback, why not?
These inventories are actually disgusting on the Radiant. You just like click through in every hero. It's just like, my goodness. And there's moon shards out there. He's dishing out the Aghanim scepters from this alchemist. Now he's got a refresher orb done. Okay, cool.
I just saw that Grimstroke, in his desire to end the game, bought a Deso.
Yeah, that was sick. He bought it as they were like approaching the high ground.
So put that in your bag for later. See if it ends up coming into fruition. Oh, Gabby. They will see and find him.
Oh no.
Oh, he blinks too.
There's no buyback on him. Oh, what a save.
That helps. Okay, Fishman down. No Fishman for this fight. Stormstormer rolls away. Wow.
Almost forced out a BKB, or perhaps even killed them.
You're impressed by how much advertising they do?
Potential abyssal.
It's because they pay. I'm pretty sure they get way more money from people playing that game than what they do paying streamers.
To a 1-game lead in this series. We'll see if they have what it takes. Incredibly hard defense with the double.
I remember Natty did a raid boss stream
As refresher ready. Lou's gonna start this
ages ago though.
Calling down, roll forward, finds him. Magnetize out, this is undispellable. They pop the egg. Stormstormer trying to do what he can, needs to back out, but the Abyssal Blade is there. He is going to drop all in onto the throne. They're gonna pop Glip, it is starting to do some good damage.
Oh my god, refresher egg just cannot.
But the throat exposed. Somnus turns now onto Gabby, takes him down once. They have that much left in the tank. Chalice full HP again. Will roll forward onto both.
Is it PC game? I don't know either, actually. I would have thought it was a mobile game.
Are they actually gonna back out?
Get him out!
Are they actually backing out of this? Somnus does a triple kill. They're just waiting for him to die. Runs back in, goes for the break, goes for the bash, and ultra.
Wow, Rampage.
And Azure with that are gonna
Great
take game
game.
number 1.
Oh, he went all for it there. I love that. 41k lead in the end after a pretty slow and steady 20 minutes and some great laning out of Entity, getting quite a few kills.
Make Chinese
securing some
Dodo great
advantages,
again.
particularly in that bottom lane and the big slowdown there onto the Alchemist. They sort of just kind of sputtered out a little bit there. Game returned to this kind of calm state. Azure farmed it up in a very comfortable position and never really felt like, even when they finally won that fight, things still looked so good for Azure at that point in the game.
Well, things looking good for Azure indeed. An Entity going to need to go back to the drawing board after what felt like one big fight was the real turning point for that game to push it into their favor. We're going to head on back to the panel, let them break it down.
16 teams remain on the road to TI. 1 slot remains in the upper bracket. And right now, off the back of our 5th rampage on this road to TI International, Somnus and the boys have claimed the first and very important game up against Entity. Very weird draft, gods. Very strange, very bizarre. We were talking about it a little bit. In retrospect, having seen how it played out, didn't it actually feel a little bit genius in hindsight?
Yeah, it was kind of cool for me because I didn't catch the other OD game that Somnus had played, so I saw this pick in the draft, and I'm like, I don't really know how this is going to play out. Even in like the
Oh, they replaced the other guy with a fishbowl.
I imagine it's one of those heroes that
Excuse
puts
me?
you out of the comfort zone. In a game like this, it worked really well against some of these tanky cores. Ultimately, gave them another like really good late game damage source. Actually, helped bring down the TB as well. So the hero, yeah, looked very solid.
Yeah, it's one of those Somnus specials, I would say, because he works really well against these.
The other guy that was there in the
armor
panel.
cores. At the same time, the last time he played it into Invoker mid, and he still went 12-2, 11-1, something like that. He still owned, so very well deserved rampage in the end by him. But I don't think this is that weird of a draft coming from them. And Alchemist has been picked up today, right, like a couple of times already, so maybe that's something that they took a little bit of inspiration from. But the way they executed was completely out of this world with Phoenix. Like, I was like in the green room, I'm flaming the Phoenix as a core a little bit. I don't like it, but there is this point in the game in which you're like level 25, Phoenix Alchemist gave you the Aghanims. There's no way anyone kills that tech. So as long as you press BKB and you dive in, the team fight is either you win it or they run away. There is no third option.
And to make matters even worse, gods, as you were saying, you know, these tanky cores struggle against the OD. Tanky cores struggle against the Sunray that we saw from earlier. Having both in the same game, yes, you might have Wraith King, yes, you might have this Earth Spirit, yes, you might have this uber farmed Watson Terrorblade who played amazingly, but the fights just got way too difficult. They're losing health at a rate that they just cannot replenish before Azure Ray is able to demolish them.
Yeah, it got to this point where it was very much like, please carry us, Watson. And, you know, this is an amazing TB game. I don't, like, yeah, the OD can actually do some good damage to the TB through all his armor, but I still consider TB like a good hero into OD because of the fact you can outrange him with meta, you get BKB, but ultimately, it was just Watson in the late game. They didn't really have much scaling coming from the rest of the team. I think you point out, Admir, they picked up a Desolator on Grimstroke. Like, they were just really struggling to find ways to scale into the late game, whereas on the Azure side, you had countless heroes going late game, like the Phoenix you mentioned, who is just this late game monster. So just having a TP in the late game, you know, you can't have one player carry you while your offlaner is just getting demolished every team fight. Same for Stormstormer on the Earth Spirit, 2-10-12. Like, it's just a draft issue where playing the OD, none of these heroes can impact the game late game.
Of course, we see Azure Ray able to claim that first victory for themselves off the back of these amazing performances. I also want to quickly touch on one of the things that I saw from Entity. We've been seeing more and more of this offlane Wraith King here, Lizard. So,
no.
How do you feel about it?
I don't mind it. The problem is, I think maybe OD also brings a small answer to it in a way that he doesn't necessarily deal exactly with the Wraith King, but with the combination of heroes that he usually goes with, either some Dark Willow Wraith King or this Grimstroke Wraith King, right? The problem that Entity faced is they have this kind of a draft in which Their point is to go win, eliminate the target, and get out fast. That's it, right? Like you jump in with Wraith King on Inkswell, you pick off a target or two, then you reset, think about what to do next. Azure, they don't allow that to happen because they
It's
have
kind of a
this
sad
nasty OD
ES
in the
game
back.
though.
He's saving targets, he's
Like,
preventing you from killing
it's
anyone
hard
that
with the
fast.
Doom.
And then you have this AoE stun from Alchemist. We saw it once, like 4-man stun. That team fight was perfect.
Perfect team fight, perfect execution coming in from the side of Azure, and of course Somnus and the boys find themselves in pole position here in this series. Somnus, genuinely standout performance from him. The second time that we've seen so on the road to the International. Did it once against Game & Gladiators, against Thunder Awaken, doing it again here against Entity. Master Gods, why don't we see more of OD if it's capable of accomplishing this?
I don't have an answer for you. We should be seeing more.
He's here.
This is a patch.
Look, this is what happens when you bleach your hair to the point you want it grey.
Players and coaches I've talked to, it's like, man, Valve, do something about all these tanky strength cores. It's no longer the universal heroes that are OP, it's the strength heroes. But I think teams that just need to find what
It looks like you're a rug. Oh my god.
We've started to see more and more AA. We've seen more of the Phoenix. We've seen now OD for the second time. These are the kind of heroes that
Man, I do not want ODs in my
recent,
freaking
patch
game.
notes, patch changes. Do you think that we're maybe still in the early cycle of the patch? So maybe that's the reason. Like there's this one grand idea that everyone is following, but if you let it cook a little bit, if the patch matures, you might see some different heroes actually come up.
I think that's the exciting thing about the fact that we have an
This guy's voice does not suit his face.
Instead of our usual 10-day condensed schedule, we're going the whole hog. We're here till the end of the month still, so we're going to see a lot of developments in the meta, a lot of new ideas coming out.
Entity shouldn't pick Earth
This would
Spirit.
be the first day, I think it was, we saw a Bristleback going 2 points Bristleback, and we're like, what the hell is he doing? Why is he doing this? And then we see Collapse
They
playing
were
with 1
stuck with
point
it as
Bristleback,
mid.
getting Ags, maxing stats, and demolishing a game. And you're like, oh, okay, maybe this is actually the new meta that's developing. This is the new tech we should be adopting.
Yeah, that's when it comes to skills. When it comes to heroes, just go back to the last series. Ogre mid, Witch Doctor offlane. And Witch Doctor offlane has been played, but Ogre mid, that's something that this new patch has brought to us.
So what have you made of now going into the second game? We've seen Entity a couple of times throughout the group stage here, Gods, that when game one can go south, right, they've often drawn out quite a few of their series. Is this a situation where you can imagine them? Did you see enough sparks of life in game one that you envision a comeback in game two?
I think we definitely saw in the late game some of those big fights they put together, but where I'd like to see them maybe try and force that game three is going to be just picking up, going back to some of those kind of entity type heroes like the Stormstormer Visage, some of these cheesier picks that sometimes catch people by surprise.
Could work, but he's I don't know.
So like just teams picking their stuff. The OD for Somnus, we had
I
the
feel
Witch
like
Doctor you
more
mentioned.
mid
We had
heroes
the Ogre mid.
they all better.
Entity have those heroes themselves. Find the ones you like.
You want Azure to have a headache when they see the draft from Entity, right? That's it. It's like, yeah, we can win against this, but even if we win, at what cost? It's gonna be such a hard, difficult game, and that's what Entity usually did, like some Bots and Pudges and Slarks and whatnot. So yeah.
Well, last year out here at the road to TI, it was actually at TI itself. We saw, of course, Azure getting knocked out by Entity. So they are in search of revenge. Somnus, that rampage that he was able to get on the OD, it's the 6th one that we've had on the road to the International this year. But strangely enough, last year, in the entirety of 2022, we had 6 rampages just over every single tournament. So we've already had more rampages in the last few days than we had all of last year, or at least equivalent to that. I have no doubt we're going to be seeing more in the days to come. Of course, Somnus did not do it alone. He had the backup of his boy
Lol, that was
FY,
because last year's TI was legit
TI
just like
with. And of course, FY
split
is
push
here again,
Zoom.
trying to make another push towards finals day, and more importantly, claim an Aegis for himself for the first time. He's been in the finals several times before, but let's find out how he found himself in Seattle in 2023.
TS 我的整体感觉是这打得很快，然后但是当时是比较有经验的吧，就是也是一些老将，然后给我传授了就是打比赛可能尽量不要去注意外面一些东西啊，就专注的打好比赛这种类似这样的话吧，所以我当时也是没有什么压力的。当时应该很挺
Yeah, build 3 artists run an enemy with all your minions, they can't kill you.
觉得就甚至打完之后，我是觉得
Was he the Doom?
还挺容易的吧，就是 TI 亚军，因为当时我还很年轻嘛，我不太懂这个冠军的含金量有多高，所以我觉得很 比较轻松的拿到了第2枚，就是以后自己应该还会有机会去
Look at the comments. FY never aged.
然后现在发现还是有点难度的。
Yeah, he played really well.
Man, you look at that video, you look at the guy, FY, was it the Prince? Was that the name that he got gifted?
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Why was he
I
called the
think that
Prince?
He's definitely, we talked about this earlier throughout the rest of the group stages, that he's one of the players that I think probably the Dota community at large would most like to see win a TI in the future. Just because the
any like images come to mind for you because of that?
No,
and nothing in particular.
No, not any of them. I think, but that's
because he's so young.
Like, would it be better to?
But he's been in a TI
what? Win a TI more,
TI 14.
Or, like, is it so sad if
no,
he gets the
2014, right?
Short? Both of those things would be insane. But it's really
but almost 10 years.
To see Azure come out, look really solid in that last game. Somnus was an absolute god. FY playing on that Doom. It's been, you know, sort of one of the heroes that's been run a lot in the tournaments. Thoughts going into this one?
My thoughts are, I just noticed that Chalice actually has that picture of FY as his current profile picture.
Oh, no.
That's pretty good. Nice. Okay, so they're leaning into it. They're ready. My thoughts are, I would like to see Entity become the entity, you know, I want to see a little bit of this Watson. You know, we opened up an any series and we got to see the Pudge. That's what we wanted. We wanted the Watson Pudge. He pulled it out, got the win. It did not win versus Team Spirit later on in the tournament. Sure, it's Team Spirit. They're looking pretty good. I want to see Watson Pudge. Obviously, you know, the Stormstormer is kind of, I want the Invoker. I want the Pango. I know they're probably not going to give it to him. And, I don't know if we can say like flashier heroes for Gabby. Can I get like a Gabby Dawnbreaker? I want to be able to make a few moves, you know, a little bit more in this. But if I can suggest something different for Azure, can we get another one of those FY Nature's Prophets? Because yeah, the Doom's already going to be banned out here.
Yeah. Oh, look at this Doom respect ban.
Azure's Nature's Prophet. Oh, it's gone.
Dude,
I want to see it in combination with the Spectre.
Dude, now they're gonna
because the Spectre's been on the rise.
No, I know what you mean. For anybody that missed those games earlier that Azure played, FY played a Nature's Prophet together with a Luna on the carry position. He was playing position 4 still, and it was just
same Ellie.
Marks when it turned dark was just running around and beating the crap out of everybody. It was pretty awesome to see. But already taking the other tree out of the pool now. So Azure not wanting to give him that early game strength. In terms of what we saw, it felt very much like each team was kind of doing their own thing. Was there any big changes that you wanted to see besides just like Watson on a more active hero?
They got to fix the mid matchup, I think, is the biggest one for sure.
Okay.
Like it's
he looks young,
last pick again. They
but
did have
old.
Choice. They chose first
If that
pick.
makes
Azure
sense.
took Radiant.
I would say mature.
Just have to, I don't know if that means just straight up banning OD, because the thing about OD is that there's not a lot of teams picking it, so that's already awkward enough. Azure have shown in the past, including during the qualifiers, that they would pick it. And there's not many heroes that shut down an enemy mid as hard, other than like Huskar, when it is that like really bad matchup.
Right.
Oh, we're even getting rid of the Gabby Dawnbreaker. Come on, guys. Can we have some fun here? This is supposed to be a fun, you know, you're up a game, let loose a little bit.
I mean, this is all the exact same bans as we saw last time, with the main exception being that CK was the 4th ban instead of the Dawnbreaker, and Entity banned out the AA along with the Nature's Prophet. So this next time around, it's going to be a little bit of a change up here. Do they want to ban out that AA? Do they want to ban out the Kunkka? They're going to take away the Earth Spirit instead.
Earth Spirit banned.
Taking away their own mid. Like, we don't even want to see that here in the game last time.
And we'll see if they make their way towards the I was gonna say the CK potentially, like the offlane.
Right. Yeah, I would have liked that for Gabby. But taking
they picked the meta.
I will say. Okay. I don't know if you want to grab it right here. But that'd be a solid way to close. Or like I guess jump into the second phase, I should say.
Right.
Entities turn to ban.
First phase, taking it.
Oh my gosh, no, not Brewmaster. I think Brewmaster is actually one of the most annoying heroes.
Like simmering out and stuff. And I know
not
for us,
like
at least
this,
a lot of our games when we first started the road to TI, we had a lot of Brewmaster bans really early. Like a lot of just like straight up first phase Brewmaster bans. Nobody wanted to deal with this hero. And then we started seeing this idea of like perhaps the Weaver counter some teams would go for. And then we had Weaver flex in towards that position 4 as well. I mean, Azure have actually already picked Brew and Weaver on the same team, as they lost that game versus BetBoom, but it's still, I mean, we just saw it earlier, obviously, with that combination there from Nouns to get themselves that game 2 win, which was pretty awesome, with the mid-ogre.
Yeah, no, I think that it goes to show how flexible you can be in trying to come up with answers for this, or pairing together with things. They're taking a lot of time with this ban here, and they're eventually going to take out the Naga Siren. Interesting. I mean, I guess that they just kind of want to play a straight up game of don't want to have to deal with all those illusion spams. When I'm looking at this one, though, I feel like Muerta has been such a feast or famine hero. I'm really surprised that Entity decided to go with that with the first pick overall.
5 seconds remaining.
I think looking back through all of their games, I haven't seen that many Muertas get picked by them.
I think they're probably just going to hold it because it is solid flex and good support, and they don't have enough bans to also cover. Like, 'cause that was a really good performance there from Tianming.
Yeah.
To play that out of the 5 and get so many great coverages there, and if you have a 5 that can lurk in a tree line and get those fear saves off onto someone who's super greedily farming, and you waste all that time rotating, like they did several times, that kind of broke their mid game when they were trying to carry forward this aggression that they'd earned with this Wraith King and Grimstroke. They did a fantastic job in the lane, and then you have this idea of just like, okay, sick, we're just gonna go around the whole map, we're gonna blow everybody up, life will be good. Didn't happen. This Naga Siren and Shout Demon ban, I wonder if they're angling for like a Bristleback. That's kind of one of the heroes that's popping off me right now.
That could be cool. Play a little bit more fast tempo. I mean, he's just been everywhere.
10 seconds
As
remaining.
the next round of bans come out for Azure Ray, they're going to go right into the
5
pick
seconds remaining.
immediately following this one. And with a Brewmaster as a start, I mean, you can play this, I think, in a lot of different tempos of games, it feels like. I think, again, back to that Nouns game and just the idea of popping ulti to take towers, it showed just how good that can be.
And you can still buy all the same items for the most part. It feels, you know, just be the Brewmaster.
Oh my god.
Darkseer band next. Okay, bit of respect there.
I
Not a
just,
hero we're
okay,
seeing a
you
whole lot
know,
of. If they haven't just done
FY.
the last game, I suppose.
Well, and lots of illusion-oriented things, right?
I just
Like the
can't
Naga Siren, Shadow
get the
Demon,
image of
Darkseer's
the
one of those heroes that I
cartoon
always
out of
think
my
about.
head.
He's
Do you
obviously
guys
against
remember the
Terrorblade, what have
cartoon?
you.
His name was Doug. He looks like Doug.
We still have the Spirit Breaker in 2. Doesn't necessarily fit that well with what we have here. Like, probably don't want to play it 4 with the Brewmaster. Because, you know, not you think more about your spammable heroes. That could be what they're angling for right now. If they have like a Sky, but goes for the Grim. That's nice.
Oh,
because it
for
can be a 5, but
Entity,
it can also
10.
work as a 4. I would assume 5 for Tianming, and I feel like they'll try and get something a little bit more pointed for FY, like see a little bit more of the draft to figure out exactly what he's gonna be able
But
to
to
do.
be fair,
Could even be
like if they
something
want to
going back
counter,
for
like
Aruba,
I,
you know,
well, I
he
don't
has a
think this is
classic
gonna be a
combo
one Muerta,
with
is it?
Brewmaster. You're up a game, you have FY, you know, come on. Everybody in chat's joling for FY.
They
Rubik.
just need to get
That's all they
any
want.
BKB pieces.
I mean, I do think that obviously Brew already
Like,
is
even
strong
Pudge
hero in
works to
lane,
counter
so
Murtaugh.
having that flexibility to put it there if they want to for FY on Grim, and then you can play with like Ink
But
Swell,
I've
Red
been
people
really
playing
liking
against.
Luna lately.
Also, just taking that away from Entity. But Entity, having burned through a ton of their reserve time now,
Entities turn to pick.
what they're looking to, they take it.
Oh,
I mean,
Spirit
it's good to take it away from the
Breaker.
Grimstroke too, pairing.
And there's a lot that you can do here too. This could be 5 Muerta. This could be 4 Muerta played with 3 Spirit Breaker. This could be 5 Muerta, 4 Spirit Breaker. So that Darkseer band coming in clutch there too, because that just would have opened up more and more options as this draft went along there for Entity. I'm kind of feeling the Gabby core Spirit Breaker, I gotta say. I believe he's already played it once.
Sounds good to me.
That would be a pretty stark difference compared to his last game.
And there is the Fish Man. Know what he's playing.
Yeah, settled that up there. So, yeah, there we go. Things sorted out here. This is looking kind of similar to their draft versus SMG, where they got that win, where they had the offlane Spirit Breaker.
I just hate
and their
Spirit Breaker
support duo
so
was
much.
a Dark Willow and a Warlock, and the Muerta was banned out as well. So, kind of makes sense, right? Very similar heroes that can offer some similar concepts in the laning stage, and then kind of throughout the whole game when it comes to scaling. Sure, you don't scale as hard as these Willows have been with their Midases and Agnums, but Muerta got some pretty fast levels in that last one, for sure.
And can make a nice little bit of disruption. You're seeing like a lot of stuns coming out from Entity. Obviously, one of them is
Oh,
global,
look, they ended up
Azure
picking
Ray,
the
a run for
Luna.
Luna. This is
Wow,
a really
Ellie.
fast draft.
Bit of night vision talent for the Spirit Breaker. We get some skills for the Luna, so some advantages and disadvantages to watch for when it comes to the vision at night.
The other
CB
team got
actually
the
even
Luna.
goes for that. Is this the first Luna game they've played since our lovely? It is, since our one versus with the Nature's Prophet in combination there for FY, and they're gonna pick up the Clockwork. Okay, so I mean it's a Warlock and a Muerta, most likely.
Can
two
Spirit
heroes
Breaker
that you
charge
do not want to
through
get stuck on top of and don't want to
Buck?
be found out. I mean, you just saw it last game from Tianming. He's constantly lurking, hiding in the trees, looking for saves. So these flares
Has
flying
always been a
through,
Chinese
they can create some
favorite.
serious problems. And then a hero that really powers up with that Aghanim Scepter, getting those big flares out, can cause a lot of problems for someone like a Warlock, especially.
I feel like this is probably going to be Luna Clockwork paired together. Do you think that Brewmaster Grimm can put enough pressure onto Warlock, trying to like keep him stuck in that side of the map?
It'll definitely depend on the 5. Sorry, on the 1. Depends how greedy they go, right?
Yeah.
Like if they were to do something that was super not greedy, like let's say like you're a troll warlord, he's like the classic I don't care who my support is in most matchups. I would kind of think that they might struggle a little bit to get under the tower. Not gonna reveal it yet though. They're gonna grab the Kunkka. Pretty safe. Again, this is this whole issue that they had last game of getting mega hard counterpicked. So they pick someone who's yeah, immediately into the ban of the OD. So it makes sense, right? Like there's not many other heroes that can just ruin Kunkka's time completely.
I'm just thinking a little bit about the timings that Azure Ray are going to have. And when Luna gets BKB, I feel like Kunkka is very much not going to do things towards her. I mean, I guess you can sort of do like a little whittling stuff, and maybe you need to play around the Spirit Breaker, but if Lua gets off to a good start in this game, I'm really worried about Entity's draft. Grant, I mean, that's if we end up seeing like the Stormstormer go the Water Park build, which we've been seeing a lot more of.
5 seconds remaining.
I want a big hitter, man. Yeah, I gotta get something strong here at the end for Entity. Maybe like a Sven or something. That's probably terrible against.
I mean,
two.
They do have like the global potential. You know, the Spectre, she's out there.
Yeah.
She's lurking. She's thinking about it. You know. I don't know. The hero's looking better and better. These are some very safe bans, though. TB, Slark.
No, I like
certainly some more common ones.
I like what you're talking about. Spectre sounds pretty cool for Entity. That's what you're talking about for them, right?
Yeah. But then there's also still one pick left.
Right.
But it has to be mid anyway, so it shouldn't matter too much.
Let's see what it is.
I feel like Spectre is a little hard to judge right now. I feel like we haven't quite gotten there. What would their Tricore be? I mean, that would kind of help, though, because they do have Spearbreaker Kunkka. They definitely need someone who's going to join in. Whatever this position 1 is, I feel like they need to like come help out a little bit when it comes to these early ganks.
Okay.
I was just about to say Lifestealer, actually.
That's pretty cool.
I was thinking, like, who else can actually globally help but isn't as useless as Spectre? I was like, yes. Lifestealer. That hero can do it.
Okay, there's a combo there. Lifestealer.
Can they get anyone that dumps his amount of mid, though? Not really. It's, you know, he's just going to be Lifestealer. He's going to do his thing. Big silences, evasion, obviously are things that he's not a big fan of. What are Azure Ray missing? They have kind of team fight because of this Brewmaster and then in combination with the Grimstroke. Although, famously, Soulbind doesn't work with any of the spells from the Broodlings, which is really annoying. They don't get doubled. I mean, that would be super broken on the Cyclone. I get it. So there's your evasion in a different sense, in terms of like, don't go on me with the Somnus Necrophos. And we have a Spirit Breaker, Kunkka, Lifestealer. Yeah, those are tanky heroes. That's a good Scythe game.
Well, I'm I did some quick research because I was like, we're gonna get a Somnus Classic hero, and I was looking through some of his top picks.
Would they make Murta call? Murta's pretty good against Necro.
On this, and the last one was in 2022, so there's a time to bust it out. It's now. Do you like the decision? Do you think it's solid?
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, the hero looks really
Maybe
nice
Murta's mid.
in a lot of the games so far through this group stage. Obviously, we're talking big, beefy heroes, and then Scythe can do a whole lot for you. it provides a little bit more of this idea of the power of group up with Luna. They've utilized it before with this FY Nature's Prophet that we saw, and trying to just like get into all the fights that they could, abuse the early right-click damage. This goes the other way of like, we're getting the right-click damage, but now we have a little bit of sustain. So you can like threaten towers, and you don't have to necessarily like pop split, for example. You can just hold. And if they try and engage on you, you split, everyone's healing up the whole time. They also are hard commitment on Entity, of course. Like if they want to start a fight, the Spearbreaker charges in, it's either a yes or no. We're flipping the switch. Are we dropping the golems or not? And he might just get scythed and die.
It's a fair point. Yeah, Gabby gonna need
I wonder if
to,
they'll do the
pick his targets well and stay out of
Aghanims
harm's way
Necro.
as they get into this game number 2.
The one that I wasn't
Azure
able to
looking
do
move on and face the
in my
juggernauts
pub
from North
game.
America and Nouns, who are ready to feast on the blood. They're ready to go. Man, that was so crazy that they freaking won that. I know we talked about it a lot on the panel, but I can't get over it. As we get into this game number 2, Azure Ray, can they do it? Or are we going to go to game number 3?
Stay tuned to find out.
I'm so ready.
I'm looking up his Necrophos history because I'm just curious because like the first time he ever actually played it was at TI7 when it was LGD versus Virtus Pro, and he went Veil and Hooded Defiance.
Yeah, that's
he lost obviously because that's not a finished build. That's a very heavy amount of gear. That's like a winter TI or something. But other than that, he has lived many a Radiance timeline in his life of Necrophos. 5 of those games were Radiance Necrophos, so
right.
We'll see if the tradition carries on. Man, he really likes to bust it out at TI, actually. Hold on. He played it at TI7. He played it at TI8. He played it at TI9. But like in between that, there's like it's not that many games.
It's a TI hero, man. What can you say?
He just lets it sit all year. He's like, is it time? Break in case of emergency. There it is.
Trying to get there right now as we move on in towards the runes. Will they be able to sneak one of these away? Tian Ming steps forward, say, come at me. I got battery assault ready to go. They're going to find Fishman. Oh, the Fishman. Get out of there, Joel. You're going down as the right
Fish
clicks
out of
come
water.
through. And he is going to get gobbled up. Sashimi in the river.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, fair enough. You can have that one.
As Katomi starts heading down bottom too. And yeah, this is going to be the thing that I want to see. How big of a deal is this laning stage against the Necrophos? Can Stormstormer set up to have a decent time with it?
I would think it should be pretty chill, you know? Doing your thing. Should be all right. It should not be as bad as last game. Let's put it that way. How about that? Yeah, that seems pretty safe. A lot of the, I mean, we often...
Oh my god, I'm so
usually
tired.
put Kunkka into the
Working and
category
watching.
of the
Holy
Spirit
shit,
Heroes
my
a lot of
brain.
times, and those Spirit Heroes famously are pretty annoyed by Necrophos, so that is one nice aspect of the Kunkka. I feel like he's not quite as
I need a
bothered.
nap.
But I guess a lot of it does depend on so many things, like rotations, and like if people just kind of like cover the water runes, how annoying that can be. Plus, like the idea of I have to hit my torrents and you just don't have to care about your spells is kind of annoying.
Absolutely. He has been able to get a couple of denies here against the Necro, 6-2 versus 5-0. We'll see if that changes and if he can get into the region that he needs to survive here. Has the bottle coming out right now. But yeah, it's going to be a bit of an issue there. Down bottom, we did see Tian Ming on this clockwork already pop some battery assault and trying to play very far forward to mess with Gabby if he can. Meanwhile, Katomi just trying to cut off these as FY up top got very low HP. But yeah.
Yeah, this is something you want to do with clockwork all the time. The earliest levels to just immediately battery assault. He should go body block that camp too, I would imagine. But no, he's too busy. Doesn't want to do it.
Fortunate for them. Also did see as the charge comes through and getting some good harassment there on the Lul. Gabby tries to get out of the cogs, does manage to, but can see the potential power that comes with just the calling there.
I try and body block the camp and feed and die. So it's nice to stop him from pulling the wave like he's doing right now, but either he was going to die or Luna was going to die, and that's why Tian Ming's at TI.
Fair.
I'm casting it. So nice pull from Kataomi, though, to try and balance things out here as Lu and Tianming will run on over.
Did see that wave pull coming out from Stormstormer. So in the mid lane, he has decided to run away from him as a nice pushback down bottom. And can they do enough to Tianming here? Doesn't really look like it. He can just walk that one off.
He's just hitting the creeps in the camp.
Ooh.
Yes, thank you. Great space.
Get used to it.
They managed to take down the Lifestealer up top. Showing the strength of this.
And these early levels, too. You know, kind of like those Timbersaw heroes where they need a couple points up in the passes before it feels really good. So try and punish that as much as you can. And Grimstroke getting off to a great start can be a pretty terrifying hero. Again, with this new Inkswell especially, plus how good the Shard is. And in combination with the Brewmaster, maybe they're not like the best laning combo compared to the other like more spammable spells with a Brood Up. But one thing that's insane is Inkswelling a Brewmaster with a strong Dispel Shard later on. Because like it's so hard to stop him from splitting.
Yeah, he's always going to get that one off, it feels like.
Plus, it means you can actually clap, too. That's the coolest thing, because you can like actually blink clap without panicking. Here's our replay, too, of just this high skill kill here. Now, you're probably thinking, why didn't he rage? Well, he was level 2 and didn't have it. And that was a problem. Yeah.
As Kataomi pops the Fairy Fire, dies the Lucent Beam, and Lul is still sticking around. Now Gabby, no regen in the lane. Lul is going to get some tangos passed over, so another nice little win there for him. Should note,
Luna struggling in lane.
Going on, Grimstroke has been able to stack up camps. So there is a nice little bottle of extra gold there for Luna when she gets into that Mask of Madness.
Oh shit, stacks. I wonder if they're going to contest this.
I'm not sure how he managed that, to be honest. Sniping a couple back there. And, I mean, that can even go to your Necrophos, too, you know? Samus wants to run on over there, too.
True.
Second the game a little bit more in their favor. Good body blocks here with that Inkswell up
like,
top.
who
Getting
could get
real
the
low on
stacks,
Fishman.
though, in the other
He's in
team,
trouble.
though?
Doesn't have any way to get out of this one. So they take down the Warlock and able to run away from Watson, who is still just level 3. They've been doing a good job up top so far.
This is kind of brutal.
Stormstormer? God. Going to X.
Edelbon's in cleave.
Make sure that he gets the regen in, okay? Interesting. That was kind of cool. Got the bottle refill and a salve off.
Yeah, Thomas is crushing on these early levels too. So no rotations coming through. So they haven't disrupted anything in terms of the water runes, which has been fine, but it's just Necros doing Necros things. And if Sorcerer doesn't have good rotations to go to, he does have a Spirit Breaker, so hopefully that's what they're going to sync up to, right, with the boat.
Right.
Kind of counting on Gabby to save you when you hit 6.
Well, speaking
of
which,
shit.
Gabby in some trouble. Good dead shot keeps him back. That looks like Tianming is... Does he keep going for more? Lucent Beam in. Tianming looks for the punch. Not quite enough to bring him down, but yeah, Lul able to play very aggressively, and Stormstormer.
Yeah, he's getting completely owned.
Has the nice play, dude. Level 1X saving lives.
That could have been so bad. Like, considering what happened last game too, but look at this pressure, man. And again, Brewmaster able to just stay up here alone.
Yeah.
Has the phase boots, bullying Fishman a little bit. Not the best offensive support. Obviously, much more of a static, staying under the tower here. This is why you stay under the tower, Fishman.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Oh, my God.
Is he going to get away? No, he's going to get chased down here. They get the kill. Meanwhile, 3 heroes mid. They're just stacking them. Like, Entity can't step up to this. This is DD Somnus.
This is really good. Like, they're just fully taking advantage of this Necrophos over the Kunkka again. Because I feel like sometimes you just see them get ignored a little bit, and the Kunkka hits the neutrals, the Necrophos goes, hits neutrals, and then it doesn't matter. Like, the Necrophos comes out on top, but the Kunkka still exists.
Right.
They are just denying his existence right now. They do not want him here at all.
Right. And on top of that, I mean, you know, a mixture of luck, a mixture of skill. Getting a DD rune at that point means the tower is dead. Right? And now, no tier 1 tower in the mid lane. Stormstormer can't feel safe here.
The ward placed down too. Now, it is against a Spirit Breaker, so there's some heroes who might be a little bit concerned, right? You're just thinking things like, okay, well, I'm kind of deep on my side of the map. TP rotations are far away. But it is a Necrophos, and if you mess up, it's like the olden days when people try and gank Viper mid, and that hero was sort of something other than just a break machine.
Dude, Necro's just broken right now, I
to
swear.
see the triple kill for the Viper as 3 heroes all die, and the Viper survives at 50 HP.
Up
Ouchie.
top.
Oh, the split.
They're gonna pop it for Watson. Get in range, slow down, couple hits. He's in trouble. No level 6.
Oh,
no
man, I
TPs.
swear the green bear
Chalice
cooldown
takes
on
him
the
down,
stun's just
and
too
after
much.
taking mid tower is gonna put some pressure on the top.
It's legit. I don't even know how many seconds, but it's short.
They're looking very
It's just
near
it's the
mode.
fact that whoever's playing Brewmaster has
the
to remember to
best.
cast
They
it.
try and punish onto Lou. I feel like he's gonna see this coming. They have so many wards mid, and they're hitting top tower. Like, I think he's out of here, to be honest.
But look at, he's anticipating the movement. He's anticipating the angle. Lul, they spotted him right there. Does he get him? X connects. Can they bring him down in time? Fishman is right there with them as in trouble. Lul's
Oh no!
Somnus too. They have to get this kill. He's got stick charges. I don't know if it's going to be enough.
Ah!
They try and bring him low, hiding off, but they get one kill. They do manage to take down the Luna.
That's what, one charge on Necro?
You gotta get something there. Dead shots push him away, but Fishman also going to fall. No Roche there to help you, buddy.
Azure looking even more powerful than game 1 right now. 8 kills to 1, a 5k lead, and the 1 kill they get finally on the Luna. Sure, that's great, but Somnus is out of control right now with this Boots of Travel build into the immediate heart after having no mercy whatsoever on his opponents.
What? That's crazy.
Yeah, there's Necrophos, baby.
He is, he's gonna be terrifying. Okay. And this is before clock.
Oh my god, he got Boots of Travel first. Shit. Man, every time I get Boots of Travel,
Tries to go for the
I find it very
They won't go for more, it looks like. In fact, can they catch Jiaming?
trolly.
Binds onto 2. Chase tries to
They
find
don't.
him. 1 dead, 2 dead. Who's ganking who? Didn't stand a chance. Watson now shows up also. The slow is pretty good. Boat connecting onto a bunch.
That's what I was saying. That's a go core.
Damage. Oh man.
She can do with the Necro.
This is so terrifying, dude. It's 4 points Lunar Blessing, 4 points Death Pulse. This is like a bad pub you play in US West. And like, no one on the team talks at all. And they just pick these 5 heroes, they just run at you with their auras, and you lose. We've been there.
This is why I lost as Necro mid went Eternal Shroud first. Heart's second item is so rough to deal with. Yeah.
Takes away the illusion rune, finds the Kunkka, get him back in maybe. They have a lift up. They bring him down to the low ground. Gabby's trying to make his way over, but it's not looking like it's going to happen. Stormer still chase. Can they quite get him?
Oh, can he get the scythe? Ooh.
Hunton wants him,
You want those charges?
but Gabby will kill Tiami. Wait, have they gone too far? The level 2 Fatal Bonds doing something. Watson starts to hit Somnus. He does have Reaper.
Now look at that. Look at that. Like what can you do?
Oh man.
His brain's just too powerful. Oh, entity. We got a bit of a road here. A bit of an uphill road to TI, it would seem right now, or at least the upper bracket. And it's looking nice and smooth here. It's looking downhill for Azure, which sounds bad, but when you're on the road to TI, downhill is good because that makes it easier.
All right.
So it's all downhill from here.
Stormer is going to, looks like he's going to be found. They find him immediately. Silence is there. More stun. Can't do anything. Does he manage to see him out? No. Chalice kills him.
I'm trying to get a look at the cam there on Stormer. I feel like his soul is losing his
Yeah,
body.
they
The
can
sadist,
defend.
you know,
It's fine.
from the Necrophos. It's
But,
really
like,
coming into play here. This is a tough couple of games for a mid player.
It's true. They've really, I mean, and if you think back to Somnus and how he played so many times back in that old LGD roster and stuff, he would get so many, like he would dominate mid, he would get people running at you mid, and he's doing it again here with Azure.
Oof.
Gotta address the Somnus.
Oh, we banned the OD.
Just takes another int hero, runs at you with it. Wow. 11-2. Not even looking close here in this game, too.
Are scanning.
I mean, the road back is paved with golden Midases, so...
Okay.
Gabby's got one. That's it. Sorry, that's not true. Watson has his finished. Okay, there we go. All right.
Time to queue up the rest of them.
Actually is just coming. All right, so 50 gold away. Come on, bud.
Almost.
Needs to charge some tolls on this road.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Getting closer.
Yeah. Did you? Oh wait, did you see the Tundra one? I see.
Expiration. This ward has done so
Panda
much
Bear
this game.
Split just got freaking T3 by himself.
And it just died of its own volition.
Been there that whole time.
Like that's how bad the
Every
draft
move
was.
Cut off from it. Stormstormer now is going to try and take these down.
They just couldn't kill all the bears.
14 minutes, and Fishman trying to get level 6. He gets it now at 13 and a half. Like, this is a hard game. The old Fishman. Doesn't matter how many times they spam it in chat. It's just...
Yeah,
like
you would think that Joel would be powering him up right now.
So much.
And maybe it was the fish moly we needed.
Azure, though, I mean, continuing to hold on to every little area of this map. And you can tell how free they feel. They're not at all afraid of any punishment. Well, Entity are just grouped together in this one corner of the map, with the exception of Watson.
Yeah, they're basically smoking for their own wisdom rune right now, it feels like. As all right, here we go. Gabby, find somebody.
Oh, no.
Oh,
no. They see them all. Goes in. Golem down. Do they have anything to follow this up? It looks like they got Tian Ming. Are they going to keep chasing with the rest of Azure? They're running into them right now. Do not appear to care about anything.
Oh, look at that Warlock. Look at that Warlock. So cannot.
Spread out and go back to farming a little bit.
Look, they gotta
Well,
kill
you
them,
had
they
like
didn't all
100%
die. I feel like
uptime.
at this point,
Okay,
that's
that
kinda
was
lame,
annoying.
especially if
That
this
100%
board pressured
uptime
at all.
on Panda Bear
Chalice
ulti was
wants to
just
try and
so
mess with the
sad.
Watcher here. It's a bit rude. Okay, he's just being rude.
He just takes it in front of him. Oh my God, have mercy. Fishman's gonna die. It's brought down by Chalice.
Kidnapped by the Astral Pull. I mean, that was a, like, you know, you're gonna have to split to kill me. I feel like Fishman's fine with that. That's just a bored Brewmaster player.
Right.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
At this point, you got to take what kills you can get. Lua is still just free to AFK farm the Ancients. Has Manta soon to be on the way. While Azure playing together with 3. They have hookshot.
Like he just had to get like so many
Spot
divine
one.
rapiers
That's
just so
all
he can kill the bear.
Just use flares. They can't get vision on him. But as they collapse in this area, he's in trouble. Moves in, went for the long range target on Tian Ming and doesn't manage to get either of them.
Tower is under attack.
I absolutely love that Chalice went Spear Vessel and is thinking about I hope he finishes it.
Boat comes out.
Not enough, but close.
Stormstormer. Meanwhile, Katomi's still very low. They take down Fishman. They take down Tian Ming. Chalice, he's in too far. He's going to get punished here. As they find the brew, he's dead.
Radiant's bottom
Okay.
tower is under attack.
All right. So when is the last time you saw a Brewmaster buy Blink early? This like never happens now.
Yeah.
It's very rare. They typically will see Spear Vessel into like Midas Radiance, Spear Vessel Radiance back for the Midas, you know, those kind of ideas. But the Blink, I was thinking, is pretty sick because of this idea of the Inkswell, right? That's got to be the main reasoning.
Yeah.
As they will chase after here on the
Oh, he is doing the build.
Oh,
It's the Axe Heart build.
Bound onto 2, double loose beam. Lul there just to gobble them both up. As Fishman.
Oh no, poor Warlock. Oh, what a save.
Blood grenade.
Oh my gosh.
Going back in, you're crazy.
Look, it was close. It was close.
Flare for the takedown, though.
I think he was trying to dodge a flare.
Yeah.
But it looked really funny. All right. Well, they killed Chalice. He comes back in. The split is back up now in 1 second. FY, that double kill. Well, actually, I don't know how many he ended up getting.
Man, if I was this Warlock, I'll just buy shard and then sit in a lane and up people.
That's going to give him the shard. So now this Blink Dagger is just perfect. It's
Like,
such a good idea. because you know
I would
typically
just
Blink's really
hide.
not that good on Brew anymore. To be fair, he also only has 1 point Thunderclap, so it's not like it's incredible. But it still starts off the fight the right way. It has this whole idea of like ruining this backline of Warlock as well as Muerta. Gabby hoping to get out of here.
Ooh. Couldn't quite break the movement through the portal. But yeah, the slow, steady build of net worth that's going into the favor of Azure. You got to try and hit another one of these timings a bit later, it feels like. And of course, with all the commitments towards Midas's, that's kind of the only option they have. Kunkka's going in for an Aghanim Scepter next. They do have the Atos on Muerta, like you're talking about, but we'll see how it ends up going.
Again, eh?
FY finds Watson. They pass each other. Just walks through. And are they going to dive? Oh, they found Stormstormer.
Oh.
Right there, dead. Now looking for more. Katomi tries to TP out. Not going to happen. Quick rotations from Azure. You're not getting a tower for free.
No, they're going to take one as well. From the other side of the map, rotate through.
This is
and
tough.
send the Brewlings
Cannot.
down bottom. Still early though. Don't last too long.
Yeah. These look like they're going to stick around this area though, as they have taken over that outpost. FY just walking in division, and they can't do anything to them. Another stacked Ancients, which Lul should be able to clean up here. Man.
All right, well, listen, it's a 9K lead. It's 17 to
He's
5.
killable, but the thing is, everyone needs items.
So I just think that clearly, again, things will just go as expected and Azure win, right? Is that it?
Are you trying to cast the curse this?
I mean, everyone knew that Talon were going to win.
Right,
and,
of course.
Yeah, you know, previous series like yesterday, and then everyone knew.
That's why I was
that
thinking it would have
Nouns
been
were
better
gonna
if
win.
Muerta went
So
mid.
That
And
was
then
surprising, and I just feel like
Bunker
everyone
could just
knows that at
do
this
Water
point,
Park pause 3.
Azure are guaranteed the W.
Okay, we'll see. Charge down bottom. Is this the beginning of the curse? Okay, probably not.
Oh.
Does do some work. Wait a minute.
Oh wow! What a
They
save!
did it. And now the chase down. Trent somehow managing to curse Azure to the casting booth. They do lose Stormstormer, but get two.
That was a big pick off. This lifestealer needs all the gold he can get.
Lou, definitely the feeder. I gotta say, teammate's gonna be giving a hard time after this one.
2 of the 7 deaths. Not what you expect to see from the Luna.
Not a great ratio on the hard carry. And you know, the worst part is, of course, like buying this Blink Dagger on Chalice that I really like it. It's really cool. Like if they're not finding successful fights and stuff, he's just be like, man, I wish I had a Midas. I mean, wish I had just bought the item everyone else bought.
It does raise some interesting questions here. Like if they start to even these fights a little bit, trade some kills, it's not looking too terrible for Entity. We'll see though. Katomi, he's gonna get found as Chalice blinked on top of him, but when you're speedy like that, means you get away further when the dead shot comes out.
Wow, that just missed.
Dolty tries to run away. The torrent not quite gonna connect, but the Atos keeps back Chalice.
Charge still following right now, but I think he's gonna use it at farm. I thought he would use it at farm. Okay.
Playing with them a bit. Has that Octarine 4 done?
Oh, again, more vision too, by the way. They have a ward in their base right now. God,
Oh, is this the one with the Zeus? Ellie?
Like a ward living the whole time in your base. This ward, I haven't even talked about this, TI. These wards are so insane. These high ground wards. We need more of these. Like inside your base, you just see couriers the whole time. It tells you everything. You see couriers flying all across the map. Just gives away where people are farming all the time.
Oh, Muerta just switched up in a match. Wait, what? What? How?
Hey, they're doing Roche. Okay, checking. Who has the shards going on to Roche? Doesn't like this new
poor
development in
Warlock.
the Luna
Oh,
playstyle.
no.
Fishman dies to a split in the mid lane while that Roche is being taken.
There was one Kenji was talking about with like
Now, this is the timing
with
that we were
Zeus.
talking about.
Zeusy boy.
This is the point in time when Azure are incredibly dangerous, might think about going high ground. And a little bit of a pickoff here.
Oh,
They need this.
nice
They get him.
kickoff.
Somnus
Oh
shows
no,
up.
Braid
Doesn't
Boss.
have his Aghanims
Can
yet. He was
they?
50 gold away from it before he came into this
Oh,
fight.
they can actually kill the Necro.
Stormstormer.
Freaking silence.
Aghanim Scepter doing work with 3 dead.
Nice.
Don't call it a comeback. Entity are here to play.
Like I said, nothing surprising. Only a 3K lead now after they take Roche. That could not have gone any better as they kill the blinking Brewmaster.
Wow.
Before he can get his split off. Unable to get the FY save that was being heralded here. I wonder if he considers a blink instead of a Mystic Staff with his change of fortunes of his team right now. Sorry, a Sight Device. 5 the Mystic Staff, of course.
And I mean, it's definitely a possibility.
Because I feel like they need that blow up. If that blow
Oh,
up
he has the
happen,
water park now. Damn.
either the Necrophos or the Brewmaster, then I think they just lose the fight. Or even the Luna, you could argue. Like, between her Moonglaive Shard, and the fact she's going to have BKB, and she'll probably eventually get more life steal than just the Mask of
Oh no,
Madness.
Spirit Breaker's
And
looking
this, like,
scary.
blinking Inkswell Dispel
He's starting to look
try and
scary
break up
now.
This combo that they're working with here could be huge. Of course, they also are going to be layering things on top, too, so it might not be the end-all be-all to get that save off.
Well, that is, I mean, yeah, that's a good point as well. The layered stuff. Wait a minute now.
The water park. What the fuck is that? Is that a glitch?
Well, like an onion, they are crying right now.
Wait,
They lose
what?
Another hero gets Reaper's Scythe, but gets back home.
What does that?
Gabby.
What?
Oh, they find him under vision. Drops down the ward. Nice play from Tian Ming. Does have another charge. Can he time it right? He does. Wow. In between the battery assaults. Not bad.
That's pretty sweet. Octarine Core coming huge there.
I don't know.
And
I
now
got
split
no
again,
clue what
Chalice.
happened.
And Kreml
It
over
must
here
have
in
been
this late part
because
of the game
if
after
it
a really
wasn't
sweet start,
X,
he's struggling to make the big moves, getting picked off, thrown out.
You would have
some
gotten stunned,
ultis,
right?
Teammates don't want to actually
Yeah.
fight. Doesn't have a Midas. Idiot caster thought it was cool to go blink.
Cool.
Feeling not as good about it now.
I mean, he did it first, to be fair.
I mean, that's true. Me and Chalice were the same.
Fishman?
I mean, there's worse company.
They are just going to retreat back. Now, Entity, they finished Nullifier on Watson. They haven't fessed up. There's the movement coming in from
That's
Chalice.
so huge. And this is Necrophos too, right? Like coming in.
I mean, he doesn't have split though. I guess maybe it doesn't matter. Hookshot now connects onto Gabby. Golem to turn. Lifesteal right there with them. They're gonna bound them together, but the fatal bonds are going, and the water park is open for business as they find Lou. Gonna kill him too. Sonus
no.
is in, but are they just gonna run away from this Necro? Well, they're thinking about it. The charge gets the backline. Nice snipe. Gabby
oh,
tries
he's
to back up. Can they
silenced.
find any more? The boat is out, so now they've got some extra survivability, and Somnus gets turned on. This is a nullifier, a double kill for Watson, doing it again for the team. Gabby is ready, has the charge to connect for the stun.
Oh, so wow.
He gets a triple kill. Can they bring him down? Yes. They find the final touch, and Entity are back in business.
Oh, the timing on this nullifier was so important. I do, however, solemnly swear to never flame Luna
Look at
Shard
that.
again. The fact that she just survived versus a life stealer, I'm actually convinced now. I apologize to the Luna players.
You should apologize to Azure Ray. What the hell, man? He just broke their upper bracket chances here. Oh,
listen, I did it
no.
for the fans.
That's
all right.
fair.
You think I don't want to go to bed? It's 10 minutes to midnight here. We need some good Dota. All right?
Dota as the replay here.
Yeah, this was insane. Up on the high ground, we got Splash Mountain, baby. You know, we just got this all firing up. Everyone's up the ramps.
My God.
Look how many slows.
And yeah,
Upheaval.
This charge, though, that was so
Spirit
sick.
slow.
I know, and again, a great point for wards, you know, making the difference. Oh, jeez. Boat came out. That would allow them to reinitiate. And Watson just doing the work. Now.
There is something so funny about going Boots of Travel Heart versus Lifestealer, because you're like, it's fine, I'm Necrophos, and then he gets a nullifier, and you're like, this was a terrible decision. Because I am so chunky versus this Lifestealer now.
Yeah, I mean, Somnus does nothing now, right? Like, he needs to Death Seeker away, basically, it feels like, is we see back into the game now, a 2,000 gold lead for Entity. Roche is going to respawn in 3 minutes as Katomi will be found. Does he have a way to get out of here? Does not look like it. Reaper's sight, easy peasy.
After that last fight, you check out that courier that's flying to Somnus right now, and yeah, it's got a
Oh,
plate
he's
mail.
only gotten
He did
3
some quick
charges
maths on
from
the fact that
Sai.
he has 10 man, or he had 10 armor
right
prior to that, so up to the 20 now.
Jeez. This is an interesting one too, because after the couple of Muerta games that we haven't seen have that much success, Katomi is going for an Aghanim Scepter, so he's going to have that parting shot as Lul chases Stormstormer a bit in the mid lane. Fishman. Oh, but no, the charge at the same time. Fishman survives through the first salvo. Now they're onto both of them. Connection, Chalice. Oh, he barely gets it off. Now running, trying to get out. Stunned. Watson,
Is there a water park? Yes, there is.
Gabby has them both. He's in trouble right now. Nowhere to go with Somnus. Tried to Ogre Steel Totem away, but wasn't able to.
Can they...
Stormstormer now has to run because Luna's come in.
Damn.
Big bad Luna and Lu get some hits. Katomi throws down the calling. These fights on a knife's edge.
Yeah, I think Watson made the right call there. Seeing Lu come in, realizing he's getting kind of low, had just like
You can't die from armlet, can you?
Decided to bail, despite the water park going. Maybe could have got the hits in there to do something about it, but didn't like the look of it. Wanted to go back to the fountain and do some 360s. Watson's doing a lot of those, and now he's going to jump inside of Gabby. They're going to go for the reset instead. They don't want to fight into the split.
They
try and catch them without it.
He's separated from everybody else.
Oh, he's so freaking dead.
He is gone. Didn't get to play anything.
Unless you're Vesseled or AA. Or Venoed.
Look, it is what it is. You got heart.
Okay, Necro needs... Oh, actually, no, Blowing Stick won't work either because of the...
Yeah, and FY has also commit to the
Nullifier.
So we won't be getting the Blink save from the Grimstroke. I feel like this... Maybe
might just need a BKB.
Might have some issues here.
The Blowing Stick, the
but he doesn't
Yule's
have a Force
upgrade.
Staff to try and break it up as well, right? I mean, they don't have any. They've got these bigger items there, and well, FY.
Oh my god, this Spirit Breaker's too big.
Okay. That was not how that was supposed to go. Does have charge. Gets
Oh my god!
Where are you
Shit! There's a silence.
Get over here. Does he have another charge up in a second?
Wow.
Gets silence. Gets the kill.
Beautiful.
That was kind of greedy.
I mean, a little.
A little. 8-second BKB. You wanted it bad. Fishman. Oh.
The other danger here is that if you lose a fight against Luna, you might lose your whole base. Fishman in trouble. Fishman dead.
Oh shit.
Oh, this is bad for Entity. They need to get back. Do what damage they can. Fishman has Golem back up in 15 seconds. They find Fishman.
Space.
Be careful. Fatal Bonds connecting. 40 seconds until the Spirit Breaker is back up. Fishman is dying to Glaives. They want to keep going for more. Chalice gets the lift up. The boat's there. They don't have Golem. Gabby, he buys back. Looks for the charge. Wants to go in. They get one hit, but it's already running away. They have the charge onto FY. Rolls through onto 2. Still looking for more. Wattsman trying to find a target, but they get out. Stormstormer, he got infested. Gabby now backs away. The call
Oh, they still got...
Watson, they find Chalice, connects onto him. Dead shot connects onto Luna. Watson can't find a great target. X marks the spot, torn onto 2, but they retreat. Tense moment here.
Does have Force Staff now. I don't know if I just missed that before, but thank goodness, because that is so desperately needed this game. The Force Staff is going to save this game completely. Saved him in that situation. Almost got hit by a dead shot to chain things together there. And if you want to catch people from getting charged into just one-shot kill, it's going to be a hook shot, Cogs, Force Staff your ally out. Get them out of there and try and just break it up and sacrifice yourself instead.
Lul spots Gabby. Gabby runs away. The rest of the team of Entity heading down south towards that Luna.
It's like...
back up.
Oh.
I'd imagine there's going to be a fight for that one right now. And Somnus a couple seconds before he TPs.
I think that shard is also new for Kunkka. I was checking before. I don't think Stormstormer had it for the tidal wave too. It's pretty huge for the Roche fight to bring that out. Looks like they're going to go do the Tormentor.
Oh, yeah, giving up the Roche. Zeray will get a pretty substantial advantage there as the planner pocket is online.
Imagine.
The Reapers?
Yeah, I mean, that's gotta be I mean, it's actually kind of cool because there are, you know, loosened beams and stuff for chain stunning. Could be kind of huge to actually hit something big.
Or the Soulbind?
Maybe. Depending.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe not the shard they were hoping for.
No.
I guess Muertas isn't insane on support Muerta either, to be fair.
Right. She's almost at Aghanims on Cat.
That's true. Yeah, yeah. Maybe I shouldn't call her support.
Chalice
something.
Wants to run.
Okay.
Clockwork looking for the angle. Finds him. They got him. Immediately pops the rage. Wants to run. I mean, he's gone. They find and kill. Reaper sight done. Big kill for Azure Ray and no buyback.
Okay.
1,000 gold away.
With a 4-minute Aegis and cheese.
Oh, this is not good. No buyback. Yeah.
They do have one more on FY. See if he can sneak another one up on the high ground here, but I doubt he gets away with it. There's already a sentry laid down.
I mean, this is at least one set of racks. I don't know how much more they get, although they don't have a creep wave at the moment. Will be coming up right now. Nobody from Entity can get mid to grab it as Gabby a little bit late on that one.
I think you gotta let this one go.
I mean, I don't know what else they're going for tier 4s. Azure Ace say we don't want to play Dota anymore. Entity had pulled everything back so well, and now Golem dropped down, but it's about to die. What do they have left in the tank? They're starting to
water park.
Connects, they need life stealers damage.
Upheaval.
Hook shot to turn it, to
Too
go back
much.
into them. They find immediately onto him. Gabby pops the ulti, bringing down low, very low, but still alive, still with the Aegis.
Wow, quick game. No creepies? There's no creepies?
No creep wave though. They keep the creep wave alive. Buyback comes from Kunkka. It's gonna be there soon. They buy enough time for Watson to get back up. I can't believe they're holding it, but the Ancient's still exposed. They have 100 seconds.
Push, clock, push.
He does not have buyback because of the timing. That was a dieback for him. They find Fishman immediately, and now with the creep wave coming back in, Watson's got to do it all. He finds one. Do they have enough damage? Eats the cheese to turn it, and that's gonna do it. Watson goes down. Azure Ray take the win, 2-0.
Wow, the series today.
You know? Just messing around a little bit before bringing it back.
It's all been
towards,
2-0.
Solid victory here at game 2 for Azure.
Have fun at work, Ellie.
And,
I actually need a
yeah,
nap.
it did get
Oh
a
my
little bit
god, this
dicey,
is so
no doubt
tiring.
about that. Kind of felt like they just decided to clean it up a little
My
bit.
eyes
Look
feel-
for solid group up plays once more. And they had to work through some of the solutions that were presented here from Entity. You know, had to start playing a little bit more around the nullifier. Had to try and watch out for exactly the angles Gabby was going to come from.
Well played.
If they didn't get this Infest Bomb blow up, you kind of knew it was going to be a problem.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. And you can see
Look at the socks and
unfortunately, are gonna
sandals.
drop down, and who is it that they're going to have to face in the lower bracket but Tundra of all teams? This team that had been looking so good. I mean, Tundra also dropping down low there. It's going to be a tough matchup between them.
Aren't those Western Europe teams?
That's a good point.
That's confusing. I thought you said lower bracket.
You know what? You're not wrong about that. Meanwhile, Azure Ray, they're going to face off against Nouns, which is from a different region, if I'm not mistaken.
Something. I don't know. Yeah,
it's how it goes. Trent, a fabulous
Oh,
showing
look
from
at-
Azure Ray.
Aw.
Entity, you're gonna have to think about what could have been,
Ouch.
as we're gonna head on back to the panel.
Thank you very much, gentlemen. Azure Array in 2-0 fashion not only dispatch Entity, not only get revenge for 2022, but now we'll be starting the main event in the playoffs on the upper bracket side of things on the road to the international. I'm joined on panel.
Oh wow, group stages are done? That's it? That was the
early game,
last...
At 10 minutes, honestly, the game just felt over. It was absolutely amazing what Azure Ray was doing.
Yeah, let's not sugarcoat it. This was a stomp, right? Like almost in every single lane. On top lane, Brewmaster, Chalice, he was getting way too much. Mid lane, minute 6, 7, your tower is dying. Necrophos
They all
gets
thinking it's
his,
Fishman's fault.
Minute 15.
But like,
was it the
what is a
fastest
Warlock
start to
supposed to
Terras
do?
ever?
15 minutes, 14 seconds, fastest heart of all time on Necrophos.
They were just having way too good of a time.
You know what I
good
mean?
of a
Like,
time that some of
it's-
them tried to even throw it a little bit with the itemization.
Like, Warlock is not
Brewmaster
supposed to
with the
control
blink
the
as
pace
well,
of the
going
game.
a little bit ham using his ulti when it was not super necessary. Died a couple of times, but
Yeah, exactly. Like what else do you want from a Warlock? As long as he gets his ulti off,
into any
he's
silly
Link.
ideas, going too deep or anything like that. Farmed, got his Aegis, ended the game.
Yeah, definitely it was a very good performance coming in from Lu. Not to take anything away from Watson though, because God, in the situation, it's very similar to game 1. You made the point that at some point it felt like entities had like hands off keyboard, Watson carry us. And when you look at all these replays, there's a distinct difference when Watson is able to be in the fight, nullifying Ops Omnis, dishing out that damage, and when he isn't, wow, it feels like Entity just can't do anything to his aggro Ray lineup.
Yeah, he is kind of the late game hope. When as is often the case, I think when you're getting stomped in the early game, it's very much just like, well, we're losing all our lanes. Let's hope our carry can just chill, farm it up, and give us a chance in the late game here. But ultimately, all it takes is one slip up. It was Watson getting picked off by the Clockwork, a hero that ended up being kind of pivotal because it allowed them to get numerous pickoffs through these BKBs with the hook shot to control these heroes. So just really nice plays coming out from all of Azure. And yeah, you know, Watson, he can't do it all. And this was a game where I think there was just too much kind of weight put on his shoulders.
Yeah, I completely agree. He can't do it all. Like, he's picked as this answer to the Luna, and you could see the idea with some early game rotations. After the laning stage went poorly for them, they still managed to charge with the Lifestealer, get some pickoffs. But he's supposed to be the hero that deals with the Luna. He's also supposed to be the hero that buys Nullifier to deal with the Necro.
Yeah.
It's just way too much. It's too difficult, and it's not a free game for
That's just sad.
That is rage, right?
Not one hero can do everything. That's where the game ends up losing.
Or even fighting properly.
That's why I say, guys, do your fucking job.
Yep, that as well as the fact that we had to spend so much time just running away from Brewmaster, just preventing himself from getting stunned up with the initial rage charges. Entity find themselves unable to take a game. They go down into the lower bracket, and that's where they will begin the playoffs next week. For Azure though, although yes, God, there was a bit of throwy scenarios in the mid game, there's a lot of positive to take away from this one. I think, especially in the early game, and after you can see the point in the game where they realize they're making mistakes and they can adjust, pivot.
Like they legit had no magic burst for Necro early game. So I don't understand why they didn't put Murta mid.
Sweet justice of revenge from last year.
Yeah, they got that bit of revenge from last year against the Entity boys.
Necro would have been
kind of a good point to bring up where there's something they can actually learn
at
from
least
this game, take away the
somewhat
slight
controlled.
In the middle. Often, you know, we kind of talk about like you learn more from losing than winning, but this is the kind of win that you actually can learn a bit from about how to be a bit cleaner in that mid game. Because if that's versing a Team Spirit or a Team Liquid, they could throw that mid game and then just lose the game. We saw Spirit do that against Shopify, particularly with that Spirit
to be
Breaker,
honest,
which I thought might happen this game. I was like, Spirit Breaker's got minus Octarine now with BKB.
Spirit Breaker could have just gone support. Like Spirit Breaker didn't do shit anyway that game, except jump in with Lifestealer.
You know, preparing for their matches in the next stage in the playoffs.
I definitely feel the same way. Even called it out during the game. This game is over. Entity is doing it. We're going to game 3, but then you click on Lu and you see that he is just a tiny little bit too farmed up. Everyone else, well, they were making some curious plays after having a great laning stage, but I really feel that in that last game, Lu outperformed.
Lu finally able to step it up here on the way to the international. He makes a way to carry the game, even though things were shaky in the mid game. But crucially, you know, when you look at a team that has lots
I feel
of
like Spirit Breaker could do just as much with less
folk who are used to carrying their games in their
focus
positions.
on farm
For a young
though.
up-and-comer like Lu, it's very beneficial to give him the reins of responsibility and to understand that he can take them and drive you to victory. With that, Azure now will be the final team confirmed for our upper bracket on the playoff side of things. The bracket is set. Next weekend is going to be very entertaining. Obviously, we had the massive upset earlier today of Nouns, and Azure Gods, you know, if you're them, you probably were preparing to play Tundra next, but getting past your opponent. And normally, a week ago, you're like, guys, we'll play against Nouns. It's going to be simple. From what we've seen from Nouns, they cannot be taken or underestimated at all anymore.
It's cool to see those two teams play each other because I feel like both have their kind of signature heroes that are different to what everyone else is doing when it comes to the drafts. You know, we've seen Azure bust out the OD. We've seen Nouns bust out Offlane Witch Doctor. So two teams with kind of some distinct picks, which is partly why they're in the upper bracket. So it's going to be a really fun matchup, but not just one where you can just, as Nouns have proven, where you can just discount them.
Yeah, both are definitely different when it comes to picking heroes that aren't necessarily picked by everyone else, but I would still say that Nouns,
so all group stages
they're the ones that you might have to just ban out those heroes against. You don't.
Yeah.
When do you get to practice versus witch doctors and ogres, right? Like you can only theory craft. Like these heroes, I've heard, have been drafted in a couple of scrims. Like teams are playing ogre mid. It wasn't the first time.
It depends.
Like
what
a
time
super
is the main
surprise, right?
events?
But,
like
still, you just don't have experience. You don't play versus that every single day.
Looking at that bracket, I'll be honest, right? I'm very excited to see that particular matchup, not just because the squads involved are young in their journeys, still trying to prove themselves, but both of them have like Giga Chad brain coaches. Lanem versus Astini, that drafting phase, guys, that's going to be fun to watch. No matter what, it's going to be entertaining. We're all going to learn something about this patch.
Yeah, and now
I don't think I can on Saturday because I have like
you get the days off, so you can really go into the group
I have
stage
2
matches.
birthday
Everybody's
parties on
played so many
Saturday.
games so far, so
And then
there's
I
a lot
think
of
I
data
have
to
a
use, and the coaches can
another
really
thing
come
on
up
the
with a good battle
Sunday.
plan when it comes
Oh,
to the
early
drafts
morning.
for the
Okay, I could
playoffs.
probably do
Let's
early
talk about the
morning.
playoffs on the other side of the bracket, in the lower side of things, where teams stand a chance to be eliminated next weekend. Some fairly surprising names here, Liz. Game & Gladiators, Bet Boom, Tundra, Rebellion. They could all be going home on the first day of the playoffs. That is not something I would have expected coming into this tournament.
Yeah, EU in shambles.
And it's fun. We get some of those regional matchups. You know, Tundra versus Entity. We've got Shopify versus TSM. So you know, each region gets to figure out who their champion of the lower bracket is maybe going to be. Although EU also has some teams in the upper bracket as well.
We still have what, Liquid?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh my god, this guy's voice just does not match his face.
Liquid
Cannot.
that's in the upper bracket from Western Europe.
I don't know.
I wouldn't have ever
If you heard Blitz and how their scrims are going, I don't know if I can put all my hope into that.
So,
It is
looking forward,
nice,
gentlemen,
but like
we are
it
at
does
the end of
not
the group
suit his
stages. We
face.
are done and dusted now. You've seen what the bracket's going to look like. You know what the next weekend will comprise of in terms of the games. Gods, give me your primary thing to take away from these groups. Well, a team that you are going to be backing for the rest of the tournament, and what's your primary takeaway meta-wise from the games that we've seen?
I think one of my biggest takeaways is probably about just play your style. You know, we are only like a week or 2 into this patch. Don't feel like you have to copy other teams. Like, the patch hasn't been figured out. Day to day, we're seeing new heroes emerge. Like heroes that struggled on day 1 became popular day 2. So I think teams who play their picks, playing in their comfort zone, are going to do best. And then as far as teams to look out for, Team Spirit, let's go. I don't know. It's hard to say anyone other than maybe Team Spirit when it comes to clear favorites for the tournament.
Yeah, the very
looking
far
forward to see
right,
if
the one
anyone
with
can
the
take them
white
down.
sneakers.
Liz, what you got for me?
No, I think these next couple of days come down to psychology more than anything else. Like, don't overthink it. Find the best way to prepare for the remainder of the tournament, for the playoffs. Don't get too much into your own head, because that can happen, right? Like, you can overthink even the patch, some strategies. You can start doubting yourself in these days too. As long as you can stay cool, calm, and collected, that's probably the main point.
Okay, stay cool, calm, and collected as humanly possible, says Lizard. He's been a player before, he understands the psychology of these things. So let us hope that the remaining teams in the tournament will adopt that psychology on the road to the international. And hopefully one of them will adopt it enough that they can lift an Aegis at the very end of it. That does mean that our group stage is finished. We will be resuming proceedings in the playoffs on October 20th. So make sure that you join us on that day, starting at the very top of the bracket with Team Spirit, a team that, I'll be honest, I think is going to win the tournament, but where they'll be starting us off in the playoffs.
I've got no clue where he's
join us
from.
October 20th for some more Dota 2
Oh,
action.
Bosnia,
From myself, my incredible
nice.
panel, Gods, Lizard, Winter's here in absentia, Natty is in the background, and of course our wonderful production team that has enabled us to bring you all this fabulous analysis and crucially some fabulous Dota 2 action. Before we go, just a final reminder. Dota 2 is a celebration, right? Not just of fancy lights, cool team fights, lots of action, but of camaraderie, of teamwork, and of building long-lasting connections. There's people that you're going to meet through this game that will remain in your life, your close friends, for the rest of your life. So treasure the moments that you share
look
with
at
them.
those
Make sure that
special
you are
words.
keeping a positive mental attitude about the game. But more importantly, make sure that you have fun, enjoy us, and see us in a week to continue the journey on the road to the international.
You guys hear that? Have fun playing Dota.
Look at this man.
Here comes
How do
the
you
axe.
stop him?
Oh my god, look at my hair. I don't know if I'll stream the playoffs. I'm busy this weekend. I might be able to put some in on Saturday. Depends what time I wake up. Thanks for the follow. But I am off. I need to go back to work.
Look at that hero.
And play a nap. I meant have a nap. Nappy naps. Bye guys. See you.